Time to get into the draft for game one of the grand finals.
Wings Gaming versus Digital Chaos. Grand Finals, Game 1.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. We are here in Key Arena and we are ready for our grand finals. Wings versus Digital Chaos. Your grand final drafting panel will be Winter, Black, and Draskell. Gentlemen, where the hell do we begin? Winter, how do you figure out a team like Wings, and how do you stop a team like Digital Chaos on their path?
You can't figure out a team like Wings. You just need to go with your heart. Get the feeling.
Go full Charlie. That's what you want, right? I mean, I think that the Wings opening, you know, they banned the other Titan themselves. They had first pick. They took the Wisp. I think this opening just shows that they're not scared, you know. Winter and I were talking earlier. He said that maybe the earliest part of the game is Wings' biggest weakness, but as soon as mid-game rolls around, they're just hyper-aggressive. They know exactly what they need to do. And DC's response with the Timber Saw, I mean, it's a comfort zone pick for them, but both teams looking to come strong out of the game.
Oh, that is his best hero, I think, for Mo.
Yeah.
Like, in this matchup, you don't know what your opponent is doing. You want to pick your heroes that your players are most comfortable with. That's very, very important for DC.
Oh, it's the greatest hero in the game. DC, game one.
Like on top of the Timber Saw just being a comfort zone pick, usually you pair the IO up with like a CK, like a Tiny, like another Strength core, and it's like really, really hard for them to like play against the Timber Saw because he has so much burst damage against them. And obviously, Coddle, one of DC's stable picks.
It's also, I feel, a bit of a denial here on the side of Wings. I mean, maybe they don't pick it now, but going into the second phase, it's possible that it could have been banned. Obviously, very good against Timber Saw. Second pick.
This is something I was saying that EG maybe could have considered, was securing that Sumail pick in the first phase. Wings say, we have the guff. We'll do it in game number one.
I mean, like they already have a Coddle, which is pretty good against the Storm, and now they have 3 more heroes to counter that.
It's like both ways, you know. Like Storm is good against Potter.
Yeah, of course.
You jump him, you kill him, and it's an Orchid hero, so it's very good versus Timber as well.
Yeah, whoever gets like the initiation on is probably gonna like go out and get like a hand in the fight.
And in the laning phase, it's really nice to have an IO when you're playing Storm. Obviously, its mana cost got increased quite a bit with the Remnant, so being able to abuse bottle and whatnot with the IO is very useful.
Yeah, for Wings right now, initiation, like you said, it's going to be key. So DC in the second phase takes out the Bat Rider, one of the heroes that are very good at dealing with the Cotter as well.
I mean, we spoke about it before. Storm's like weakness is the laning phase. If he survives the laning phase unscathed, then he's like...
I mean, that's why you have the IO for that.
Yeah, exactly. But DC need to make sure that like they destroy the lane. You do not want to have a Storm free farming against those 2 heroes already. Like he will just cause havoc and he will just like destroy the game for them.
Yeah, you want to have Disable as well on top of those 2 heroes. Those 2 heroes has a lot of damage, but you need heroes to disable them.
I mean, what is DC looking for here? Like they could go middle Invoker still, which is pretty good.
I wouldn't mind like seeing an Invoker. I wouldn't even mind seeing, like, we're talking about cores.
Even Lion would be good. Lion would be good.
Lion Coddle is pretty good together too. I mean, DC is a team that picked Anti-Mage a lot in the past too. Perfect against those 2 heroes as well. Really good with Coddle. You get like a double blink. You get the recall split push. There's so many things that you can do. And like picking the Storm that early, we spoke about it, why it's so vulnerable. You have so many heroes that actually hard counter it. Like Brave, like Wings is really, really brave.
I feel like for DC, it sounds like a bad pairing of supports on paper, but when you look at Wisp and Storm Spirit, Disruptor seems to scream out to me. Is that just a bit too far-fetched with the commitment to the Coddle?
I think it makes their lanes very weak, I feel. I mean, sure, you can have the Coddle in the safe lane spamming Blast One, that's fine, but I think that Wings would be able to punish that already, because they've only shown really what their middle lane is going to be, and I think that IO pairing with the Storm is still fine for them.
I mean, we've also seen Storm safe lane a couple of times. It's not like as good, not as popular. It's definitely possible though, and definitely Wings can run it. Like if any team,
if anybody would, yeah, it would definitely be Wings.
Yeah, so like you will never know what Wings does until you see the last pick.
I mean, Night Stalker could also be good for either team. Like Vision game, like Night Stalker is good on the Storm's team. You want to see the enemy.
But DC less likely, right? I think it's probably
probably more on Wings. Yeah.
You do never want to pick a Night Stalker when you have a Coddle. It's like completely counteractive each other.
Really good ban here from DC, taking out the Nyx. Obviously, it's very hard for them to run it themselves. It counters Timber Saw and Coddle to a certain degree.
Oh yeah.
So it just destroys both of them. Very good. Very good.
I mean, I'm sure Wings is also happy that heroes out of pool.
Yeah, but they kind of had to ban it, right? Yeah. Because I think Wings would actually have been able to pick it, whereas DC can't.
Yeah, and with DC could, but Weeha really doesn't like playing Timber so at all. It's always Moo's hero pretty much. You know when they pick Timber, it's gonna be Moo playing it. When it's safe lane or off lane though, DC really likes going aggressive tri lane. So you never know whether they actually want to play it safe or off lane. You'll have to take that into account as the draft goes on. They definitely wouldn't have picked Nyx.
So you don't think support Nyx would be possible if they wanted it?
I mean, Nyx Coddle is kind of like weak. You don't really have like roaming. You have like no aggressive potential at all. I feel.
Like some games I saw, like yeah, especially the EG game where they ran Zai on the Nyx, he was pretty successful when he was roaming. I mean, it's not reliable, but it could be done.
I mean, it definitely can be done. It's just I feel the laning is gonna be a bit weaker, and we spoke about how you kind of need to dismantle Wings during the laning phase because once they get together as 5, the team play is just like amazing, and it's really hard to tear them apart.
And then you're going all in on a mid-game timing, which I think Wings are more than comfortable with. So I feel it would be very difficult.
Banning out the Naga Siren, obviously both run as core and as support. Very strong hero in DC's repertoire. I'm still really curious what they're looking for.
You need some disable now, right? For the Storm. You need something to be able to lock him down.
Like either disables or like hard bursts that they can like, ruin the laning phase.
Yeah, Lion seems to be a really good candidate for that. I know I mentioned it before. Like it's one of Misery's like very comfort heroes as well. He loves playing that hero.
There's that. There's Bane. Bane can like dual lane middle pretty comfortably. Like 1 plus Bane is really good against Storm plus IO.
Man, Bane, what happened to him?
Man, he's gone, man.
He's long gone.
He's not scary anymore.
There's too many ogres and elder titans walking around, I think, for Bane.
But like as DC, you could probably still pick ogre, but you don't really want to. Because it's not like a reliable.
Are you sure you don't really want to Black?
I mean, now they have like a pretty slow target stun, right? Like,
yeah, but
like,
still, you need to win the early game. Like against Wings, you don't want to just let them play their early game and just snowball you in the mid game.
Everybody clapping along with the ogre right there. He's feeling it. This second phase is so precious. They're just beginning to dump right into that reserve time.
No, if you're DC, you definitely need to pick counter cores though to Storm. You don't want to let that guy have a good game, like at all.
I think they're just waiting a little bit later for stuff like the anti-mage that you were talking about, Black, just to make sure they know what the laning phase is going to look like and if there's going to be time for him to be able to get online.
I mean, they could still go aggressive try-in, right? Like Ogre, Coddle +1, very strong.
Slardar comes out.
Yeah, initiation, and they're on Dire side. A very, very good pick for their lineup.
Yep.
Secures Roshan very easily as well.
And it addresses one of Storm's weaknesses too, which is like really poor physical damage. With the Slaughter, obviously every core deals a lot of physical damage. And they can run it both as safe and offlane. That goes our hard disable against Storm, as well as IO. It's like super good against both heroes. Really good against Slaughter too. He wants to jump in. You time dilation him and he's going to be useless for a long time.
Oh.
Quick to the silencer is Wings, which is that instant combo breaker to someone like a Faceless Void.
The other thing you can do is you can global on the relocate. So instead of it like going in and potentially having some counterplay, you can just get the kill and get out.
Look at that initiation from Wings. The Storm, the relocate, the Slaughter. I mean, DC has to be grouping up together pretty early this game. They don't want to be split up against Slaughter and Storm and the Silencer.
Yeah, like they can jump anyone, just global silence, and they get out. Like the heroes are really mobile, really fast. The only hero that's not mobile so far is Silencer, but he will be on the back lines waiting to cast global silence.
I mean, you can sit at base, come on. You just need to take your ultimate once the fight starts.
That's literally what you do as a hero. You farm your Midas and whatever, then you stay at base and press silence.
Refresher.
Yeah, and maybe Aghanim's not as good anymore, but you never know with Wings.
Well, they'll need to get like Lotus or Greaves, BKB. Like they're gonna need a lot of all those items on DC this game.
I really like the Nyx ban, even though Nyx is not that good against Timber and Void.
The Storm.
The Storm as well as the Silencer. Like if they jump anyone, they're just gonna die because they can't do anything. They can't help anyone, and they'll just die.
Yeah, it's like Nyx plus Slaughter. We've seen this combo before, like maybe 2 months ago. It was really popular. You don't have time to react to that. You just die instantly.
This drumming is pretty hype, man.
There's actually also one more thing about the Silencer too, is that in lane, if they're assuming that it's going to be Moo Timber, Silencer is actually extremely good against the Timber. You just get wrecked in that.
But you want to skip Glaive though, one just harass him out of the lane, right?
Yeah.
And then last word, obviously really good against him.
All his abilities are just going to ruin Timber in the game. From the laning phase to the mid game to the late game.
You know, as soon as...
Game number 1 from Wings says we're going to go for the punt.
They love doing this against Void. They always do it for the save.
This is the chrono counter. You chrono my teammates, I'm going to hold my teammates out.
And it's going to be a core Silencer too. Offlane, Slaughter, Core Silencer, Storm mid.
Yeah, because Punch is definitely support. Ice plays the hero.
You do not want to have a carry Punch against the Timber. No way.
They have so much protection for the core silencer in this game as well with their heroes. Like Pudge Hook for saves, Slardar can go in, Storm can go in, relocates. They can protect this hero so well, and it destroys DC's lineup.
And they have so many setups too. If Punch ever gets to blink, he jumps in, dismembers, to just global silence on top. You will burst anyone. And then, I mean, Skyroth is obviously like very, very good with
Wait, something is wrong.
Core Ogre, Core Skyrath.
Core Skyroth, it looks
Something's happening here. This is
we
crazy.
Skyrath for sure.
We Skyrath.
Man, I can't believe what we are seeing here in the first game, Wings versus DC. We have a Call Skyroth, we have Pudge.
I can't
Core
believe
Silencer.
it. But I can also believe it at the same time, gentlemen. This is going to be a hype grand final, I can already tell. It's game number 1. Let's throw it over. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your grand final casters. It's Toby One and Merlini.
Greetings, everybody. This is the greatest game in the Dota 2 year, the International Grand Final. I'm Toby One here with Merlini. Not only have we got 2 amazing teams, we've also got one kick-ass draft to kick us off.
Yeah, they're not afraid to go outside the box. Pudge, Core Skyrath, we haven't seen any of this throughout the main stage.
All of it got thrown to the wayside, but we're expecting random. Like everyone's been describing Wings as this all-random team. You never know how to play against them because you never know what they're going to pick. But Digital Chaos, also one of these teams heavily respected for their drafting throughout the tournament.
Let's hop into the game, see what's going on there.
That's right. This is the place where we ask the questions. How does it all unfold? The Weeha on the Skyrath, the Moo moving to the Timbersaw. It is going to be classics in some ways, but also the curveballs in the other. You saw that grin on Misery. He seems to be very, very confident coming into this tournament.
I know they have to be riding that high after taking down EG, and I haven't seen a Core Sky in ages. I've seen him play it on stream a couple times, though. He really likes that hero. I think it's one of his favorite heroes.
Is this when you actually go to what something like like PPD said about the old TI6 final? You pick up heroes which are just the comfort zones, where you know you're going to have a really good game because it's just your style of hero. I guess we believes this is it. He had other options. He had a lot of options.
I also think you need to take Wings out of their comfort zone. They always seem to be able to know exactly what you're going to do, what lanes you're going to throw at them.
Weeha won't stop it. He is clucking like a hen at the moment as that Skyrath mage. The battle will begin in 15 seconds when the runes will spawn. Digital Chaos, they're grouping up heavily to contest this top rune, but so are Wings.
It looks like they're actually going to try and aggro over here.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Here they come. They're coming down into the river. Who's going to get that first rune? It does go. Both go the way of Wings. Weeha taking a lot of damage early on, but the Illuminate, it hits on 4. Blink is so low. DC's almost got first blood. Resolution. Time looking into the first blood, but it's Weeha on the Skyrath throwing the orbs from range. That will bring down Blink.
Man, this early Observer Ward set up by DC too. They had vision of all those heroes, and Wings, they did not see that Illuminate coming. The Wisp came in, got chucked by that Illuminate. Early first blood goes the way of Wee.
And again, we see DC turn to this Misery Ogre mid lane zoner, trying to keep the Storm Spirit out, while Weeha taunts the Storm Spirit back to his tier 1 tower. But the top lane's going to be a bit of a rough run here for Resolution, as Ice, he has leveled up Rot level 1, he'll have Innocence to back him up, but they're trying to create a little bit of space here for Shadow. Resolution is not alone. Zuxa is up here to help him as that Keeper of the Light.
Early salve already coming out on the Skyrath Mage, but he's doing very well in terms of CS, limiting the Storm to 0-0 with the aid of Misery.
And Misery is just making life an absolute living hell. A Storm Spirit with no progression. That's got to be a dangerous thing. How can Wings change this up? How do you change the balance of these lanes? You do have one of the best rotating surprises of the game, and that's in the Pudge of Wings. But you can't need level 2 on him until he's got a hook.
It's also the Wisp. The Wisp comes in when you overcommit to a lane. But they have really good vision inside.
Well, now that Io's arrived in mid, Misery has rotated to the top lane. Ice is still not level 2 yet, but okay, with the Observer Ward behind the tower from Zuxa, he's able to see Ice moving around. So now the Pudge rotations. The second he leaves that top lane, DC's going to know about it.
And that Sentry Ward is a little bit out of range. And Wings have a lot of trouble in this early game. They want to get stacks up with a Wisp, especially when you have a Storm Spirit. They need some levels on the Pudge so he can actually hook this Keeper of the Light.
Well, that's why Misery's moved over. Shadow going to cut through the tree line. Ice needs to get in range to make that Rot work, but that's also an Ogre, an insanely tanky style hero. Not even the core is able to zone this out in this one position. Silencer not really having any love, even with that pull. Same time, DC do the same and keep the equilibrium that way.
Even if the early game's going poorly for Wings, they can still make it up in the team fight. It's going to be a long time until they can build Greaves, Lotuses, BKBs, the counters to Global Silence. So come 15, 20 minutes, I think Wings can start flexing their lineup.
Bottom lane, Faith dropping very, very low. We haven't even really had a close talk about this bottom lane, the Slaughter versus the Timber. Right now, things seem to be pretty even on the CS board, but how's this lane meant to progress?
We actually see Timbersaw not going for a Quelling Blade here, and this is why Slardar is able to actually overcome him in CS. It's very low on regen on the Slardar, but you expect it to go slightly Timbersaw favored.
Well, if Moo can have that, he's going to have a really great transition to that mid game. Maybe be online by the time Wings are ready to fight.
One of the best runes for a Skywrath Mage, the Regeneration. That's definitely gonna win the lane for him.
Yeah, that's just going to spam out the Storm Spirit, and he needs a second option. At least Storm, I don't know if he really wants to start farming up inside of his own jungle. There's actually a couple of stacks prepared, so maybe that's his catch-up, use the Remnants.
Yeah, they also need to get levels on the Wisp. Wisp might need to help him out with like a bottle refill to deal with this constant spam from Skywrath Mage.
Well, the lanes are settled down after that first blood in the river. We've had 3.5 minutes of peace. But on bottom lane, the first big rotation, it's actually going to be, well, I say big, as Innocence coming down to help. To gank up Moo, he's got 1 point up in Timber Chain, so he's got a way to get away from this, but then the movement speed, Crush off cooldown in 2 seconds time. No support coming in from DC. The Crush will connect, but Moo, 10 reactive armor charges. He's so tanky, the body block, it's not enough. Where's your bash there? Almost! The chain away! They're under the tower! There's no mana on Moo, but Faith, he might be in a little bit too deep here. He needs a way out. Crush is available. Where's that tether? It's off cooldown, but the Crush is going to miss. In comes your tether. Moo's looking for an opening. Remember, he's got no mana, no mango. And that means he can't find the kill. Faith dives deep, but does not kill the Moo.
I really like how Moo baited out that Crush there, just ran right outside of the range of Wings trying to make something happen in the other lane. And no TPs, even from the supports. So they're comfortable in Moo being sacrificed down there.
I'm wondering if he asked for anything, and DC's just like, I'm sorry, man. We got to hold this top tower. You survived that gank, and DC gets so much more. The top 3 CS is on the board. The lanes are looking fantastic for DC to start with. They have a small advantage, as now they might find a bigger one. Ice caught out. Rot denial, not possible. Misery gets the last club in.
One bright side for Wings there is that they did drop 2 sentry wards on the top lane at the same time. A little bit of miscommunication from them, and they won't be able to get that D-ward on that Ops.
So Wings, is this repair zone now for them, or are they still comfortable with the progression in the first 5 minutes?
You don't want to lose the lanes this badly. Look at Sky's CS compared to the Storms. 29 versus 11. They were neck and neck at one point.
This looks to be the reason why they're rotating up. So Faith Beyond as well as Innocence looking towards Weeha. Weeha has been very cocky in this mid lane, going over the river, and this is that kind of moment they were waiting for. Faith runs in, they'll get an easy crush. Innocence to help out with the Wisp Spirits. Blink the Storm Spirit! The Mystic Fire! Weeha! He burnt the Retina out of Blink! And now it's a 1-1 trade-off, but that was a heavy rotation from Wings. The time committed for that, and it's still a 1-1, the mid for mid.
And the Ogre staying there in the middle lane, really taking its toll on the Storm Spirit. He's not even close to level 6 at this point. Really like that before they make that rotation. At least they finally get a kill.
Innocence is back on the stacks. And you're already seeing the TP coming over, and Blink, yeah, he doesn't want to go anywhere near that mid lane for now. They have to clean up these stacks inside the Dire jungle in a bit.
But as we say that, DC is already moving into that area, although it will be under the eyes of the observer.
Ice is pinging out. He feels like he's got an opening here. While Resolution was farming the camp, the Dire Observer Ward still sees quite nicely. The Radiant Obs and Sentry is too far away. Now Ice moves over. Oh, wafts the hook. Actually threads the DC needle, and they have to turn with a rot. Ice stunned up. He'll deny himself with a rot. Sasa, he's away. Back behind the T1 tower. Still a couple of stick charges up his sleeve. Resolution also with Time Walk and stick charges. They'll back up as far as they can. But Resolution, the ball slap under the tree line. And the glaive is not enough damage. But it is! The last word was had by Wings. Misery's coming up for some deep revenge. He needs to find him in the tree lines. Shadow starts his TP out. Innocence does not have the man to do so. Misery gonna loop around the tree line, try and lock him in, but then the tether away the creep wave, aborting the Luminate as well. He gets out at the same time. Weehaw went for a crazy dive behind the tier 1 tower and lost his life.
Wow, with that outplay from the Wisps too, they're having a lot of trouble keeping track of him. He doesn't even have boots at the moment, opting for the raindrops instead. Might have even lived from that short charge Illuminate. And now TP on the top, bottle refill on Io, and they're doing well in this early game now. Off the back of the rotation of the Wisp, they really need some more hooks from Ice. However.
You know, it's that same thing we saw from the Wings pod just previously. Never really felt his big influence inside the game. He normally was just that fear which allowed his other supports to have space, but this silencer can't really make the most out of that.
Yeah, DC have to make sure not to overstay their welcome in the safe lane, in Wings' safe lane, that is. A lot of times you'll see the 3 heroes just stay there way too long. They get cleaned up by heavy rotation from the mid laner. But Storm did not have a good time. He's also not gotten any kill runes. Last 2 runes with haste, double damage, going to the way of the Skywrath Mage. 8-minute rune will be a bounty for Storm.
So again, no joy on the rune. There is a lot of joy to be had in that bottom lane. DC, Moo is just having a great time as he comes in close over on the Slider. 2 points up in Timber Chain is available, but he's not going to play that game as on top lane. Oh, Keeper of the Light gets caught out. Finally one of those hooks.
Yeah, it's about to be that time where they need to maybe ditch this or reinforce it with the help of the Moo Timber. Sora forced to help out the other lanes, and that's why you see the Timber out of control on CS.
Well, they have to find a way to completely shut him down at some point, or else Moo's going to do what Moo's done before. Huge win rate on that Timbersaw.
Man, the 8-minute rune was there for quite a long time. Haste for Sky.
Nice thing for Weehaw if he wants to get aggressive. Also, nice way to chase a Storm Spirit who's only got maybe 1/4 of his mana. The Seal. Weehaw gonna miss the Mystic Flare. So some decent damage to the Storm Spirit. Wow, okay, doing more than decent. It was amplified by the Seal to start with. But Blink, this is just not his game.
Yeah, they got rid of a lot of the raindrop charges. Moo going in deep on bottom.
Yeah, Faith so low, but confident enough to stand next to his own tier 2 tower. Doesn't want to back up completely. Wants to make Moo a little bit more fearful of being between a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower before even the 10-minute mark. But because he's doing this with a creep skip, it guarantees the early tier 1. And the help comes in from Coddle.
As we say that, Blink and Io.
Well, can they jump this? Moo still with the amplification. Faith comes in. There's your first jump. The crush to start with. No Vortex with a damage output. It may be enough for the back, but then the Timbersaw chains up the Shark damage. It's almost going to kill Inz if he's not careful. But they find the kill before he pulls it in.
Wow, Soxer just ditched him right there. I think with an Illuminate, they might have been able to get a triple kill right there. But Moo, dead to rights, tried to do what he could.
He almost managed to get himself, as he said, a triple kill. He just needed more time. Then it wasn't available. Resolution, walking right next to Shadow in the tree lines. He doesn't know. He came so close, you could probably smell him. Unless he goes around the corner of that tree, he still doesn't know. Shadow, cloak and dagger stuff, but he'll need help if they want to defend this. Innocent still doesn't have level 6, so there's no help coming there, and there it is. They just back out. Get TP of the Shadow back to base.
All that time wasted actually could have been done to the damage done to the tower. It's at 300 HP and need a little bit of help from Faceless Void. Also Shadow going for a little bit of a different build. Arcane Curse would have been potentially pretty good versus spammy heroes like the Faceless Void, the Sky, and the Timber, but opting to prioritize the last word so that Timber can't run away, Faceless Void can't cast Chrono, and just overall a little bit better synergy for their team fight.
Little extra control also arriving for Wings as Dismember arrives, the first tome being used on the Pudge. Really trying to make up for those levels he couldn't achieve on the top because he just had to hug the Silencer so close.
But DC have had so much control over Wings' jungle with another deep Observer Ward as they finish the T1 on top. Wisp just closing in on level 6, should get it after this camp. And starting to eye where those relocate ganks will happen as Ice perches in the bottom lane.
Yeah, he's waiting to prepare on Moo. With the amplification, he knows he's going to get the hit, the chain up. Ice still waits his time out.
They're hooking up the storm.
Goodness, they're creeping away. Oh, no.
And not enough mana for a Hook Dismember, especially with a level 3 chain on the Timbersaw. But Y and Blink are ready, waiting for the opportunity. It could be on top if he uses a defensive Global Silence.
That's where DC is headed at the moment with a 3-man smoke maneuver. As we'll have ourselves, just a quick pause. Nice start as far as DC. You feel like it was a good start for them. Overall, it's been moving between 1,500 net worth going the way of DC. But Wings, they've repaired a 2K deficit in experience, dragging it back their way after what was a bit of a harsh start in the first part of the laning. Can't believe that guy got in my cannon.
Who'd you vote for, Toby?
Higher, who else? He's the man. Well, we can go again as the pause is over. And Shadow has to be prepared for this. The Chronosphere out with a Mystic Flare. It's the old school combo and the Illuminate. The damage, it's not enough for the one charges. He will still die. We hired an extra Arcane Orb up his sleeve.
Well, Skyrat's actually so fast with the Bloodlust. He's moving like 412 move speed. Bloodlust just ran off him, but he's very farm close again on the Atos. And one of your main concerns about running a Core Sky is that he's going to fall off, similar to perhaps a Core Jakira that they ran earlier. But when he's this far ahead of the Storm Spirit, looks to be a pretty good game for him. But it's a slippery slope.
It is, but Wings still finding space while that gank was going on. So Silencer not the happiest time of all. Still gonna be happy. That's his first death in 12.5 minutes.
Do you believe in the taunt curse, Toby?
I believe in the cockiness curse. Yeah. Don't go too deep. I think Weeha already got that a little bit when he died behind the tier 1 tower.
Needs to do the dirty bird a few more times.
Top lane, Moo's gonna come over. Resolution waiting in the trees. No Chronosphere available for DC.
They're just baiting it out at the moment, just waiting.
I'm surprised Faith comes to. Okay, that's the reason. Yeah. He's already got that early Blink Dagger. With Tranquils, it's a little bit raw. No early stat items over on Faith Beyond.
And that Observer Ward will not catch wind of the Slardar nor the Io. So they are still blind. Although, you know, Silencer farming out alone with threat of relocate.
The ping actually came out. They think there's something going up here. DC's rotating supports, but it might be too late. Misery taking heavy damage. The multicast not enough to save his life. And now Resolution has to time walk back to the tier 1 tower.
Wings did such a good job of evading vision of that Observer Ward, but without Chronosphere up, not sure if DC can fight here. They're
forcing it. Leap in, time dilation. Global Silence comes out from Shadow, making this very difficult. Faith Beyond, blink forward. Stuns over on Resolution with a Timber Chain over. They need more damage. Resolution's going to go down. The Illuminate barely nicks the back of Faith, but with the Timber Chain forward, Moves bringing the damage, but it's still not enough. Faith Beyond into the tree line. Blink, he's got it. He's into the trees, starting a CP. The Hawk away, keeping it going all the way home. It's Fountain Hawking TI6 style. You're still brought back with a relocate, so Innocence will have to give up his life here.
He lost a whopping 4 gold from that, already purchasing his earn right before, and I don't know how Wings managed to make it out of that one, but that was a very fast Global Silence from Shadow right as Moo went in. As we can see, like, DC can't do anything during the Global Silence, not as of yet. Faces Void going for early Vlads, it seems. The Diffusal Blade is normally the build, maybe a little bit later on for the Faces Void if you want to counter the Global Silence. Timbersaw still has a long way to go until his Bloodstone, then maybe a Yules or a Lotus to deal with it.
We see now how DC love to push. Second Global Silence goes down. They know they've got the advantage. They've got Chronosphere up as well, so they attack into the tier 1 tower. They can keep going unless Wings wants to try and fight them.
Not there.
Maybe at the tier 2. DC, are they going to keep going?
They need to take it easy during the Chronosphere, and Pudge has to be really quick with his hook during the Chronosphere because Skywrath ult does insane amounts of damage, especially with how high level Wii is. He doesn't have level 2 ulti quite yet, but the response time has to come within half a second.
Nice deep ward down by Zuxa. Looking deeper in, Shadow. Well, easy TP out of the top lane too. Moo can't cancel that, no stuns. No Yule Scepters for this Timbersaw.
They use a dire scan near the top rune, so they know that everyone's down here.
Well, that's one way to... No, he even missed the denial. It's one way to deny a catapult.
But look at where they're setting up. Global Silence coming off cooldown in just 10 seconds time. We in very deep.
Faith doesn't have vision of him. Now he will. Blink, Crush, Storm Spirit jumps forward. Skywrath Mage. No real defensive abilities. Resolution. He time walked in like he was about to go for the Chronosphere and then pulled out.
I have to applaud Wings again for taking all these fights outside of DC's vision. They do have a ward in this mid lane,
coming over. That Observer was sees Faith. Ice still on the back lines, ready to be that saving grace. Blink, Crush, Misery now hooked down. Does he have enough damage? Resolution, no mana for a Chrono, and the Global Silence. They can't respond now, DC. Literally, mute button's been pressed. Wings, they will be forced out. As Moo is on the front lines, they go back up to the hillside of the Radiant Jungle. But they're still surrounding that mid-tier 1 town, but not for long.
such a tricky place for DC. They want to fight because they're right outside their T1 and they have vision, but their Skywrath has been down, and as soon as we respawn, Wings are out of there.
Notice too where Wee's TPing, he goes straight down to bot lane. He'll walk up and find the Storm Spirit with that Rod of Atos. The hook out again. The Rod of Atos slow. It cannot hold people inside that Mystic Flare, and it's still a level 1. It wasn't enough damage to get through Blink anyway.
They really want to take a fight with the Chronosphere up here. No global silence on Wings, and they know they have to get out of here right now.
Yeah, no global, no relocate, so you don't even have that saving grace when one of your cords gets caught in the Chrono.
But the battle of the cooldown of the ultimates are going to Wings at the moment. Global silence, 130 seconds. Chronosphere, same, 130, but they haven't been able to use it. And if this keeps going like this, Wings are just going to continue to get a lot of farm on the Storm Spirit, who had a terrible early game. He was maybe 1,500 below the Skywrath, but now they're caught up. DC with an aggressive maneuver, smoking down near Roche.
You wonder if it's one of those lanes again. Like, Jakira's really great up against Medusa, but what happens after you hit the 15-minute mark? Like, how does this Skywrath mage keep doing work?
They want kills. Like, ideally, it's just with the Ogre, so you don't have to blow the Chronosphere, but Shadow, he, I believe, was scouted out as he headed into there, but if the smoke pops, they're going to think it's because of the tower, so they can't head over there. Radiant has used Scan, thinking that Shadow's in the trees. It will light up green, and we will have to find another person to kill.
Yeah, they missed their target. They can go down to bottom lane, but there's 3 Dire Observer wards all through the Radiant jungle. So vision superiority, at least in the jungle itself, will go to Wings, but around the tower fight, it will be in favor of DC.
DC have also missed their D wards on the bottom lane, and Wings still have 3 up there. Smoke, again, right as Global Silence is about to come off cooldown.
They want to defend bottom. The recall already came in. Weeha was brought in. Blink in the neighborhood. There's your first crush. Is there help with the blinding light? Yeah, there is. Double TPs, but Global Silence again causing problems. Misery will arrive at Faith. He's in way too deep. The double crush, but Seal Mystic Flare will find the kill. Eyesight, he's trapped. The creep is locking him in the tree line. He can't escape. The Illuminate will help get the kill, but it goes to Weeha. As Wings force the issue a little too hard under the tier 1.
They expected a relocate coming right there. Faith went in. You got a very important hero in a Skywrath Mage, but Storm seemed a little bit too far behind. Even with level 2 Electric Vortex, it would have been a kill, and don't know where the Wisp and his partner was, but they don't even have to blow Chronosphere for that. Early Vlads, they can threaten Roche, but they don't really have good heroes to take it out at all. That's a very overwhelming concern for DC.
At least when that Diffusal Blade is up, that's going to be less concerns for DC. But for now, Wings, Bloodstones are up for both sides. Blink gets his fresh one, now with 12 Bloodstone charges, and the same for Moo. So these guys are very happy with their mana regen pulls.
The itemization from Wings looks like a Force Sap is coming out from Slardar, counter the Skywrath ulti, and then some magic resistance coming out from Ice Ice with a casual cloak. Shadow, early damage item in the drums, and working towards that Atos. Atos is, yeah, pretty decent if they want to focus people down that are having trouble locking people down because the Pud does not have a Blink Dagger. And Slaughter has to start off the fight.
You could say, yeah, Ice Ice. Well, here they go. He walks straight up the hillside, Mana League, and he goes for the Dismember. No lucky rot death there. So DC get a free kill.
3 unanswered kills by them, but Misery looks to be a little bit vulnerable in the mid lane. And instantly reinforced by Wii.
Well, that's a nice rune for Shadow to have if he can force a fight. While it's still up, that Arcane rune. Lowering the cooldown, or maybe no, they're actually going to give it over to Blink.
They have that Observer Ward. DC know exactly what's going on.
Well, that's why they've already moved to the Dire side of the river.
They need to set up wards over here. And this T2 tower is going to go down unless Wings come over there, but no one's in sight.
Well, they still have a relocate, but Io is probably the closest of any of these heroes. Like, he can drag Shadow up. And that's all. Chronosphere now on Faith. TPs begin. Global Silence once again making this difficult for DC to get the instant kill. But now the Timber Chain forward. Faith just explodes. They're going to have more damage once Weeha can get that ulti down, but he can't. Now he can, but it's all being chained up. Wings together, holding hands. But they may die together just as they fought. Nu is low, one sees the tower, chains away. Wings by buyback on Faith. They need a good crush out from him. Blink is off cooldown. He'll find Sasuke over in the tree line, so he'll take a fall too. I will grab that with a denial of the tower. Still a costly fight for Wings.
If they lose a tower, they have to buy it back on the Slardar, and it's going to be really slow on his progression for that Force Staff.
Faith, Blink, Crush, mid lane. It's Resolution though. Time walks off cooldown in a second. So he'll time dilate and then run away. It's like FaZe trying to force an issue, or at least make it so DC doesn't feel comfortable to move across the map.
They had a lot of trouble bursting down Wii, and it's going to be even more troublesome as he picks up his Yule Scepter. He managed to get his Mystic Flare off very early on into the fight. And he doesn't have any armor. He should be taken down a little bit more easily, but they don't really have too much physical damage to complement the Amplify.
What is any kind of armor item that Skywrath Mage will want to pick up?
We see Veil pretty commonly on Skywrath, probably the best of the worlds, but Yule's is likely much, much better to help him out against the Storm Spirit in an instant cast so he can get out of a punch hook potentially.
Oh, the smoke. Wings had Knobs ward up. ISIS will break it. Do they want to go on him? Roshan's not dead yet. They put the Timbersaw on the front lines. Digital Chaos trying to find that quick opening. Shadows nearby. There is no Global Silence and trouble. Blink is down. He'll commit suicide with a Bloodstone. He'll be back in 10 seconds, but 10 seconds may be too long. Shadow will go down. Innocent's attempted relocate will fail. He didn't get him out in time.
They can hook out the Wisp, though. They can hook out the Wisp. That's the only play that I think they have to perhaps save him.
ISIS is standing too far away. Now he's going to come down close enough to it. Innocence, the stun's there. ISIS holds the hook. Instead, they may try and contest Roshan. Storm Spirit, very easy to jump in, but the Observer Wards up for both Dire and Radiant on the cliff sides of Roshan. Here comes your first hook. They drag Moo up. They know the Grand. It's a 3-man corridor! Resolution! He hit the money low right here! Chain forward! Wings, where's your extra damage? Resolution will keep chasing down after him. The Yules are up, keeping Faith out of it. And Moo still wants ISIS. They're going to go on Faith first. He'll drop down, and they get them all! Wings, they had 5 feet. Time to fight 2-10 in the grave.
What a godly Chronosphere from Resolution. Wings thought they had that advantage with a high gun Observer Ward, but DC, they sneak an Observer Ward from inside the pit. Wings think they're safe over there. They think they're under the cover of fog, but I also really like the positioning of the melee heroes from DC. Resolution was standing to the north side of the Wisp in case Pudge threw out the hook. He could just turn around with the Chronosphere, and Moo's positioning over there too, getting hooked instead so that Faceless Void can do what he does best.
Well, they give the Immortal over to Weeha. As they can look to the Tier 2 tower. A lot going their way. Global Silence is back up for Wings, so they do have that strength in the team fight. 50 seconds for a resolution before Chrono is up. You have to remember still, DC want to fight around the timings of these big ultimates. And Wings, they want to make sure if that Chrono is down, they have Global Silence up there looking for kills too. Something which we haven't seen from Ice. This Pudge has been more like a get out of jail free card. If you can stay in the right position.
They've been 5-manning a lot. They haven't really been in a vulnerable position for Wings to gank them with a relocate.
Ice, he's found Moo. Relocates on the way. They got extra help, but Moo's going to pop. Could not deny himself. Wee's actually in the neighborhood. Might try and find a revenge kill. It was a relocate in, so he knows there's only going to be one hero left. And it looks like Ice, the man without a single point up in Flesh Heap, will die to the magical damage of Wee. Inside the Dire jungle, while on bottom lane, Global Silence helps kill a Void. So tit for tat between DC and Wings.
DC have to be careful not to give out too many kills. They actually gave the Aegis of the Immortal to the Skywrath instead. Maybe thinking that Faces Void not terribly useful after his Chronosphere is done. Wee being the biggest damage dealer on their side.
They might still be really concerned that Wee could just pop way too easily. Don't have him there, so hey, give him a second life.
I think you're more worried about the Faceless Void dying first in the fights. Timbersaw has enough Bloodstone charges to be almost instantly recalled into the fight. Faceless Void, if you don't have Chronosphere, you're actually pretty likely to lose the fight.
No to his item build on the Faceless Void. He went for Manta style as opposed to finishing up a Diffusal Blade.
That's fine. Both of them get out of Global Silence one to the other. It's also really good to counter the Pudge Hook. As soon as you get Pudge Hook, you Manta style, and the cast time on the Time Walk is not instantaneous. So it's an easy way to get out without having to rely on your team to back you up.
Moo's also bringing some damage of his own, going for that Yule Scepter we're talking about.
And Storm also picks up a Yule Scepter, more likely than not to counter the Skywrath, Silence, and Ultimates.
Give him some way to jump in and out. Some time to regenerate, some time to think about the fight. For now, DC, they're the ones holding the advantage. They're coming in towards the mid lane. Towards the Tier 2 tower. Chrono is up. Basically, everything apart from Global Silence is up. That's 42 seconds still on cooldown for Wings. Faithfully has some momentum on the bottom lane. Might make DC think twice about going to the Tier 3s. And that's exactly what happens. They're going to back out. New items from DC. We going for a very early game style build. Atos, Yules, and now a Blink Dagger on the Skywrath.
You can get on the back line and kill that Storm Spirit, or sorry, kill the Silencer. He doesn't have a way out of the Silence right now. He is the easiest target to kill. If he gets the Ancient Seal on him before he can pop his Global, I think Wings lose that fight tragically.
So you need Silencer to have some kind of way out.
Or just good positioning too. We initially thought it was going to be a support Silencer, but core Silencer, very vulnerable without BKB. Sometimes we see Shadowblade come out from him, but might be a Force Staff at the moment.
And everyone's getting Yule Scepters. Faith just finished his.
DC.
Are they going to find anything with this, with a 4-man maneuver? And they're smoking at the same time as Global Silence is off cooldown.
And looks like they are going to show the Timber Cell in the mid lane, but they can easily recall him to the fight. Dire's use scan, they know exactly where they are.
So smart from Wings. They see it coming, but how do they react?
They need an Observer Ward.
They actually can't TP out Blink. Blink is walking so far over that he can just jump, and yep, there she goes into the tree line. Number one, but the steal is up. Yule Scepter will dispel it. Global Silence, but Resolution drops the Chronosphere. They wait for him to hit the ground and then burn him in the light.
They knew that smoke was coming, but he didn't jump that far. I'm surprised he actually went to the right side instead of left where the rest of his team was.
It was just the TP being on cooldown. Maybe he felt like he had to jump all the way to the tier 3 tower, but he had to close the distance to do that.
Perhaps, but if you just go to the left side, you have the Observer Ward there. You can hide, pop the smoke.
Innocence. Oh, Weeha! Blink in, Yule Scepter, the crutch! Hits on 4! They hook out Resolution! Almost back to tier 4 towers! He'll time walk down at the Force Off from Misery trying to save him. The Aegis Immortal will trigger, so Weeha back up again, and they're going to burn down the Slaughter. The assault into the base. Ice can't keep the fight going for Wings. Unable to latch that hook. But it's still Shadow finding a double kill, repelling DC.
They wanted to go in that small window where the Storm Spirit was still dead. But haste breeds mistakes.
And it does. The tier 3 town takes minimal damage. With every one of these kills as well, just a little bit more of that intelligence of DC gets stolen by Wings. Up to 16 now on Shadow, slowly buffing him up.
I'm not sure if Wings can take large-scale engagements at this point. Still need more items up.
They're pinging out for top. I think Ice wants to go for a hook. They have a relocate available from Innocence.
Trying to make use of the last couple of minutes of this Observer Ward, but DC are grouped up far too much. And things are going to get a lot easier once next daytime hits.
Oh, the Observer Ward. They see Blink. He's walking straight into Misery. The stuns, the Mystic Flares. Yule Scepter up. Is there a relocate save? Yeah. No! Innocence! It's like he grabbed onto him, but not strong enough to pull him through the void. And now he's coming back in 3, 2, 1. And goodbye, Innocence. He'll spend his money before death, both mech recipe as well as buckler recipe.
The Storm Spirit has died 7 times this game. Wee is just crushing him at every turn.
Really may actually be on 1 Bloodstone charge soon. He's down to 3 Bloodstone charges on this Storm Spirit. Oof. And now he's building an item which you normally get when you have momentum. He's going back into the Orchid after Bloodstone and Yules. From top, in the jungle, Ice and Mystic Flare doing some work. He'll survive. The Glimmer Cape keeps him invis. And Faith looking for the crush, but he missed it. Now Resolution. They already found one. Weeha is caught inside the Chronosphere, trying to kill the Slaughter. Shadow will move over. Can they find the kill? Yules up from Slaughter. He'll go again up and towards the air. Shadow still wants his kill over on Weeha. Faith will drop in the meantime, but the Rod of Atos, the curse, it should be enough with the Yule Scepter. Dispel. Shadow's running out of mana. The blink out. Weeha keeps the kite going. Resolution for the time locker. A double kill for Moo. And Wings kited to the end of the earth in a stiff breeze.
Another phenomenal play coming out from Wee. Such an unlucky miss uphill as Silencer was going for the finishing blow with the amp damage still on Sky, but he is styling on them.
Now they look for more. Blank having a ball lighting himself away from Moo. DC are starting to roll with the punches. It's going to be even more difficult to try and repel them as these early game items with this really strong mid-game draft hitting a mark from DC. We've got Diffusal plus Manta up. They've got everything to deal with Global Silence. Even almost a Lotus Orb up for the Timber.
Yeah, their items are coming out way too quickly. They really need maybe an Aegis on the Storm Spirit to get back in this game, but DC is showing no signs of halting. Skywrath almost has as many kills as Wings' entire team.
That is definitely an issue. If you had Wing in your fantasy team, you'd be smiling all the way through.
He's still suffering a little bit in terms of net worth over the Storm Spirit, but Storm Spirit could have been a way bigger threat had we not been playing this well.
But it's something too which Wings was probably expecting. Like we've seen it, like the panel was guessing. Black said maybe it wasn't the greatest time to pick up an Ogre, but DC have done it time and time again. They get that early balance their way when that Ogre rotates into mid, plus having an early game help, like the Skywrath Mage Orbs.
Yeah, it might be time to bring back the 2-1-2 mid lanes.
B, top lane, quick jump, Yule Scepter up, that's the Slaughter. Still got 6, oh, okay, those charges don't mean anything. He didn't even have a chance to trigger it off as Moo finds the kill.
No chance.
Yeah, no chance, definitely chant though. It's not a boo you're hearing if you're listening back at home. That is all for the Moo, as now the Hawk. Nice ice. Unable to hit that reactive armor.
Misery still needs to be recalled if they want to make this a 5-man push.
Where's your fight?
Oh, he has Scepter. This is going to be insanely difficult for Wings to hold.
Especially during the daytime. Extra heal, Blink and jump himself in. The time block holds him in. The global silence. They'll actually pull Blink away with the Hawk, but now DC, no global silence to fight up against. They know they got the advantage, they got Chrono, they got everything their heart desires. All they want is the racks. DC, everyone was pinging Wings to try and win this grand final. The favor is to do it for DC. They will be the first to claim the full set of racks on top. Fortification from Wings is slowing this fight down. ISI still looking for a good angle. Blink jumps in. They don't have the opening just yet to smoke the Hawk. It actually drags the Slaughter out of his crush. They still know they got more than multicast. Blink forced up down outside the Chrono. Silence the corner time of innocence. He can't pull him out in time. They'll have to hold in. They have to back up under the tier 4 towers. DC, they're rampaging on from Nember objective-based gaming with GG. Wings will call it. DC takes game number 1 of the TI6 Grand Final against Wings. The boys that went all the way through the winner's bracket.
Jeez. We is insane on that Skywrath Mage. And again, the early game Ogre from Misery. You can still feel the effects of his first 5 minutes.
It's the confidence of DC to go for a left field pick like that. You're actually wondering, could anyone draft against Wings? Can anyone get the advantage? And Digital Chaos, they've done it. They're 1 game up in this best of 5.
It was so hard for Wings to execute their line with the Pudge. 1 and 8 didn't really connect on.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for game number 2 of our grand final matchup, Wings versus Digital Chaos. We're in the drafting headquarters once again with Winter Black and, of course, Draskell. Gentlemen, game number 2 underway here. We really don't know what to expect. Winter, what did you just say to me before we came back on here? There is no
meta.
There is no meta.
I think it's fairly accurate at this point, right? And people change, like even the opening bans, like almost every single game. I mean, sure, we've seen the Drobin taken out quite a bit, but
Yeah, just look at Wings, what they're doing this game.
I mean, like, to correct it a bit, there's no meta for those 2 teams. Like,
there's
every other
there's
team
no
has one.
grand final meta.
All right, yeah, that
There
sounds
we
good.
go.
So there's
good.
no meta for the 2 greatest teams in the game right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
But I think that just
That's why they're
speaks,
great.
it speaks volumes about why Dota's in such a great spot right now.
The meta is self-belief and confidence. That's the meta.
The power of the heart. It's the meta.
Yeah, we've seen the same with the Lions. Their meta was the meta.
Wow. Very deep from Black. Thank you for that.
Your,
though.
your meta is anti-mage invoker. Get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
You can win any game with the AM first pick, I'm just saying.
Yeah, in your dreams.
We'll have to see if they heed your advice or not. For now,
No,
their
they
first
won't.
picks will stay a bit more traditional, if you will. Oracle right into a Faceless Void there for Wings, while DC, for now, snag up Mirana, and then look for the secondary grab. We'll anticipate possibly a Naga. I was
We've
going to say
seen
maybe
this.
Shadow Demon, but no. straight to
Naga Siren counter. I mean, counters the Void. They've done it before.
Oh, yeah.
done it
I
like
expected
3 or
a
4
Shadow
times.
Demon too, to be honest, because it's just so good with the Mirana. But instead, they just wanna go for the Naga Siren to completely counter the Void. And if you get a net on the mid laner, you can still arrow him pretty easily.
Both teams have their significant way of dealing with the Void. We saw from Wings last game, they picked the Pudge. This time, DC, obviously in a few games we saw, they like to go for the Naga against the Chronosphere to deal with it. Be it a support, be it a core.
And they get opposite reactions from their spectators. Pudge, hype, Naga.
I mean, to be fair though, it's such a solid opening for Wings as well because you have the Oracle already against the Mirana. That hero can pretty much protect two different people on his team from the burst of the Mirana once the Aghanims is out. You know, you fade TX1 and then you just pop ulti on the others.
The game yesterday, you just reminded me of
That's why I'm saying it's like so good.
Yeah, it's a hard counter. Like literally a hard counter. Like the only thing you do with Mirana is you blink next to people in your Starfall, and then he's like,
He's like, what?
Fate's Edict.
Fate's Edict.
I know you don't know the name of that spell.
Yeah, he just said it. Of course I know.
Fair enough.
Dude, to be fair, it took me like a year to learn what those things were called. I don't know why it was so hard for me to remember them, but
Purifying Flames, dude.
yeah, that's his E.
Do you know his Q? Go.
Fortunes and
I didn't ask you. I know you know. I was testing the cores, but it's all right.
You're a core player?
I am.
yeah, so for Wings in the second ban phase, they choose to take out the Tide. Tide, a very good hero to deal with Chronosphere if you don't catch him in. It's very difficult for your teammates to run in. It's like, it works both ways. You want to chrono the Tide, but if you don't get the Tide will be able to blink behind the bubble and just ravage your teammates.
And on top of that, it's like super good with Naga Siren. It's like TI3, TI2 meta. Naga Sleep into Ravage. It's still very, very strong, and people just don't want to deal with it.
Right, don't you think like Disruptor is probably better in that sense where the setup is much easier than the Tide Ravage?
No, Disruptor is like way easier, and like the cooldown is way shorter as well.
Yeah.
But it also could be scared that they don't have a mech carrier as well, whereas Disruptor doesn't really fit into that slot.
Yeah, and that's a really good point about like Tide. Not many offlaners right now that offers that. Being the mech carrier in the current meta, only Tide and Darkseer does that.
Yeah.
Darkseer is actually a possibility for Wings too, right? I mean, now that we bring it up, because they have the Oracle themselves.
Yeah. Super good with the Void as well. Can Chrono. I mean, you can like vacuum people into the Chrono. You Iron Shell the Void, make him like super strong early on.
Yeah, but the issue is like, it's not one of Moo's comfortable heroes. He plays best on Timber or Bat Rider.
No, we said for Wings, right?
Oh,
Yeah, for Wings, not
Yeah,
for
for Wings.
not for DC.
okay.
The DC definitely wants their Bat Rider, the Timber Saw, his best heroes for sure. Like by far as well.
They'd also gotten rid of the Huskar, of course, on the side of DC.
Yeah.
An Oracle comes out, you got to make sure all bases are covered in the second phase. The second phase is really where you hit the other team with those respect bans, and then obviously any sort of cheese bans if they're
So
necessary.
basically, like we mentioned, Wings took out the two mech carriers for the offlane for DC in case push comes in.
Still in Walker.
Setup, they have good setup for the Sunstrike, so it's a very solid pick overall.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit surprised that DC banned Timber and Wings banned Darkseer. Like
I mean-
we said Darkseer might be good for them and Timber is good for the other team.
No, Timber is like still good for if you're gonna run a Naga core. You don't want to deal with
Yeah.
Timber. You rather deal with Invoker.
They always want to keep their options open. They always want to, like, with the last pick, they want to determine whether Naga is carry or support.
Yeah, but at the same time, going back to the Darkseer ban, I felt like if DC's lineup have Darkseer and Naga and you're running a Naga core, the lanes are always going to be pushed. I mean, I get your point where the Oracle's going to like crush the Darkseer in the lane, but you just Iron Talon in jungle at the start if you can't go to the lane. And when it comes to mid-game, it's going to be so annoying with the Iron Shell spam plus the Naga.
That's a very good point.
I mean, that's all putting a lot on the fact that it's going to be a Naga core, right? I mean,
Yeah,
You never
but
know.
they ban Timbers. It's like it's like a good
Should-
sign that Naga might be a core.
I mean, they also ban Huskar. Of course, Huskar is like a really good ban against like Oracle in general, but that can also lead to like a Naga core because the game can't be like you won't lose the game in like 20 minutes to a Huskar.
Yeah, that's also very true about the Huskar. Like Naga, you want to prolong the game, and Huskar is kind of those cores where you just run at the enemy when you have one or two like medium items, like armor plus one item, and you try to end the game at that point when Naga's not ready to deal with you.
Yeah. Alright, like that being said, DC, they've changed it up. They can change it up again.
I mean, there's still Shadow Demon for them. Shadow Demon seems really good for the Mirana setup. Naga, make more illusions.
And on cue, Shadow Demon comes out for DC.
Super good.
very stable pick.
Yeah, for Wings right now, they might have to consider getting heroes that can deal with the illusions because it's kind of obvious that DC are going to go for this core Naga with the Shadow Demon here.
But like, there's not that many heroes that can really do it. There's like a Lion, but there's way too many illusions for Lion to deal with it. Then we have like maybe like a Legion Commander offlane, but you don't really want to have that either.
Like a support Zeus or something. I only suggest because it's Wings. Who knows,
If it
right?
was Wings, maybe, yeah.
Dude, I like it. I like support Zeus.
If they didn't have Invoker, I would look back to something like Magnus just because of what we saw.
Yeah,
today with
maybe go for Cleave. Like I'm thinking, yeah. I mean, they're still Sand King. I was like thinking, there's something is still there in the pool that we are missing that deals with illusions.
They usually run Sand King offlane, right?
No, there was one game that I saw TI6, maybe 2 games that he played the Sand King like support on the position for.
Yeah, would be pretty good too here. Like they can go greedy if they want to, but usually DC with that draft they go like aggressive trial-in, and they like want to make it really hard for the enemy team carry to like farm up. And Void is a pretty like he's not a bad safe laner, but he doesn't offer like any damage.
He doesn't pressure the offlane as much as like someone else like Luna.
Yeah. So like I do expect the Naga Siren to be most likely like in an aggressive trial lane. Shadow Demon plus
How about
1.
mid? You don't think there's a chance that they might do it mid?
No, it's very possible too if you want to like avoid pressure.
Yeah, but have they ever actually, because I know we doesn't play the hero, have they ever switched lanes where we joins the tri lane and resolution is mid?
No, not so far.
I have not done that.
So probably based on that reason alone, that might not happen here.
Yeah. You think this is gonna go something like Kunkka again? One of their really favorite heroes. Kunkka, Shadow Demon.
I mean, it's
Naga
very
Siren.
good here. It's good for catching out Sand King, especially the bow buff is great.
So you think that they would run like an aggro tri lane with Naga with Kunkka plus Shadow Demon?
I mean, they did that in the past. It's just to pressure the enemy offlane, and usually it works out really nicely, and then it just get like a huge lead.
No.
Dude, we have not seen that baby boy for a long time.
Not in a long time.
They did it in the group game against OG. The game where they had Doom, they had a support Morphling. It was all against the anti-mage.
I mean, it's incredible against Invoker and Void.
But that's the offlaner, right? Not position 4 support.
Yeah, offlaner.
Yeah.
Okay, Doom offlaner.
I mean, the nice thing about this hero is that you pretty much just go and you get your spell off, and the damage is pretty much done. You know, one person's just out of the fight, and plus he can go. He's very versatile, can go anywhere.
But you don't want to have him against Sanking, right? Like if it's actually Sanking offlane, you get completely destroyed.
Just know you have to let Sand King deal with the tri lane and not get a 1v1 matchup in this situation. You definitely do not want that to happen for you.
That's why I think DC will just like try to avoid going aggressive tri lane, no matter what they pick.
Yeah, but if they go, say, defensive lanes, do you think it's better to have Mirana as a support, or you just go for something else and just let Mirana go for the mid lane and be a core position?
No, I think whether it's better or not is not even important for DC, because we is just like so confident and comfortable in Mirana right now. He just makes plays happen like every game. Like we spoke about it before. Positions are like good and fine and all, but
I guess with that in mind, so Dazzle will probably be their best pick, right? Like Shadow Demon, Dazzle, and Naga, your lanes is super strong.
Dazzle is amazing with both their heroes and against the enemy heroes as well.
Yeah, when they are trying to focus you in the bubble or the Sand King Power Strike, you just have the Grave to bail your teammate out.
But that being said, might still be a support Naga. It's very unlikely, but you know, DC, you never know until the last pick.
Yeah, I guess so.
And support Naga does have its. So this is support Naga again.
All right.
So aggressive
aggro trialing. Like I don't like this for the single reason that if it's offlane Sand King, Doom is gonna have a very, very hard time.
Yeah, but he's always good at recovery, right? Like you have Devour, you can Iron Talon, and plus you pretty much.
Do you think it's worth it though for that?
Yeah,
and to give Sand King a free lane though.
He can be the mech carrier for the team as well. That's another thing.
Yeah, but do you want to give like the only real playmaker of Wings like a good lane? Like if that SK gets like a super fast blink, he can turn those fights around.
I mean, it's going to be a trade-off for sure, but I think for DC they can still make it work.
Yeah, maybe they go defensive lane as well. So I'm not sure. So there's going to be a Slaughter support Sand King.
Offlane Slaughter then.
I mean, in that 1v1, I think Doom's fine.
Now I like it way better.
Yeah.
Like if they go aggro now, I actually think they're favored.
Yeah, I'm going with DC.
Yeah, I'm going with DC too.
Same.
We'll see if DC are going to be able to move ahead 2-0 in this best of 5, or if Wings are going to be able to match things up 1-1. Let's send it over to the sidelines right now where we got our casters. It's going to be Toby 1 and Merlini.
Anti-mage.
DC versus Wings. First, these guys break the meta, then they make the meta, then they break it again just to give us a new spectacle here on the main stage. The Doombringer pickup, now out for Digital Chaos. Ben, thoughts?
That's Moo's signature hero. That's when I first saw Moo. I was like, wow, this guy's really good on a hero that wasn't super popular at the time. I think it's one of his best heroes. Similarly, on the side of Wings, we have the Invoker for Blink, which is what they won ESL Manila with.
Well, can't wait to see it. It's time to get into the game as game number 2 of this TI6 Grand Final is underway. Digital Chaos 1 game up over the Chinese Wings, as we will be bringing in an Iron Talon Sand King for the off lane and an Iron Talon Slaughter. They're doubling the talons on these two boys.
It's going to be tough for them to stay in lane. Yeah, double Iron Talon.
Yeah, they're actually
right off the bat.
They're actually doing this.
And DC have already placed them as a reward on the high ground to make sure there aren't any Iron Talon shenanigans.
You wonder, like, do they come over and contest this as well? You can send an SD over. For now, like, you'd also be concerned about the SD rotations. What happens when he moves into mid lane? Setting Weeha up for some really good arrow combinations is an old classic combo. The SD Mirage together, you've even got the ensnare from Misery, so multiple ways to enable resolution as well, like with static link combos, other ways. It's like DC just have everything as far as combos go, that Wings have a superior team fight.
I think Invoker's also one of the few heroes in mid that can actually stand up to the SD Mirana. You want a hero with summons so that you can block the arrow without any of your supports having to rotate over there, but more so concerned about their Iron Talon.
Yeah, where do these guys go with that? Like, do you actually send one of them into the Radiant jungle? Like, is that the way you start this off? Like, you're running double R in town, so you've
You mean Dire jungle?
Sorry, yeah, well, you could. haven't seen a Radiant support invade the Dire jungle for farming in, well, since Ricky's, like, Enigma started to try
I think only
dodge
Enigma
Ricky's.
can do that.
Yeah.
Maybe Doom too, actually.
Hey, you could always pick an Enigma. I don't think anyone here will be sad about that.
So Moo will start off in the off lane. They're just safe lane, tri lane.
Yeah, so nothing unusual from them, and the dual off lane from Wings. So,
But if they're starting off Wings, they see that 3 heroes are up there. They expected the aggro.
look at the quick rotations too. Moo walks all the way over, gets hit by the crush. Ice Ice's Bone Strike. Shadow's on his way in, while the Static Link up on the top lane, they're battling there. And Innocence makes a break for the tree line. It's Moo who's trying to escape on the bottom. He actually devoured a Centaur, got a 3-man stomp, and trying to reach back to his own tier 1 tower. It won't happen, however.
How is Innocent still alive on this top lane?
I do not know. He's had so much damage, stolen Misery. He hasn't even leveled an ability. Now he'll level up the ensnare, but what help is there? It's only that one range creep, and he actually... he stops him from attacking by putting the Fate's Edict on him.
Oh, they actually did not have enough damage and no vision inside those trees to finish off a solo Oracle after the Faceless Void have.
And I wish we could see
out.
that Moo player get on the bottom lane. That was superb from him. For now, though, the top lane, a little bit more difficult. Misery has leveled up in Snare early on, so we can't harass out with Riptide.
They just don't have enough damage to follow up. They need a lot of right clicks after the Static Link drains enough damage, but no oof, no way to really slow them down.
So make the best of what you got. That's what the Sand King can do. Mr. Iron Talon, go wherever the hell he wants. He does have a level 1 Burrow Strike, so it's also not great for him, but he has hit level 2. So the options are there. Fade's deciding to go a little bit deeper into the Dire jungle. So, hey, you said it. Like, is this that time when you send a Radiant hero into the Dire jungle? Instead, Fade's actually going to loop all the way around. It's like he's here to pull the creep wave down to get some experience that way. But he won't find it. He doesn't have an Observer Ward either, so there's no way to establish vision inside the DC jungle to safely farm.
Yeah, he had to play especially carefully. He had to use 2 stomps on the bottom lane, or 2 crushes on the bottom lane, and a TP.
Moo might be... Okay, he's fine. You're going to Fortune's End to slow him down. It's a level 2 time lock up for Shadow. But he'll need some serious RNG to get through that Doombringer.
And the Doom is also an excellent pick versus the...
They're going top lane. Ice Ice locked up to start with. It's the Ensnare. They're still stealing a lot of damage. Now also Ice Ice, the Sentry Wards, both of them being dropped at the same time. Disruption is up here, but the 3-man crush from Faith Beyond. Ice Ice, one more attack. There it is. The Shadow Demon Poison will reach it and stare into the slot R2. They can make this a 2 for it. They do. Digital Chaos, they couldn't find the time to inflict the damage before, but this time they found it.
Maybe a little bit of nerf getting to Wings. They missed the Burrow Strike on that Naga Siren. Would have definitely helped him out a little bit there. And the Ensnare will take down 2. And Wings, they are not one to really give up on the off lane. And I'm a little surprised by that because they do have Iron Talons, but Iron Talons aren't terribly useful if you're sitting in the lane. You'd prefer to have Stouts, Salves, Mangoes, Fairy Fires, Sticks, pretty much anything else aside from that. I guess the armor helps him a decent bit, however.
Zuxa scouted out, moving over. He starts with a poison, still got disruption available. Weeha, hard to hit that arrow, so he leaps over to try and hit the arrow. Maybe just a Starfall, Burrow Strike from Ice Ice, dropping that SD low with a cold snap. It's Weeha who finds the first kill. The Sand King will get revenge, however, into the SD. And we'll have to back away as Slaughter rotates over. The crush to Wee, but Ice Ice has no interest in being involved in this.
Still suffering on the mana front. They're not really getting too much value out of the Iron Talons that are under way too much stress from all of these lanes under heavy fire from DC.
I'll take your tribute.
Easy bottle refresh for Wee, so he can go back up to full health, full mana. He does miss the bottom rune, however. Innocence made his way over for that.
wonder what build Shadow's going to go for. We see him get Linken's first a lot on the safe lane Void, and I think it's definitely warranted here versus the Doom.
At the same time, a lot of the Faces Voids we've been seeing on the main stage have just picked up Vlad's early on as well. Probably depends on when Wings feels like they can fight. We still need to create some more space for this Slaughter. Like, yeah, he's got Boots and Iron Talon, but the dream is getting that early Blink Dagger. Right now, DC don't want to give him any level of space as they force into the Tier 1 tower. Ice. It's only a level 1 Burrow Strike. With the Crush, they do get the distance. It's also only a level 1 static link, so Resolution not stealing that much damage. He's put more points into the AoE of that plasma field.
But now DC, they don't have any creeps to tank, so they're just going to sit here. They have a very deep Observer Ward too, and the Wings look like they do not want to let this tower fall. Usually this tower is not that important, but this game a little bit more important because of the Iron Talon. They can't both utilize that south jungle. They need this large camp.
They're trying to go for a revenge on mid. That SK is wrapped all the way around the back lines. He has the Observer Ward on his hill side. It's going to time out in 8 seconds time, but it gave enough information that he's able to escape the gank as time logs move. Fortune's end again. Shadow needs another time log to make this work. He'll get it. He may die in the tower, but Innocence, no, the heal is there. And Shadow barely survives. Also with a salve up his sleeve, can save Innocence the mana.
Oof, that was close. Nice phased edict coming out from Y. He definitely needed that tick of a heal to save him up there. And Wings, finally that Observer Ward is down on the side of DC, so Faith can safely jungle.
So this early on, haven't seen the Invoker really being tested that heavily. Like obviously he still got that one death early on, but like Wings, how's your timing looking? Are you going to get your double Blink Daggers up when you're feeling comfortable?
The thing is with the Invoker, they don't actually need too many items. They can easily set up with a Burrow Strike during nighttime. He has the move speed build too with the Windlace or Chronosphere from the Faces Void, and just farm out with the Invoker. You typically don't see them getting involved too much. And it's not like you have a carry Naga on the opposite team, so they're okay. The main concern is the Mirana Eggs.
Concern up on the top lane. Misery ready to wrap around the rear. He's got illusions available, so no problem diving the tower, but Faith, he understands something is wrong, but he can't see. Now you'll see the illusions arrive. But they just want this top tower. Support's on the way in the form of Innocence, heading to the top lane. Tier 1 tower, there's no fortification, so Faith actually just running himself in. They've still got Disruption as well as, and Snare's on cooldown for 2 more seconds. But TP, his Faces Void, Chrono is available. They're going to be careful in DC. The Chrono catching Sasha as well, so Resolution. The Zone Strike will help them. They take 1, they take 2, they move to Resolution. Time locking him up. The Crush still on cooldown. Actually, no mana. Resolution will steal the damage. This stops the Faces Void from finding the kill. Resolution, he's walking out of here. And he gets away under the cover of the Moonlight Shadow.
At least Misery got the tower there. Expertly baited by the Slaughter. He forced him to go on top of him and committed to that fight after his boy TP'd in.
Misery. Oh, okay. Again, the Forge Bros are blocking the angle. Sorry, we were sitting right on top of Blink. Like he was itching to go for the kill, but just didn't have the support for a bottom lane. They go for the kill. Sunstrike move. Gonna dodge it. Only barely, but turns on the 3 points up in Scorched Earth. He's at life to survive. Ice dropping down. It was the Infernal Blade, which is still ticking him down to 38 HP. He'll make a break for the tree line and survive. As Moo just reminding us all why the Doombringer is difficult to kill in that off-lane position.
That was a really nice position by him, though. He expected a Sunstrike and actually ran towards the Radiant side, expecting it to go into his walking path. It actually shouldn't be. You shouldn't be able to dodge it at this point in the game if you place it just right on top of him. But, you know, it's normal to lead it a little bit. Lincoln really needed that Sunstrike kill. His Midas is going to come out a little bit slowly. He's doing very well in terms of CS from Wii. The tables have turned since last game.
They're going to try and create some space up on top. There's no level 6 for Ice. Faith does have the Crush. They start with Burrow Strike. Disruption. Soxa right on top of it. They still need to get that Crush with a sprint forward. They can move over the Shadow Demon with no defensive disruption. It's an easier setup for the Sunstrike, but the damage still not there. The Burrow Strike! Ice gets 3, catching Weehaw mid-lead. Soska so low, but he doesn't die. Ice wants to be denied to the creeps. May not happen. Hiding inside the sandstorm, the arrow from Weehaw pulls him out. But where is the matter? Ice doesn't have it. The last attack from Wee will do the job.
Wow, that's Static Link. He was just one hit away, but he had no damage. All of it was sucked away by that level 2 Static Link, and they were just unable to chain their stuns, get a clean kill with the Sunstrike. That's what they're aiming for at this stage in the game. and falling a little bit behind in terms of XP as they search for kills around the map. And this is before Misery hits level 6.
Crazy thing to think when you don't have that Naga song to get you out safely. That level 6 you're talking about. But things can start to slow down a little too. DC holding the biggest gold advantage we've had the game so far, but it's not even 1,000. Shows you how close this is. Innocence currently being chased down by Misery. Fate's going to rotate over. They start with a Fortune's End. This will hold him in position. Sunstrike, Crush, and there she goes. Very simple combo for Wings to execute.
Gotta respect the Sunstrike. And now Moo probably calling for someone over. He is level 6, ready to kill this Faceless Void. Looks like he will be going Lincolns. See the start of the Perseverance. Perhaps Vanguard too, but I think with the Pull Shield, it's pretty clear that he's going for Lincolns this game.
You can make Black weep by buying a Battle Fury on him. So they may make a lot of other people weep. There's that Hand of Midas timing, so 10-16 is how long it took for Blink to finish it. But this will now give him really good progression. He's already the top net worth on the field.
Yeah, pretty decently far ahead of the Murano. See a smoke gank Moo.
Yeah, they have Doom up and available. One thing they may reach is the Courier. It's too far away. Instead, they're rotating over. They're searching for Invoker. They don't have to really search that far. He's still attacking the creep wave.
That's a really hard gank to hit. Maybe if we had a better rune, but they're going to have to do it the hard way.
Blink is up far enough. You just scorched to tank up the tower. You can start with Disruption and catch it. Blink may be far enough away with the Starfall. There's still Forge Spirits available with the Disruption. Moo didn't find the target. The Burrow Strike from Einstein into the epicenter. He has to back up. He cancelled it before he got doomed. And that is not the way to go. Resolution brings in the Deeps, actually stealing the Deeps away from the Slaughter. That Ice Epi was almost done. But Moo's timing right in the money. The SD is down. Ice coming back in for more. 3 stick charges. Not enough for that Burrow Strike just yet.
He's going to go in. Naga's not 6.
There it is. They look for a Burrow Strike up. Goes towards Wee. He gets Infernal Blade. Ice actually getting nuked. Moo let out the Hadouken from inside of his chest. Invoker will get away. Resolution Plasma Field in 3 seconds. Does he know? Does he know to go down? The Plasma Field, here she comes. Too far away. The heal is there from Innocence. We will look for the arrow as well. Blink! He's stunned, but invisible. So he will be okay. But an interesting time for DC to start that fight up before Fortune's End is available, before that saving grace is up.
Yeah, they did not have the Faceless Void available for that fight. And that Shockwave coming out from Doom really caught Wings off guard, combined with the Starstorm.
So it brings the damage in. While Shadow not really involved, still got Chronosphere up. Ice. They don't. They have that one Observer Ward, which is now down freshly inside the Radiant Jungle, which scattered out the movement of the SK. But DC's backing up a very long way.
They need to get 6 on Naga first. They're taking it up on this troll camp really quickly, and now they can deal with a Chronosphere. Even, it's pretty good to interrupt the Sinking Ultimate too.
Weeha? Not certain exactly what his plan is here. Looking towards Faith, he hits the Starfall to begin, but no follow-up with Leap Arrow. Has to be careful going against the Slaughter, having leaped down.
Looks like Dire had used Scan. I'm actually surprised they used Scan there. They have pretty good wards inside the Radiant side, and Faceless Void was already showing on the bottom lane, but perhaps looking to protect their precious Mirana while she still tries to farm up that Ags. Now that she's level 6, smoke coming out.
Here comes DC. Doom is off cooldown in 8 seconds time. Faceless Void already time walking back towards the tier 1 tower. No mistakes to be made here by Shadow.
He just has to make sure they don't like drop behind and place him as a reward. That's the easiest way to lose your T1 tower, is a smoke gank from behind.
Well, the Naga illusions can look for them. Don't need the Observer Ward when you got the illusions up. Shadow's out. Wings is heavily grouped up in the mid, both Ice as well as Innocence together.
They still need more time. Faceless Void's still really weak with just Perseverance in inventory. Invoker hasn't had enough time for his Midas to kick in, and it looks like they will just sack that tower and look.
They're looking for Invoker. Top lane, there goes your Disruption out. Catcher as well. Resolution starts up with the ultimate with Purge 2. Blink, he's just trying to kill off Suxer before he dies. The Sunstrike will be off target. And now it's DC's turn to have an easy execution. It will come as a trade-off. The tier 1 tower in middle lane taking considerable damage.
Smart movement from DC. Wings expect their whole entire team to be down there for that push.
Oh, they're coming in. TI6, he's got a haste rune. He looks to come from behind. Fire Strike into the epicenter. The Chronosphere, it cancels the epicenter. It does catch out 2 DC players, however, but TI6 now has to haste himself away. Fortune's End out from Innocence, keeping that SK alive. He'll lose his own life in order to do such a thing. The Misery's right behind him too. Burrow Strike available. No TP scroll, so he goes down the hillside. Haste is off. Arrow wrong way. You went west when the arrow went east.
And they will give up the chase. Yeah, not really coordinating too well in the Sand King. Ooh, we almost catching on Ice Ice.
I think he's still looking for another one. There's, like, as far as vision goes, he doesn't have an observer ward watching the movement. Have to be one hell of a guess from Weeha to hit it.
Faith fairly close to his Blink Dagger, but not quite yet. Still sleep down for just a second.
Yeah, that'll give time for the crush. Innocence is on his way. Hasn't actually started up the Fortune's End. He's too far away from the Mirana for that.
And always has to be wary of that Sunstrike. But now we already see the early BOTs coming out from Razor. He is the most farmed hero in the game. Dragonlance, very good at spacing herself, so you don't have to get caught in the Chronosphere by the Faceless Void, or get jumped on by the Sand King, who's still a long way away from the Blink Dagger. I like his item choice.
They all are. Iron Talon's not paying off. This is how these guys break meta. Misery will have to fight, defend underneath the tier 1 tower. With Song of the Siren up, Wings have to be a little bit more cautious too.
The laning Iron Talon?
Yeah, that's not a thing.
They expect you to go to the jungle though.
That they do. Maybe that's it. It's the next level mind game. Ice, sweet. He's getting really close to that Aghanim set, but then Wing's going to have a problem with the burst damage, which DC can provide.
At the same time, though, they'll hit their timing with maybe the first item up on Invoker and the Lincoln Sphere on the Faceless Void. Right now, they don't have to worry too much about the Roshan. No signs of a Vlad's Moo, usually the builder of it, but this game opting for the phase drums instead. He has converted his Satyr to an Alpha Wolf aura, however.
Double smokes, DC, they smoked and went through the bottom river looking down to the bottom lane where Ice is currently farming up. Where's the double smoke coming out from Wings? They're going to see Weeha actually invis thanks to the Sentry Ward. Very quick Chronosphere, the nuke, the Sunstrike. Suxa, perfect place to cancel that one off, and the Song of the Siren. They may realize that Sentry Ward was down, hence they went on him. And the Song of the Siren will allow them to back out. So no Chrono, no Song, but they keep looking for the fight. Ice, the Invoker can die in the meantime. Shadow caught out by the Purge, as well as the Mirana a little bit further up. And with the Ensnare to hold Shadow in position, he time walks away a little bit of the damage. Needs a little bit long with the Burrow Strike. Epicenter from Ice to the back lines. He may find damage. He may have enough with the help. The leap away! The Mirana, she's not out yet. The bash, it's the damage from Slider. He'll find it. Blinking over the crush. A double kill for Faith. You still have DC going in deep looking for the other kills, but Ice, the Burrow Strike up, away from Resolution's Oldie. Now the double crush. They don't want any more to do with this, Wings. That Blink Dagger won't put back on cooldown thanks to Plasterfield. They trigger the drum charge, but Wings back underneath their own tier 2 towers. Ice, what are you waiting for here? Razor's coming over. He'll hit him once. The Plasterfield will be enough to get the kill. Oh, why is he hanging around? The Burrow Strike was off cooldown as well, but he tried to save it. And Resolution gets a freebie.
Yeah, just more and more kills going the way of Razor. He is becoming incredibly difficult to deal with. All these melee heroes trying to go on him, but he just stands his ground, not really under any threat as Blink constantly gets picked off in the side lanes.
And he's going for a more of an early fighting build too. That Sun's just flying on the courier to him at the moment. So it's not an early BKB he's looking for. It looks to be an SMY to go along with that Dragonlance. Plus the maneuverability, the speed he gets from the BTs. Like, it's already moving at 442. It's only going to get faster.
Yeah, that combined with the threat of the Mirana, it's going to be very difficult to for Void to hit Chronos in these upcoming fights. And this is even before the Doom has come out onto him.
And Void's still trying to finish up. Like, he's not even thinking about a Blink Dagger at the moment. He's still trying to get that last bit of money in to finish up the Lincoln Sphere.
And I would like to see a Force Staff come out from one of Wings' heroes to deal with a static Link. They're getting a lot of damage from that.
They both need to get money. Oh, nice Sunstrike with the Cold Snap. Misery gets hit. The crush on a Weeha. Fortune then holds him in position. The attack. He leaves and disjoints. Ice held back thanks to the Purge from Zuxa, but it won't be enough to help him stay alive. Oracle purifying him with flames. And they'll take the tier 1 tower after the 2 kills.
And I like how they don't really like normally when you're in this position of sinking, it's like, okay, I need a few more minutes for my Blink Dagger guy. Just let me stack up a camp or two. But no, they go the opposite route. They go for kills. They get the tower. They almost even get the Mirana with that. And not looking to lay off on the pressure here.
You don't farm creeps, you farm heroes. That's the way Wings want to approach this. They'll give him the top lane now.
They have to be careful to not get caught out by a Moonlight Shadow over here. They don't have any sentry wards in the area, and no one's showing on the map, so they won't actually know if they Moonlight Shadow up. They're in position to do so.
And with a TP arriving from Suxa, comes in as that SD. Already Misery waiting in the trees, and that's that Moonlight Shadow you're talking about. Moo will walk forward. TI6 is the one to go on, but where is your damage output? Phase coming in. They just have to let him go down. He was so close to having his Blink Dagger, but is stripped away by DC with a kill.
Yeah, 2189, and that's what you get. You don't pay for sentries thinking that you can get away with it, but they were missing off the map for a very, very long time. That should always be a warning sign that Moonlight's about to come out.
Surprised he was still then underneath the tower so far. With the Observer Ward up from Wings, they do have good vision. They realize both Suxa as well as Misery are on the back line. Space looking for the perfect blink. Chronosphere, it hits on the SD. The Crush, no song of the Siren out. They already get the kill on the SD. Misery holding that ultimate while Resolution steals the damage. Faith away with a fortune then. Resolution wants to keep fighting here. The Slider, there is a time lock. Song of the Siren, hold the fun, but wait for it. It will be released as the arrow flies in. Who's the connect on the Slider down instantly? Burrow strike up into the epicenter. DC, the damage. They may have to bail out this moment. TI6, no Resolution. Kiting with the plasma field. Blink will finally arrive. With the Deafening Blast pushing DC back. Cold Snap moving a little bit too deep. Time Lock as well. They bring down Moo. As he is forced back almost up to the Tier 1 towers. A Sunstrike looking for a target. A little too early, however. Misery and Weeha were still trying to run away from the lane.
That was almost an excellent chrono, but at least he caught the higher priority target. The Shadow Demon Sucks has been on point with
nice
Shadow.
Arrow, Weeha. You still have Blink here to deal with. The Force Spirits are up, but Shadow time walks off the damage, just barely.
Oof. That HP from the Lincolns coming to help him out right there.
It's funny they didn't even trigger the Lincolns for him.
Still, the Razors are such a huge problem. Sinking almost has his Blink Dagger, still 400 gold away as he perishes another time.
I'll let the guy have the mid lane, then he can catch up.
Yep.
Mid lane as well as the mid camps.
But they have Lads now on Doom, so now they can look towards Roshan Pit maybe as the next Song of the Siren cools down. But he's only level 8 on the Naga Siren. They have to wait a whole 3 minutes in between songs.
Is this going to be like game number 1-2, where they play around Song, play around Faceless Void Chrono? Obviously, that cooldown, as you said, like there's a big, big difference between the two.
There's more teamfight ultimates this game, so they don't have to rely on just one big one for either team. The Moonlight Shadow can be used to initiate a fight like we saw on top. The Doom can go for solo picks with his very long cooldown ultimate. And on the other side, we have Wings with the Epicenter, which they can easily combo with Slardar to get some easy kills.
Wing's going to finally make use of this timing with the Blink Dagger on TI6. They smoke up. They are headed towards the pit. The question is, they go? Nope, they arc up a little bit further north.
They were hoping that DC would take it without Song, because then that's perfect opportunity for jump them and get a really good lead on this game. But DC are not that careless. Rating has used scan. They expect the smoke. Not in the right direction, but they still kind of know what's up.
Well, they want to go in. Yep, they're going to slip inside the pit, but the TPs, they're arriving. DC. The scan was on bottom lane looking for the Naga Siren. Look how close they are. The plasma field from Resolution hits on Innocence, actually dropping him by half of his life. So they already start the heal and they get out of Roshan.
And with the Naga Siren illusions going to the pit and the Song coming out cooldown soon, there's no way that they can do this Roche. I don't even think if they like headed straight there and didn't go to the Ancients, I still don't think it would have been enough time. Not enough physical damage yet. Faces Void with a defensive build and Invoker with just not many items at this point.
And this game is still so close throughout this entire, like we've gone through 23.5 minutes at the moment, and no one's held advantage over 1,000 really in this entire game, both gold and net worth, just showing you how close these teams are.
It's all about the team fight. Can they combo Song with a static link before into like an arrow into a Doom, or is Wings going to get the jump on them with a finally blink on the Sand King into an Epicenter?
Yeah, that Epicenter always seems to come in just a little bit too late. You'd think it's going to have a big burst, but it doesn't. It is a level 2 Epi. So this is a difference which will be there for the Wings team fight.
It depends on how they start off the fight. Like he can he has a couple of ways of doing it. One combo with the Chrono, but you expect the Naga Siren ult to come out if you don't get the Naga Siren. If the Naga Siren's in there, then yeah, you channel the Epi. But if it doesn't come out, maybe you wait until after the Chronosphere, wait until they're about to jump after the song, and then go in. So I don't know how TI6 is going to play. He's been in the fight a lot early, but that's because he doesn't have his Blink Dagger.
Well, with it now, he does blink straight over the top of the Dire Observer Ward, so DC realized that Wings are doing an incursion towards the top lane.
Oh, there's the Ags on Invoker. I saw his item just a few minutes ago. It's like, he's on top of net worth, but he didn't look like he had that many items. But yeah, with a completed Ags, they have the damage.
He only bought it a minute ago, so...
Well,
bottom lane,
DC coming with the smoke on top.
Can they find their target? Wings are already bailing out. They bring both Innocence and Faith Beyond down the bottom lane, looking for resolution. The Observer Ward is giving them the information they want. As Digital Chaos, they see TI6 into their own Ops Ward. That's a long way to go. They don't have that easy jump in like you get from an SK. The SD and Naga have to close the distance the old-fashioned way.
Wonder what they're going to get on the Doombringer, because they ideally want him to initiate the fight. Like, starting with a song is very risky, because then you leave yourself exposed to the Chronosphere. And Razor, like, he's strong, but once he gets BKB, maybe he can run in. So Razor and or Doom's going to be your main initiators, unless you get a straight arrow. So a lot of different ways, but maybe going something on the Doom, like Blink or Shadowblade, can open up a lot more options for Wings. Maybe not able to gank the Faces Void, but everyone else can be an option. You want to be able to deal with the Invoker as he's split pushing.
There's the 4-star you're asking for. It's over on the Slaughter. So he's got both Blink and 4-star, a highly maneuverable team from Wings, while the Blink deck, I guess, is completed on Weeha. So that Blink into double Starfall and then leap away to safety will be problematic for Wings if they get hit by that before the fight begins. And Wings actually buying up a new item of their own. They instantly TP'd the mid lane. So once again, after the fresh Blink Dagger on Wings, this time it's on Shadow, they smoke up and they look for an opening on DC. The Observer Ward tells them everything they need to know. Burrow strike down. Zuxa gets popped by the Invoker Sunstrike, and then the Blink double cross. The Chrono, they'll catch out to Misery. The song comes out. The beautiful tones. At least beautiful for DC. The arrow will hit perfectly on Shadow, but TI6, they're trying to keep up. Where's that 4-star forward? They don't have it. They look down into the tree line. They find Misery. Can't get out.
What a perfect time for a smoke, and I think if you trade Song for Chrono, it's actually pretty good for Wings, because now they can do Roche without fear of reprisal from the DC side. You can't really go in there with Razor and a Doom. Maybe if Mirana hits an arrow, but that's a big maybe, and Roshan is dropping fast.
They let it go. Moonstade's up on top lane, farming up. We will push out the mid, so at least Wings, they can't just rotate down the bottom lane and take out the tier 2 tower. They must come back and defend their top and mid lane.
Oh god, look at Blink's items now. He is so farmed.
It was the Shadowblade pickup from Rue. That was his item of choice.
Yeah, this is the best way to deal with Invoker. But now that he has an Aegis, it's like, you might have a lot of wasted time with your Shadowblade. You can't gank the Faceless Void with that.
Just kite him out, like let the Invoker sit in the back lines while you kill off everybody else, if that's possible.
Yeah, I think that's how it's going to go. Ideally, you maybe even kill the Slaughter at the start, but then again, you have the Oracle, able to just save anyone who gets doomed. It's difficult for them. I think Mirana has to be in there to do a lot of damage and pressure the Oracle to use his cooldowns very early on into the fight. A lot of this rests on Wii.
Well, this man is used to pressure. He's had a terrific tournament so far.
They need more tomes on the Naga Siren too. Like, she is really far behind in level. She's doing well on items, but you really need level 2 Song. Like, they're forced to play so defensively because of this, and the windows for Wings to engage is just really huge. Now, Naga Siren Ultimate is like way longer cooldown for Faceless Void. Faceless Void can find a fight perhaps in the next minute where DC can't respond.
Say hello to a fresh BKB over on Resolution. Avoid the Chrono, or maybe he can be a big influence in the fights.
He still has to be a little bit careful. Amplify damage with 4 spears beating on him and Sunstrike all can take him down during BKB.
I don't think careful is really in his vocabulary. He's running straight down into the lane. He'll actually Plaza Field, revealing the Slaughter. They're TPing out. The crush will happen. Slaughter has a TP scroll of his own. They have no stun on Resolution, but that was one man. DC were a mile behind him.
That's also a BKB reveal, however. Normally you want to bait it out. It's like, okay, Sand King's going to go in with a Burrow Epicenter, and then you turn around with the BKB. That's the ideal fight for them. But now that it's
Wings Face coming up. They don't realize that Shadow Blade's on the Doom, but now, okay, yeah, they do. They caught a glimpse of him as he backed up. Wings also scanned a little bit further up. They're trying to see if DC was going to move through the river entrance. But
They already have a gem on Slardar. Yeah, I mean, they're not worried.
Shadows take us.
At Innocence cost, Moonlight Shadow forward. As he said, though, with that gem, this may be a big trap. In the tree lines, Ice is close. Do they get a glimpse? The Slardar's not far enough forward. Now they see Resolution. He reveals the fact that Moonlight Shadow was used.
The mid lane just makes this too obvious. Look at mid lane, look at top lane. Creeps are just beating on the tower. This is just a clear sign that DC are away and up to something funky.
So Wings, they remain patient. They don't find any pickoffs as DC bailed out, but DC were also very, very, very deep as far as Wings look into their jungle.
And Mirana's falling pretty far behind in net worth, at least relative to the Invoker. The Midas, the Aegis, all these have added up to him being a huge leader in terms of net worth. I'd be much more scared of a farmed Invoker than a farmed Razor, because Razor can only do so much. He also had to commit to a BKB, which isn't that much damage.
Yeah, how does Resolution, in fact, build from here? Do you try and go for this? Like, do you continue for a very heavy mid-game build?
I like the Shiva's build. Gives you a lot of armor versus Amplify, and you need that AoE presence in a team fight, so you can run in there. Your biggest fear as like a BKB hero is running there, and your whole team dies around you because you can't pressure them enough, you can't do enough damage, you can't soak up enough spells, and I think the Shiva's is kind of the perfect medium for that. You're also self-sufficient with a static link. You can link heroes without relying on a disruption or a demonic purge or an ensnare. And also just limits a lot of damage output, especially from summons like Invoker. Faces Void, who doesn't have that much attack speed, although as I say that, he has a Hyperstone.
Well, you have the plate mail up, so it's fine. Where do they go? Down the bottom lane? Everyone's grouping up again, but in the trees, Ice stays there with an Observe Ward in the lane. He can make really good decisions.
Yeah, he can.
As far as not dying.
They can set up for an Epi Blink into Sunstrike, but it has to be on a weaker hero. Nagazarn actually has a gem. They will scout it out. They might kill him right now.
Oh, well, there goes your obs.
I thought he was going to go on him right there. That would have been the perfect kill for them.
I don't see him in the trees.
Yeah, Ice no longer has any vision. He has to get out of there.
Blink's almost finished up his Lincoln Sphere. He's actually got almost all of it sitting inside of his stash. Actually, no, he's finished it. It's sitting on the courier.
It's the best build to deal with the Doombringer. And Doombringer, you'll usually see them go for the Sage creep, or sorry, the Purge creep to deal with the Lincoln Sphere, but at the same time, you really want to
be really careful. That gem is there from Faith. They understand the Doombringer's in the neighborhood. As the Observe Ward on the hillside gave Wings the good vision.
They're split pushing the sides, though, and Aegis will expire. DC have to be happy about that one. But they're still looking to pressure this side of the map. Will they be able to take down their Observer Ward before they have to defend the lanes? I don't know. This Observer Ward still sees them.
Yep, and here they come. Blink up, Slardar, double crush. Amplify up with a double burst right from Eyesight. The Song of the Siren. It cancels the epicenter. Move, Misery, It is bail, bail, bail. The TP away to safety.
What a save coming out from them. Sinking. Yeah, the epicenter. He has to initiate. That's the problem right now. The Slardar has to. He went in first, and they weren't really well coordinating that. They wanted to coordinate their stuns, but I have to applaud Misery with his positioning too. As a Naga Siren, especially a support one, you never want to get caught out. And with all these blink initiations, and the force stabs, and all these Yules and whatnot, it's extremely difficult to keep a low death count. This game he's already had 4, but not too troublesome. But now they have Chronosphere. They want to take a fight with Chronosphere. There is no Song of the Siren. Shadow Demon now has to be the one to stay outside of the fight. Arrow almost connected Shadow.
Oh, that Burrow Strike forward, Ice Weeha actually committing the double Starfall to try and hit the SK. Not possible, and Wings just make the right decision. They're going for all the remaining outer towers. They take the mid, now they rotate top. They still have the advantage for another 115 seconds. That's until Song is back off cooldown.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
DC, they're trying not to get out-farmed at this point, especially with the Invoker getting out of control. But Wings are only 2,000 gold ahead, although that will spike up after these towers. And with the next Roshan, have to be very troublesome. Naga's still not 11.
Ice cops a 5-second arrow, but he's got almost every member of Wings around him. So there is no follow-up to this.
And as of right now, there's only one Observer Ward left on the map with the Battle of the Gems. DC only have eyes in the Radiant jungle. as both teams circle around Roche.
Invisibility.
Wings are starting to stretch ahead. As far as the Golden Experience goes, we're either over or at 4,000 in both the Golden Experience. So Wings slowly, bit by bit, they're getting a small advantage in this game. Even if their team fight and the way the heroes been moving, it kind of feel like they got a huge advantage.
They have better split push threat. Despite the Razor having the early BOTs, the Invoker is just much better at pushing out the lanes because he can solo kill anyone who's out alone. Whereas the Razor, you can force them to run away, but you can't actually kill them. So DC are having their lanes shoved in at the moment. Not what you want as you eye the Roshan.
So does Wings keep farming up until they're at like an immortal position against DC? Or do they need to focus on finding kills outside the base? Because I'm thinking like, how does Wings take the first lane of ranks? How do they work towards this objective?
It's a long process. Firstly, they have to push out the lane so that DC split up. Ideally, you want to get the gem first. Once you limit the gem, then you can get Observer Rewards, and then you can take Chronospheres when the Naga Siren's not there. You can get Epi Blinks when the Naga isn't there. You can get Slaughterer to crush them with a Sunstrike when the Naga's not there. But it all depends on them having vision of DC, and DC, they do not want to split up as 5 and give Wings that opportunity. Once you do those, you can take down Roche and slowly make the siege. But you know, Dota's not a book. Dota's not a script. You can't just follow things like that. And you got to keep the Observer Wards up. So we see one Observer Ward up placed really deep.
It's such a smart ward too.
I barely see that.
It's in the trees at the very eastern part of the Dire jungle. And because Misery is sending illusions everywhere, because he got the gem on him, so they get True Sight out from all the illusions, they've never found this Observer Ward. So Wings, they can see where DC are moving.
Yeah, those are the wards that win you games. Especially in the gem on gem war, it's extremely difficult to keep them up. And I think that's the one that's going to stay up for a very long time. Roshan looks like it's going to be a 2.5 minute respawn.
Well, the AC is done in time for it.
Regeneration.
So not too far up before DC can move down. So they have some nice auras to work with here, DC. At the same time, Ice is trying to finish up his Aghanim Scepter. He's rapidly approaching it. This is his primary choice of item after getting the Blink and the Yule Scepter.
Fire, as you scan, Ice looks like he may run into it. No!
Oh, he TPs. He's going top lane. He wants the money, remember? Like, if he's going to reach this Aghanim Scepter, he needs to get this top lane farm. It's 100 gold away now.
The TP out super risky there. What if Roche were up or right after that Sunstrike? Then they could easily take it. If Wings try and go in there, then Naga Siren sleeps. I don't know if they know that Ice TP'd up there, but it's very likely considering he doesn't have a TP in his inventory. Well, with this smoke up, it's going to expire. Maybe Wings can scout out with the ooh. Well, they don't need Force Spears when you have a scan. It will land red.
Perfectly done.
Think they're in vision.
Well, that's the beauty of having the Observe Ward over on the edge of the Dire jungle. They understand that DC are not in their jungle at the moment. And this allows Wings to use Shadow as bait. Ice with a fresh axe, hoping to put it to use.
And a fresh Octarine on the Invoker. But that means very few buybacks on the side of Wings. They're throwing all their net worth on this impending Roche fight.
And DC are just hoping for an opening. But while this goes on and while they group up, they didn't achieve anything. Wings was getting the farm they wanted.
Oh, Wings going to show in mid. He could get jumped out right here if they're not careful.
Well, they're headed down for Roshan instead. The Naga illusions are on their way. It's smoke-covered Wings moving up to the Ancients. Weeha comes in the middle of a burrow strike up. They find Resolution Crush as well. Can they kill off Weeha? No, the leap out. He'll get the star for Oracle. Purifies him with the flames once again. And it's Resolution bashed up. The fight was in the two different parts. Ice will down the back lines with the Chronosphere. Sunstrike's coming in. The damage isn't enough. Disruption. Suxia tries to keep his core alive as Resolution runs away, but now with the time dilation, Tornado, it caught him! Thanks to the crush from Faith Beyond, Resolution won't die, the fall is back from the bash from Shadow, who finds the secondary one into Naga. Suxa, he needs to get out, the damage is not enough! Sunstrike, no! Oh! He was drawn to the line, but you do not walk towards the line!
Oh, man. The crowd goes wild as Wings take down 4. That was, man, I really like their positioning. They didn't go for the Mirana in mid because that was the only hero showing you. Expect them to go up there, but they go in, they find the back line, and the Sleek comes out, but Razor and the rest of his brethren fall Mood, the sole survivor, as Wings close in on this T3.
And I can't wait for Weatherman Person to tear that one apart. You thought DC had the high ground, but unlike Episode 3, it is Wings who take the advantage, and they will take the melee racks away from DC. Invoker, no disable, he'll get out safely.
the Slardar has been playing really well. Like this entire game, he's just been finding these multiple men crushes. That was despite like a really terrible laning phase by them.
Well, Sunstrike, it's all about Wings getting the damage, and before DC can respond, they don't have Song of the Siren. Misery's moving over. That's on cooldown for another half a minute. And they actually find Moo into the epicenter. He'll die in the bottom lane. The mech is not enough. The arrow will connect on Shadow. Weeha, he jumps in. He needs double damage right now, but it's not there. Shadow Time walks all off, and he's actually in the perfect position with the burrow strike from my side. They catch out Weeha. Sentry is dying underneath the tower, so they can't keep the vision up. Moonlight Shadow helping him to escape, but Saksa will not be so lucky. The arrow will connect again. The DC, they lose 3 heroes trying to contest Wings on Roshan.
DC are imploding at this point, and Wings just played so carefully around that Roshan respawn. The way that the timing of their smoke, the items coming out at the perfect time in DC, they were just not prepared. They needed to be grouped up as 5 behind their cores, but they were just far too spread out, unexpecting Wings to come around from behind.
Oh, the Blade Chrono resolution caught, amplifying to Sunstrike. They need more damage. The Burrow Strike's gonna do it, combining it with a cross. There's no resolution. Moo will go down too. This will be it for DC. They've lost so much. They want to keep fighting. Misery, he'll go down as well. GG. Team Wings will do it.
They thought they had the Faceless Void counter with the first big Naga Siren, but this insane amount of stuns from coming out from Wings, their excellent team play, the farm on, Blink, oh my god, did it come together at the perfect moment.
Welcome back upstairs. We're here at the drafting station getting ready for Game 3 of Digital Chaos versus Wings. We're here to talk drafts, not dabs. That right, Winner?
Yes, Dakota.
Let's do it then. Wings Gaming, they open up with an Oracle. Digital Chaos, they got the Mirana once more, gentlemen. And we await Wings Gaming next pick. So far, things seem stagnant.
Yeah, I just want to mention really quickly that I wasn't actually sold that Wings actually beat the counter to the Void in the last game. I feel it was more just like the Doom not quite piecing it together with the rest of the lineup more than anything else.
What I'm really surprised of, like, nobody's banned the Void. Like, both teams tried to counter the Void, but both teams lost against the Void. Like, why would you not prioritize banning it?
Speak of the Faceless.
I mean, if you're Digital Chaos right now, you have to believe in the counter pick, right?
Yeah, you need to pick Naga again. You need to force it down the
throat. What do you think, Winter?
Do they believe?
I mean, in my opinion, something like Tide is easier to deal with. Like Void, I mean, I'm okay with the Naga, like the way they ran it. You use the song to counter the Chronosphere, but they need something else much more solid to counter initiate. You can't just be defensive all the time. We saw in the first game, Wings, they picked the Pudge. Oh yeah, you save your teammate, but you're not killing up the enemy team.
So they don't go with the counter, they go with the comfort zone pick instead.
But I think this is good because, you know, it's a move comfort zone pick. And I think in the last game, you know, obviously not much Doom has been played. So giving him a hero that he's going to be able to perform on, especially in the high.
But isn't that one of the heroes that he played a lot in the past?
I mean, it was like what he became known for, but at the same time, he hasn't played it in a while. And I also feel like it's a very different change of pace compared to what he's used to playing.
But it's also a bit difficult for Timber to play against the Void in general. Like, the time dilation really makes the life hard for you. Like, you need Bloodstone, and then you need Lotus Orb, and as offlaner, it's really hard to farm.
But if you get a good lane, then it's easy.
Yeah, of course, if you get a good lane. I just literally think one of the teams should, like, just ban on Void. Like, both teams always try to counter it, and they just can't.
Well, I don't really think it's that difficult to deal with Void, though, honestly.
No, I don't think so either, but, you know, we'll see what they have in store for us, I guess. We saw the Shadow Demon ban.
Yeah, so we don't have to see Purge talk about it anymore, so that's nice.
Yeah, Game 4. He will talk about it in Game 4.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
What's wrong with you, Dakota?
What?
Hate her.
I love Shadow Demon.
Hate her.
We won't get to see him in
You
this
love
game,
Koto.
Yeah, he's just mad because it's not Keeper.
Yeah.
No, neither team probably.
You will never see Keeper anymore in this series because every game is going to be banned, Dakota. No more. Sorry.
Bold call coming out from Winner here.
But what do we notice? For the first time in a long time, the first 2 picks are the same for Wings. What happened there?
Great
Maybe they started
observation.
taking it seriously.
Great observation, Scotty.
Taking it seriously?
Yeah, I mean maybe more so than obviously they like throwing curveballs, but at the same time, I think they want to do that in a position where they're a game up. They don't want to do it in a position where they're tied.
I think it's a reaction to the Mirana. I noticed that they picked Oracle specifically against Mirana.
Of course, like it's hard counter. We spoke about it before. Yeah. And Void is just like their
A
comfort
good hero,
zone.
like a good hero for them.
Yeah.
They could run him off lane, they could run him safe lane. Like we spoke of this time and time again. You want to have an opening where you can change your lanes if you feel you have to. Like you don't want to go into the draft like, okay, this hero, we pick a hero that can only go to one position. Then it will be difficult to out-draft you and outmaneuver your opponents.
Yeah, I really like the Invoker ban from DC here. Obviously, they would have picked it up again if they could, and they have the pick after the ban, so really solid ban there. Banning out the Morphling after that. I guess Void and Oracle, they do have a lot of problems with Morphling.
In general, it's like you can never really focus the hero, and it's really a nuisance later on, especially when you get like E-Blade and stuff. Like, yeah, the Oracle kind of counters it with Fate's Edict, but it's more like you get bursted down too quick to be able to save somebody.
And it actually counters Void pretty hard too, because like, Morph is pretty much the only hero that can, like, obviously because of Morph, he can just like survive the Chrono.
Ice Blast.
Yeah, I mean, of course, if you couple it up with Ice Blast, but you know what I mean, right? Like, your Chrono, you usually just die, but Morphling can morph up, and he's like the only hero who can really do that.
How do we feel about maybe Wings Gaming going for Skywrath Mage or something here? Good against the Timber, good with Faceless Void, and it's good for their name.
It's super good.
I would like it. Together with Oracle as well, your Ancient Seal, your nuke deals like 400 damage.
Just perfect, it's their mascot. But no, they say,
Sorry,
screw
dude.
that, we're going to get a Kunkka.
I mean, Kunkka's also good for like catching these two heroes. Like DC's opening is very mobile, like Temper Chain and Leap Away. You want something that's going to be able to start a fight outside of just Chrono. You don't want to play on such a long cooldown, I think, if you're Wings during the
Come on, let's be real. Kunkka is just a great hero now.
I mean, yeah, he's just overall really good.
I mean, he is, and they have two setups for him too, like the Fortune's End. Can like disable someone or like freeze someone for 2 seconds, and then you have like the Chronosphere, where it's like really easy to get a boat and a torrent in. On top of the like mobility restrictions.
Yeah, they have two really good saves now for the cause. Like both the supports can keep their cause alive in team fights very well. So for DC, do they go for more bursts or do they go for like, I guess you might want to consider going for heroes that can kill the supports behind, like run past the front lines, go behind, kill the Oracle first.
I mean, Potom and Timbersaw should be able to do that usually. It's just gonna be like really hard regardless to get there. They have X-Mark, they have time
You need
dilation.
stuns, right?
Yeah.
Right now, these two heroes are, I mean, Arrow is not so reliable. So you need someone else to initiate for you so you can go in and kill them.
And you don't want to jump in the back at the bottom because, okay, you kill one support, but then you're dead after.
That's a really interesting choice.
That was great.
That was a fast DP pick.
It was a really fast DP pick. But DP Void, one of the most old school combos, as well as DP Oracle, super good, strong
so
together.
good because of that ult and the soul.
How are they
suck.
actually going to kill the DP with their heroes? Their last two picks have to have
No,
like...
their picks are not meant to kill the DP. Because as soon as they saw the Kunkka, they had Void, Kunkka, and Oracle. If maybe DC feels like we're not going to take team fights. Right now we have Mirana with like going for the Axe, so you have a lot of deep push. Then we have Timber.
Just
wave
split
clear.
push, you mean?
Yeah, then you pick the Wyvern where you have also split push. So you're never going to be able to take a team fight in the early game.
They just have to make sure then.
dangerous though, right? Like if you can't take a team fight against Wings, you're just going to take your towers.
Yeah, like DP is just going to high ground you if you don't want to fight against them.
Depends how you play around it though, because they are cooldown based. You can always cut the creep wave if you're allowed to, like the AM game where Fear, like he bought his team so much time by cutting the wave. Like something like that would be useful against a 5-man lineup.
I would really like
Wings
to
dealt with that super well. Sorry, go ahead.
No, like I would really like to see like a split push style too, but they need to pick a hero that can actually kill objectives too, because right now they don't have any. Timbersaw, Potom, Sand King, they're all really good at clearing waves, but they can't actually hit buildings.
Yeah.
Wait, is this a support Sanking?
DC showing that they have flexibility now.
Yeah, Weeha doesn't want to play it for sure, like the Timber, I mean.
Do we see Moo play Sand King very often? Not
Not really.
right?
I think it's a Misery Sand King.
Yep.
Yeah, that would make a lot more sense.
Saxa, Wyvern, Misery,
Yeah.
Sanking, and Moo on the Timber. So that sounds more likely for DC.
Saxa's Wyvern is out of control good. So.
Is AM too greedy for DC?
AM would be pretty greedy, but they need something like it. They need some split pusher that can also burst like heroes down later on.
No, but if you think about grid, since they're never going to be able to fight anyway, so you just pick a hero that's going to allow you to siege later. I mean, it's greedy in a way, but that's your game plan. Like, you're not going to be able to fight early.
But with that being said, like, Kunkka is a pretty hard counter to like heroes like AM.
The setup, yeah.
Yeah, like you X-mark him, and you're pretty much dead. Until you have like Manta Style or BKB.
Does Slark fit that similar profile?
Slark would definitely fit their
Yeah, but
heroes a lot more.
it's the same thing. Like
Yeah,
X-Mark.
that's what I was saying. Same as AM, like he falls in that same problem.
Yeah, pretty much like. Just in general, Kunkka is like always a mobile hero counter. He has always been. Like even more now with the like 8-second X mark.
Yeah, but you're a carry player. Look at their heroes. Like they have Chronosphere, they have X mark. It's very difficult to play a carry around.
Yeah,
them.
it's really difficult. And what you need to do is, you need to get a hero out there. Probably, if you really want to split push, you can pick an AM because he can get out of control really easily if they're focused like on pushing all the time.
But they have a lot of team fight now, though, don't you? Is it possible that they pick a team fight called Just Fight?
I mean, it's definitely possible. It's just like, how do they kill the DP on top of the Kunkka boat and the Oracle ult? It's like really hard to kill her.
You Barrow Strike epicenter her and
You could go-
curse the heroes behind.
You could just go full spread damage and just pick Gyro, right?
But Gyro would be beast too. And they ran it before too.
I've seen people go Sven against DP for the burst.
Yeah,
and
the
armor,
armor.
and the armor helps a lot too.
And those are pretty good options.
Yeah, if you want to really team fight them.
You're a lot of melee cores then, I guess. But oh no, sorry, Moran is there fine. We'll have to see though.
I just always feel like Sven against Void is kind of iffy to play. Because you get chronoed and suddenly you're
Yeah, but
all the armor's gone.
all the carries are, you know, pretty difficult to handle.
Yeah, of course, but like when you're more likely to get chronoed than like
Yeah.
let's say Slark or AM.
That's why you got that Wyvern and that SK behind you though, just in case.
Yeah, you need a tank. You basically just need a tank for those two heroes to do their job.
There you do. I mean, Timbersaw could kind of like fill in that role, I guess. It's like a difficult choice for DC. Whether they go in like team fight direction or split push direction.
Or somewhere totally different. We have not seen this little guy on the main stage, that's for sure. The Bone Fletcher comes out.
But that's kind of what Winder and I spoke about before. It's like they want to have the split push hero that can also kill objectives really fast, and Klings definitely fits the category.
The other thing too is Oracle is not particularly good against that kind of hard carry.
Yep,
He
Ghost
deals
Scepter.
insane damage.
You need Ghost Scepter as the Oracle, so you don't have to use your ultimate to save yourself, and you're able to survive against the Klings.
He pretty much solves all their problems. Like
Yep.
he can get to the back line as well.
Yeah,
Reserve
it's like a
task.
super good pick. Like how would the Wings respond now? They need another core mid that is good against bottom. And the like lineup as a whole. Oh no, that has DP. What am I talking about?
Yeah,
They need an offlane or carry.
Probably
Yeah.
offlane. Yeah, probably offlane. Probably.
Yeah, they usually run carry Void on Shadow.
5 seconds remaining.
Nyx
Assassin
Assassin.
offlane, it's good.
Good against Timber, obviously.
Good against Wyvern too.
I feel like that lane's incredibly hard for him though.
Oh yeah, the Klings against any offlaner is like terrible.
All right. Final thoughts on the draft?
My heart is with Wings.
Their heart is with Wings.
My heart is with Wings.
I'm gonna go against. I'm gonna say DC.
And Draskell has no heart. So let's go ahead and throw it down to the casters right now. We got Toby Wan and Merlini.
Thanks. We got a lot of heart down here. It's a heart that loves Dota 2 and has drawn up series 1-1 apiece, Merlini.
Who's your heart rooting for?
My heart roots for great Dota 2. It always
That's a
has.
cop-out.
It always
Get out
will.
here, Toby.
I don't care about a cop-out as long as I have terrific Dota. I don't care. And an Enigma.
Maybe one of these games, Toby.
One of them. Just one. Just like one. That'll be fine. All right, let's get into it, man. DC, they're bringing in the Clinks. He's a man, the draft panel where they were asking for someone that's able to fight, but someone also that can push towers down. Clinks, he sort of ticks those boxes.
Yeah, and he's much more resilient than the mobile carries like the AM, those split pushers that you think of that Kunkka's really good against. I really like the draft.
How long do you keep resolution farming on the Clinks? Do you want him to early rotate? Do we look for the early Orchid build into like hero kill rotations?
It all depends on how much they can keep the Nyx Assassin down. Nyx Assassin, they did not go the Iron Talon laning strat this game on Wings.
Yay! They still won with it.
Just the mind game.
I'm just going to throw that one out there, that even though we're sitting there going, we don't understand why this isn't working. Actually, no, we understand why it isn't working, but they still take the game. Yeah, I'm interested to see the timing of resolution.
I also like the Clinks a lot because it gives them Roshan potential. I think they had a lot of issues with that in the prior game.
Are you still concerned about what the Oracle can bring? We've seen Oracle working beautifully with Death Prophet in the past. Now you've also got potential saving from Kunkka, from Void Chronos. That's an interesting timing for a smoke too.
It's just really great versus the Mirana because it's really difficult to stop her Ag's timing, and this way you don't really have to worry about it so much. A double Starstorm, if you get the Fate's Edict out on time, it's not going to do any damage.
This movement from Wings, they smoked up underneath the tower as the Foghorn was going. They're going to make a break for the side shot. Now, a lot of the time, actually, Misery, he's walking over towards this. He's going to reveal the smoke. So they start with the Fortune's End. Eyesight is there. He's waiting for the Fortune's End to connect. Now they go into the torrent. Misery up into the air. Burrow strikes available. Goes up into the tree line. There's a small path to get out, and Fade's trying to block it. He's actually got himself a stun available. Resolution turns on the damage. Misery will escape. Saskar does actually have his defensive Cold Embrace. Another torrent will fly in. Resolution. Fortune's End will connect. Misery lining up for another Burrow strike. Double stun on that one. Fade dropping down very, very low. Misery Misery doesn't have the damage, and he also doesn't have the life to stay on the front lines. They look for another torrent. Nope, Ice just started the animation that he didn't follow through. So Wings trying to get aggressive and contest this safe lane until they TP their support quickly down to bottom lane.
This is something that we see out of the teams a lot. Just don't give them an easy lane up top, and Soxa and Resolution are having a very difficult time dealing with
Oh, that helps.
double melee.
Moo just got time locked on the bottom lane. Combine that with the Fortune's End. Moo's going to go down. First blood, it goes to Wings.
And on the top lane,
Yeah, Misery's rotating around. Faith so low. Resolution lower. Cold Embrace is still available. Now Misery will arrive. Ice. Biostrike is just going for the last swing, trying to find Resolution, but these searing arrows doing the early damage the DC required. That arrow fly down. There she is. Resolution will find himself a kill.
and all three of these heroes are very, very low. They're going to have to come in a lot of resources unless they want a suicide. Misery will spill blood to the Centaur.
That he will, and he looks for movement speed. Windlace and TP scroll. He'll come straight back out to the lane. Look for another rotation to fight.
Wings like doing this. They like it looks bad because they both die, but they have to expend so many resources, so much HP.
Moo's going to be careful. They're going to go again on him. He walks over. Such a simple combo. Fortune's End into Torrent. We saw it on the top lane. Now bottom lane, he has reactive armor this time around, but still no Timber Chain available. So Moo, poor man's shield will not save you from that.
He thought he was in a one-on-one situation, and then he skilled up for this one-on-one build with the level 1 Whirling Death, the Whirling level 1 Reactive Armor. In a very defensive situation, you want to max your Timber Chain, but with that, might be time to think about that Iron Talon.
Now this has been a heavy rotation early game, only 2 minutes into it. We've seen multiple lane switches. The one lane which hasn't really had anything happen in it is that mid lane. It's the Weehaw versus Blink lane. The Mirana on Death Prophet.
Misery smoked up behind, looking for a stun into an arrow. It's only a level 1 stun though, but Blink's so far out with no Spirit Siphon.
And you still got the Starfall available too. So Weehaw connects on this. Now into that Starfall. The Torrent! The secondary star! It connected on Blink. So he does fall down.
And he does have his bottle, but he needs someone to pull him a TP scroll if he wants to get back to the mid lane. He also had to waste a Fairy Fire for that.
And Misery is not giving up on this mid. It's a little bit different though when he runs an Ogre. Ogre is a lot tankier than the SK, so I'll give some extra respect as Ice comes into mid. Nice Torrent, Weehaw. He's got Leap available, pounces himself away. Will bottle and salve up quickly as Misery's rotated to the top looking for Faith Beyond.
And in the meanwhile, Timbersaw finally gets the space in the bottom lane, going for 2 reactives. Screw the Timber Chain, he says. I can just tank up.
I'm wondering if this is one of the other reasons why you're seeing rotations heavily into mid. They're trying to pull the attention of Wings off that bottom lane to give Moo the space he needs.
And Moose still has a lot of reach, and I don't know if they're going to be able to harass him down. No clarities on the Oracle, and he's only level 2.
They got to help though. Ice looks to come in from the rear.
I still don't think they have enough damage.
Do you like this build coming out from the Conquer, going the early point up in Tidebringer as opposed to X marks the spot?
We see this a fair amount when the Kunkos want to go armlet first and farm up. It's just a good way to keep up your farm so that you're not heavily reliant on the X-Torn combo to get kills and accelerate your farm. But I think they have enough setup. I really dislike it if you don't have any setup, but with Nick Stun, Chronosphere, Oracle, Fortune's End, should be pretty easy for him to land with the Torrent.
Misery's coming back down to the mid. There's still no Observer Wars this season, but Ice sitting on the high ground. He'll definitely see Misery. Now he puts down his own ops. It's not something he needs to see Misery anymore. He'll hit him with a Torrent. Over they come. Spirit Siphon, Burrow Strike available. He'll actually get a double stun thanks to the arrow also connecting on Blink. And the combined up Starfall, Misery will back out, trigger his salve. So just a trade-off of damage, no kills coming from that.
You have to be careful.
Well,
he still has the Arcane Rune on him. Getting a lot of value out of that.
I didn't realize he already had the arrow leap and everything else back up, not to mention the low cost.
Moo's been stacking at this large camp. Shadow's going to pull it, but we could see a small contest for it in the bottom lane. It's a 3-stack now.
Well, it will be easy for Moo to deal with that if he was level 6, but doesn't have the Chakram available yet. Another heavy rotation to top 3 from either side. They stun on Resolution. Torrent as well. Saxa, he needs to get that Cold Embrace off, but Oracle has more than enough magical damage. Misery with the Burrow Strike forward. Wants the next Assassin. Doesn't have the damage output, but maybe with the help of the Wyvern, he will have it. Misery to the tree line. The salve is actually going to get cancelled off. It was the Caustic Finale that did it. And now Faith, 28 life. Will it be enough? Is he going to pop? Faith barely survives, dropping down to 8 at one point. And Wings, the rotation works from them.
Wow, that was so close. Man, that salve tick really saved him there.
Resolution wants a kill on top lane, however. Ice doesn't have anything to play with. No mana, Resolution, Searing Arrows, and Strafe will take one more, and there she is. Resolution, a good answer back, and an overstaying of welcome from Ice.
One thing about DC's draft too is they picked the Winter Wyvern perhaps maybe a little bit too early, expecting a lot of physical damage out coming from Wings, but their mid-core especially doesn't really do that much.
Moving for Wii, don't know how this kill's really meant to work. He can easily leap away from Crypt Swarm and as well as the Spirit Siphon. No point up in silence yet for the Death Prophet. And I said focusing more on laning as Innocence actually roams around the back line. Now, it is nighttime, so DC had no idea that he moved that way. And Weeha right next to him, starting with the Stun Fortunes End as well. The Torrent, if it wasn't that was going to connect, it was the Purifying Flames from Innocence. And that's what found the kill.
And that Observer Ward just scouting him out the whole time. Saksa in there, but he can't really do anything. He has level 2 Splinter Blast, but that's going to do little in the way to stop their push. Drops an Observer Ward behind. Doesn't look like it was scouted out by Wings' own Observer Ward.
And they need TP support, but from who? You don't have any real big ultimates up yet. You don't even have the Chakram, so Mu will walk in. Now, Ice can wrap around the back of him. As he's just trying to go for the kill on the Death Prophet. They can't hold her in position. The arrow will fly out from Wii, but easily dodged because you can see it coming from a mile away.
No level 6 yet on Mood. There's no chance of them getting that kill. Not really that much damage on the tower, though, so Wings not really getting that much out of their first Exorcism. Radiant has used Scan, expecting a smoke, perhaps.
I think they were expecting a rotation from Resolution, and they are right, but he walks out of the Obs and Sentry in mid lane. That was after the Dust and the Scan was used. Well,
there is a Dust on the Oracle in case they want to... Oh,
the arrow off target. If that hit, Resolution still can't find the kill. He doesn't have enough damage to kill off the Death Prophet in time.
They don't actually have the Fate's Edict on the Oracle, so you can't disarm the...
Oh, top lane, Misery. Nice Sandstorm dodge. They put down their own sentry. Ward, Cold Embrace will pull him out. The Sandstorm is Faith Beyond. Burrow Strike cancels the TP out. Digital Chaos. They're looking for that kill. Misery dropping down low. Faith doesn't have much to work with. He's got stick charges in 1 second. He's got that up now, and he's actually holding on to them. He won't pop, however. Not while Shadow chases down the Winter Wyvern, but support comes in. It's Resolution. He's running down, looking for the kill over on Faith, leaving Zuska by himself underneath his own tier 1 tower. Shadow commits the Chronosphere, so that won't be available, but Resolution shows himself. Time Walk on cooldown. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second over the tree line and far away from DC's line. They run down, but Resolution's not giving up. The arrow will force Shadow a little bit closer towards the tree line, but Innocence is in the neighborhood.
Simple yet effective. What a juke.
While on bottom lane, Mu can finally take out that stack. Ice is leeching a little bit off him. Well, the Torrent, okay, Ice just TPs away.
I'm surprised he didn't go for an X, especially considering the heroes that he's up against. Mirana, a Timbersaw, I usually see like 1 or 2 levels, but not 3 like he's committed. But it's nice damage. Maybe they just want to be able to burst people down during Chronosphere combo with that Torrent boat later.
What do you think about the build on the Faceless Void? Is Lincoln Sphere really
Dude, he
viable?
always goes Lincoln's.
Like, even in this game, is it really that viable?
They usually go pretty strange items, but that's the only thing that I've seen that's consistent amongst their items. Faceless Void carry Lincoln's first almost every game. Good versus Winter's Curse? I guess. Last game is definitely good versus the Doom. This game, yeah, I don't agree with it so much, but they like it a lot.
Nice detection from Resolution. He was just hovering around the tree line. And Nyx Assassin walks through a sentry ward while Resolution still had vision. And this is the reason now why Misery hiding behind his own tier 1 tower. But Nyx has moved into the mid lane instead, looking towards Weeha. Not going to find an opening. The Vendetta Rush is going to wear out in a second.
They saw him with the Observer Ward, though. He thinks he's in the fog, but he actually was not. And perhaps they might spring a trap for Faith. And the Clink isn't actually going for the Oracle because he assumes he has the Disarm. But little does he know, he doesn't have Disarm, and he's probably not going to pick it up until level 8. So he's kind of been walking around with a get-out-of-jail free card, even though he shouldn't be.
Resolution steals the regeneration rune right in front of Blink, and Blink is just like, wait, I didn't pick that up. It's not inside my bottle. What the hell's going on? It's the Skeleton Dwarfed Clinks. With that casual Blightstone early on. Trying to find the extra damage. Clink's very, very good at bringing down tier 1 towers.
He's been running around a lot, though, and hasn't really been able to find that much. He was really doing really well in terms of the CS, but now he's falling behind in net worth as he struggles to...
Well, nice scan.
Builds up.
They reveal the Nyx Assassin sitting in the tree line.
But they have the ward behind the tower. Wings does. They don't see Winter Wyvern just yet, but now they'll know there's only 2.
Nyx is on the edge of the vision. He's going to walk in range of the tower. Faith will reveal himself, bottom lane, Chronosphere over on move, very tanky, Resolution bringing in the damage move, chains up, the torrent well off the mark as Resolution. Skeleton Walk will come off cooldown so he can run himself away. They are out, while Faith going to find Weeha back behind the tower, dropping down that Ring of Aquila to use wand charges, and now the commit. It is the Exorcism going to work. Range, the Radiant Sentry wards up, so they see Wee. He has to leap up to the tree line, takes Spirit Siphon, know exactly where he is. He can't get out this one, the stun will connect. An icicle one from Faith. Finding Wee in the trees.
Wow, look at Wee's farm. He is so underfarmed. Normally he has point booster and then some at this point, but he's about to lose his T1. He's died 2 times at this point. Each Mirana game coming from them getting worse and worse. Resolution coming around from behind as a TP comes in.
Yeah, they look for that damage. Resolution stunned up, but Misery brings the extra help. Burrow striking forward towards Blink, but the damage is enough. Misery, the Sentry Ward was still down, so the Exorcism finishes him off.
Wow, they try to kill him right before the Exorcism return all that health back to him. And this Winter Wyvern hasn't really been able to do that much. It's great against mass summons and a lot of units that are pushing, but Splinter Blast doesn't really do that much versus a Death Prophet +1.
Yeah, it hasn't stopped the Wings pickoffs and the push.
Yeah, they're not pushing with units. They're just pushing with a couple heroes in their ultimate, and maybe wishing he had gone for max Arctic Burn at this point. Still, they're unable to get those combos. Once Winter's Curse come out, easy setup for an Epicenter Burrow Strike follow-up. Moo in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, again, they're going for this combination with no X-Marks. They're not going to drag him back, but now the ship, the Ram is on the way, and Moo gets his fill. Weeha.
Who needs time dilation when you have Bash?
Faith is looking at Resolution too. Invis up around the tree line. You'll need to hit him first with the Vendetta, then follow up on the stun. Either that or he waits for the Death Prophet, who's rotating up to find this kill. Vendetta will last long enough. That is a level 1 Vendetta.
Blink is invis. They have him as every reward scouting any TPs on top lane, but he thinks he's safe. He thinks he's alone.
Here they go. Resolution. Pop him up. And Resolution, he goes invis, but not in time. They trigger the dust just in case.
Man, that invisibility, he might have been a little bit scared. It's like, oh, okay, Nyx +1 can kill me, but if you don't see any heroes, there's no way you can predict that gank coming.
Saxa, Shadow jumping in, double Chrono, Misery. He can prep the epicenter. The question is going to get in range. Wyvern's already down, and now they're running closer. Misery will just walk over. Shadow's still got Time Walk available, so we can repair all the damage that's done to him. And DC, again, getting picked off with no rebuttal.
Very patient Chronosphere from Shadow. However, they are lacking a lot of mana on the Kunkka, not enough for that boat. He's going for more of the damage build with the Max Tideringer with the phase boots. And another tower.
Yeah, without the committal of Exorcism, this is a troubling sight when you can't even hold your tier 1s.
Misery looking for a kill, Epicenter.
With a Timber Chain into Chakram, they commit the Epi too. Innocence will walk into the side of it, but now we can just use Fortune's End. Slow down Misery. It will connect. The follow-up stun with the Mana Burns by a Carapace. The curse is out. It holds Oracle in, and Moo comes in with a Chakram, but false promise. It will keep Innocence alive as he TPs himself away to safety. Moo's still looking for something. Actually, he's just looking to get the hell out of here. Exorcism is triggered, but the stun is on Moo, and it's going to be Wings holding the Timbersaw in position. No, the chain up. The last attack from the Death Prophet will find the kill. The supporters arrive for DC. They arrive in with a big searing arrow damage. Faith makes a break for the tree line. Still alive. Triggering does too. So no extra invis for Resolution. Time lock. Not going to be enough from Shadow as Weeha. Cold embrace. Resolution. The torrent is going to connect the double stun. Faith the end. He walks himself out. He walks over. He wants the last finishing move. He won't get it. Ice will finish him. The torrent. It may not be done yet. Saxa set up towards the air. X marks the spot. You ain't going nowhere apart from down to the briny deeps. Faith doesn't have enough for the stun. Spy Carapace up unless she connect over on Misery. He tries to create space. No timer from Shadow. Time will forward. Now he finds the kill. More TP support arriving from DC. Another connected torrent from Ice on the Misery. Stuns. Chakra forward. Moody to turn the tide of this fire. Misery. The one charges will keep him back into it. He can go for another Burrow Strike. It's Moo. Time lock for a century. He wants to walk out to the T1 towers. No stuns available from Nyx Assassin, but these ones really playing dividends.
Oh my goodness, what ungodly teamwork coming out from Wings next to that side shot.
It's not over yet. Innocence is coming over. The Chrono is on Weeha. Innocence brings the damage. Weeha, he is going to pop like a top. They look for more. Ice. Where is it? No, the Ice X mark's not going to hit. They turn around, look to the T1 tower. DC. Do they still try and defend this?
Ice's looking for an X from the back.
He hasn't got it. Instead, he was actually starting the animation for the torrent. But this tier 1 tower is gone. DC, no more fight. They push the Clinks to the top lane. They need that Desolator done. They need the damage. They need the Blink Dagger on Misery.
There were so many small things in the last fight. The dust triggering on the Clink so that he can't get around and kill the
Ice, has he really done this? The Torrent. If it connected on Misery, he would have had it. He's actually chasing him down. X marks the spot is available, and support is on the way. Misery back to the tier 1 tower. Now the X mark right on top of the tower pulls him into the torrent. Innocence with the damage. The arrows are flying forward. No one's going to get caught by it. The curse is on Faith, but it's too late from Zuxa. Weeha wants to do something. Resolution's on the hillside, just watching his teammate die.
This is without Faceless Void. He's just up there happily farming top while DC have all 5 mid. Just keep farming to thwart this aggression. There is no downtime for Wings.
You don't need downtime. They just keep getting advantage after advantage with every minute that passes.
They're really finding their stride.
They grouped up again to go for a smoke. They're under the tier 1 tower, so yeah, they are. They really don't want to stop this aggression.
DC, they really need their Dezo out on Clinks to threaten the Roshan. They need some more items to get back in this game right now. All their cores are falling like flies. Wee's net worth is almost half of Shadow's.
Misery. Luckily for him, he doesn't turn to the side. Unluckily for Zuxa, X marks the spot. And once again, it starts in. Misery will not be able to get back there in time to help out.
The Cold Embrace has done next to nothing in this game, though. The Oracle Max Purifying Flames has just bursted hero after hero. Wings should claim another tower off of this.
Surprisingly enough, they commit Exorcism. This early on, they potentially could have been looking, honestly, to look towards a tier 3 tower when they're 17 minutes in.
The way the game has developed has been completely different from what DC had expected, though. Shadow maybe going for a Chrono on a Wii, but they wanted to just hold out the lanes. They have the spam with the Timbersaw, the Starstorm, the Winter Wyvern spam, but the way Wings are taking fights, it's not really at towers, or they're circling around behind you, splitting up, so they're not getting caught by the curse, not getting caught by too many multi-man burrow strikes. It's just a very chaotic fight where DC need order. They need time. They need Dezo.
They don't have time. They're playing up against the Master of Time, Faceless Void. They keep getting controlled.
His time dilations have been really spot on. I was like, man, that thing's only level 1. It just seems like it lasts forever.
It seems like Wings always know. The Oracle did tell them how to play up against DC. If they can keep this momentum up, they could be looking at a 2-1 advantage in a TI Grand Final.
I think the bigger problem is that the Kunkka's getting far. You mentioned his early Tidebringer build earlier, and now he has an armlet complete along with the phase. He is becoming another core.
And the Blink Dagger on Death Prophet makes her almost an initiator.
Wow, she has Blink. That is a very unusual build for the Death Prophet, but I think it's really good because they need the position. They just need to be able to run on the back line, force Moran to use Leap, force Timbersaw
Faith?
use Chain.
He's not denying the Sentry Ward, so it doesn't reveal his position. He knows it's there, but now DC smoke up, and they're coming for an opening. They're pinging and saying, I can see the Kunkka. We know they're headed down. There's no bottom runes. Not going to go that far.
Oh, the scan.
The sentries are down, but now Faith, he moves over. The sentries, he's out of range of it. He actually just walks straight past him. Gets a double stun on Nu and Weeha. Blinks. Oh, no, he's stuck. He has to go invis for now.
They don't know where he is.
No, they don't. He's not even meant to be there, so they can't predict he's going to be there. Shadow will come over and free his teammate.
At least they have 2 Observer Wards in the area. They got something out of this smoke, and one is just out of range of the Radiant Sentry. So perhaps with this, Clinks can sneak in and take Roche. I don't think he's strong enough to take it by himself, but maybe a Cold Embrace here and there will be enough to secure that Aegis. But more importantly, they need towers. I'd like to see some maybe backdooring resolution.
Blink, stuns by Carapace. Sent instantly back that Starfall of Weeha. Shadow, he's there. Chrono's up. Moonlight Shadow will not protect the Mirana.
No spells
now bottom lane because they found the Death Prophet. But Death Prophet, what? She blinks away. No one attacked her. She just gets her out. She had the Yule Scepter as well. With the Exorcism up, DC was, well, hoping to kill her up before it could do a lot of damage. Now she'll bring it back over. Something a little bit longer left on it. Timbersaw up for Faith. Gets the stun. Now the Exorcism goes to work. Misery prepping the epicenter. Burrow strikes forward. Blinks going down with the Fortune's End! The save is huge. Resolution's time dilation out this fight. Sucks has the TP out, but DC, they're losing everything, including the kitchen sink.
Wow. I can't believe that Blink Dagger just worked out for him so incredibly well in that position. I was like, oh, that sounds odd.
Well, that's everything about Wings, right? It's unusual, it's different, and it works.
Yeah, that is the craziest part, that it works. That was a nice epicenter by Sand King, but they don't have enough damage not to take down Blink. With the Rum and the False Promise, like, it's just such great synergy, too. Purifying Flames, you don't even need to cast Fate's Edict, because Purifying Flames almost does no damage to you.
Good team, tier 2 town now, bottom lane, going the way of Wings. And DC, they are on the ropes, almost 10,000 net worth and experience behind. The graph just keeps rising for Wings.
And I don't even think that Axe is that game-changing for DC at this point. They have Fate's Edict to counter it, but more importantly, Nyx Assassin, you can just carapace right in front of him, and it's gonna hit on him if he hasn't had a creep. So a split-pushing Mirana can normally get out of control and farm, but not this game. DC looking for a smoke.
Oh, it's like they're trying to contest a Roshan play from Wings, but Wings aren't in there. Instead, it's Misery, who's gonna get initiated on by Faith Beyond. Shadow actually gets a first hit time lock. Misery into the Sandstorm, Burrow strikes, but it's nowhere near fast enough. You'll end up going down the Fate time, not being his friend, and now DC Fate, he's so close, you can smell him! But he doesn't know! Timber will be the tank with the reactive armor. The blinking around, Shadow to the neighborhood. A quick sentry down from the Wyvern will at least let them know if Nyx Assassin wants to walk in. But Shadow initiating on the Wyvern, this is even more distraction. If DC can get this AUC Immortal, at least a nice Wink and extra life. Sucks is going to have to give his own life up for it, but Roshan down to 3.1 now. Slowly ticking. Mirana's taking the top tier 1 tower. It's almost done. And Wings are none the wiser. DC, they've pulled a quick one on him.
Very important for them with the Clinks. He spent so much time running around in the early game, he needed something to compensate him for his troubles. The precious Aegis goes his way, but I don't know if he's the only one left at the end of the fight. I'm still not sure about DC's chances coming up in a team fight. They just need to keep on split pushing, get some more towers to equalize this net worth. It's becoming close to uncontrollable with a 12,000 net worth lead for Wings.
Well, they need some other key items as well. Like the fact you've had no proper initiation from DC, Mirana arrows don't connect, and until that Blink Dagger is over on Misery, he also has no joy. Resolution can jump in through the backlines, maybe that's going to be his fun key, but he's going a BKB build next, so he doesn't have an Orchid to control up the Oracle, which may have been his better chance. If either that or you force a False Promise on Innocence. And now, here they come, bottom lane. Innocence, they see him behind the trees, no shadows on the lane, and there goes your first one. False Promise, Innocence has to use on himself. Shadow, he can time walk off the damage. Chrono is still available, and Resolution, he's actually got no mana to work with, but Clinks, the damage is still enough. Thanks to False Promise wearing off. Misery, get the hell out of top lane. The fresh Blink Dagger will get him away from Faith, who has a Blink and Ether Lens of his own.
And now the Clinks can start doing what
Caught by Chrono, start the Siphon or actually wait for it. The Cold Embrace, Weeha staying alive a fair amount of time, but then, okay, Exorcism Committal is real. They're looking for more, and they're going to find it. Yule Scepter up, Timber hits the ground, starts with a Timber Chain over, Shadow taking heavy damage, and now Resolution wants to help out, but he put himself in harm's way. In comes your Epicenter from Misery. He'll Burrow Strike through. It'll slow him down, do a little bit of damage, but not enough. The curse is big on the Faceless Void. Resolution's back alive. Give him some space. Saxa caught on a cliffside. His Arctic Burn wore off at a very, very bad time.
The Rum's wearing off. They have to back off now, and finally they get a Winter's Curse, which is especially difficult with the Lincoln Sphere on Faceless Void, but no heroes die on Wings yet again. DC get nothing. A penny for your troubles.
And a penny will not fuel a war. They have to find some kind of better opening. The Aghanim Scepter is now done on Weeha, but it's cost them a lot to give him that much space to get it. Clinks will also have his BKB, so 2 critical items arriving for DC. In fact, you can still say 3 after Misery picked up that Blink Dagger. So they have ways to surprise heroes. The Dire Observer Ward on bot river almost scouted out Ice. A little bit too far away as it can. Faith Bian rotating around, looking for an opening. Middle lane, Blink, Burrow Strike, Death Prophet, the arrow will connect. That's a good 5 seconds. Innocence getting ripped apart by Resolution. He's still got the False Promise onto Blink, but the life just won't be there. Blink is guaranteed dead when he hits the ground from the damage, and it will happen. Clinks will take the kill. Cold Embrace keeping Misery up. Now it's Faith Bian's turn. Resolution finding a triple kill. Digital Chaos have just pulled out the team fight of their life. It may give them some way to quell the bleeding that Wings have been doing to them.
Finally, they kill the Death Prophet, even though the Oracle has been ever so vigilant, sitting behind them. And they got caught without the Faceless Void. He has a very greedy build without a TP score on his
Is he
inventory.
thinking about going in? He will. He'll Chrono over on Resolution. Hard to find the kill. Cold Embrace of Babel. So is the Curse. They're teaming up actually really close together. And now Blink Burrow Strike. Misery tries to create more space. Resolution needs to wait for Ice to hit the ground after the Yules. And he will do so. Armor toggling his way out, but not enough. Mirana was still there. The Aghanims giving the extra damage.
Not really respecting the Cold Embrace that time. Without the Oracle, they cannot burst through that. And that's 4 kills the way of DC.
How much does it swing? They had 14k advantage in gold for the net worth. It's going to come back down again. This will be a bigger momentum shift because Wings will still have to get themselves back into the lanes.
The Void has to be the one to protect the Death Prophet at this point.
Do you think you can do this, Faith? He's looking at Misery in the tree lines. Misery can actually get body blocked in if he's not careful. He's starting to stun. He's not certain he wants to do it. The Faceless Void is on his way. Wait. Misery. Does he blink? Does he burrow? He'll get stunned. He'll get controlled. And he can't burrow out in time.
How many bashes does this guy get?
He only needed 1, but he got 2.
And even with those 4 kills, DC...
Oh, Resolution, this could be a good snipe. That courier went over the Observer Ward. It's got the rest of the Assault Cuirass on it. So Resolution, 1 attack is all it needs. 3,000 and a bit to spare. Net worth hitting the deck.
I'm surprised that Innocence hasn't gone for a Ghost Scepter with how farmed Resolution is. He is the biggest threat. They have a Sentry Ward, so they know he's in between the mid T1 and the
that's why
T2.
Ice is scared to death. He thought he was running down through the Ancients. Resolution will move up. He'll find Ice, but
you can't
want
fight
to battle
there.
it.
It's way too much fog for a Clinks without Blink to jump in. And Faceless Void, Chronosphere coming off cooldown very soon. We see the first Ghost Scepter, possibly many, coming up on the Death Prophet.
One way to stop the damage from the Clinks, especially when he's going Chrysalis, not Diffusal.
But then it opens up for your Mirana to do a lot of damage with the Starstorm, so they have to be careful about how and when they use it.
Very true. What kind of damage do you try and repel? It's not like you can Fortune's End to everybody, unless this Oracle gets to a point of having Refresher.
After those 4 kills, Wings only possess an 8,000 gold lead.
Nice Blink Dagger up. Now for the Mirana. They're looking towards middle lane. Wings, smoke up, rotate around. The arrow won't connect. Kunkka.
Death Prophet is not close by. Wings has to be careful not to take a fight while he's not here.
Oh, they're going to walk straight in. The Arctic Burn is on cooldown. Dust will trigger the blink. Misery evading the Chronosphere. He's fast enough for it. X marks the spot. Try and drag Resolution back in again. The arrows will fly forward.
With the BKB on him and no Chrono up, this is not the fight for Wings unless they pull them
You're
back.
under a Sentry Resolution, but now he's not. He's back far enough. Right behind Innocence. Starts attacking. Oh! Burn! And now Timber Chain forward. Move once more. Blink Burrow. They found Ice. Resolution. Putting that Chrysalis to work. He'll need 1, maybe 2 hits. They'll hold him up. It's the cost. Chakram, 1 attack, 2 attack, 3 attack, 4. Resolution, where is it? Okay, now he's finally going to hit the deck. The arrow will connect a triple stun. Misery will turn with one of his own. The Tidebringer. Ice will finally take a fall. Misery's too far out.
They spot out Shadow now. They ping out on it, but...
They'll walk under an Obsword to get to him.
Yep. I wonder if he's going to go for Bloodthorn.
They just want the T1 tower. Resolution can easily take this. There's no fortification.
Yeah, that's more important than the Faceless Void.
You don't even need the creep wave. That's the beautiful thing about the Clinks. His damage output is just so quick that these towers don't stand a chance.
And finally, the supports of DC getting some items.
Shadow. Too close. Time walks up. They're on the chase. Weeha. Arrow off cooldown in 4-second time. Leaps forward. Actually missing. I don't know exactly where he wanted to go with that.
Just maybe hoping he would TP down there, get an easy arrow, perhaps.
If he stayed on the hillside, he would have just been in the tree line. Another Blink Dagger coming in. This time, it's for the Winter Wyvern.
And Misery has dewarded all of the Radiant wards with his shiny gem. And Roshan going to respawn, and Wings probably pretty unhappy about the last way that Roshan went down. They don't have any armor items.
This can make him happy. Soxa just blinked himself down and put down an Observer Board into the Arctic Burn. He goes inside the pit, outside the pit. Now starts his jump out. Where's the Torrent? The Bash! It connects the curse, however, for the Wyvern. He still can't get down. He'll Cold Embrace by himself at least some breathing space. As Wings, they commit the Coco's run, they commit everything. A 5-second arrow will connect on Innocence, but Well, you kind of knew the Wyvern was going to die.
At least the arrow scouted out that there was no Roshan around. They see the Observer Ward right now, and that is the gem on the Nyx. So they have to huddle around on the pit. The Klink threat is way too much. And they probably have to commit Exorcism to it, though, which just leaves Sand King in a perfect position to jump upon them in the pit.
Do you really want to commit that much, however? Like, that's...
It's way better to find a pickoff, though, than go into the Roche pit. It's
True.
far too risky.
It just lets you push high ground if you do it. Then there's no Exorcism.
They are not really in a rush to take high ground, not with Kunkka.
Oh, this will be nice. They find Misery. Misery, reaction, blink up. Still got Fire Strike available. Gonna dodge even under the Sentry Wall. The Chronosphere! This is the gem of DC. Resolution wants to help out. The Nyx Assassin caught in the edge of the Chrono. He'll have to tank up the False Promises. Resolution gets bashed up. Even on the first hit. BKB another bash as well. He'll run away. Where's your curse? 6 seconds still is off cooldown here for Saska. He has to back out. Move in the neighborhood with the Chakra, making it difficult for Wings to come down to kill.
They don't have their gem carrier. Nyx had a TP home to get some extra healing from the False Promise in order to survive. Roshan going to respawn in 2 seconds, but that is a big momentum swing. Wait, he doesn't have the gem anymore. I think he passed it to Wii, or Wii picked it up.
Real?
It's pretty good.
You're right. It actually got on a Wii.
Yeah, I thought it was on Misery. I think, yeah, that's why he used a Chronosphere on him. Nice pickup.
And that was fast. Now it's DC. They still have a slight advantage, obviously being Dire side with Roshan being up.
And their ultimates are up. Sand King, Epicenter still up, Winter's Curse not expended in the last fight. So they are ready. Chronosphere is still down for 40. I think this might be a time for DC to say, hey, come at us and Roche.
Nice new item as well for the Timbersaw, picking up a Yule Scepter before this fight. So he's got some kind of escape or control against Wings.
And time dilation counter. Much cheaper than Lotus. That Observer Ward scattered out by Faith Beyond, but he does not have a quad.
Oh, the jump, the cuts! Just as Death Prophet blinked himself over. The arrow will connect. Nyx Assassin. False Promise will keep him alive, but for how long? Resolution popped a lot of damage in. Shadow with the time dilation trying to force him out. Move. The Cold Embrace giving him more life. Yule Scepter up towards the end. Nyx Assassin stays alive. The False Promise did its work. So it's only Mu to die. Weeha! The leap, the blink. He's still up, but now he actually runs into blink. He needs more time. He'll get the Starfall up, but Faith Beyond again being saved by this Oracle. The rest of DC are away.
First pick Oracle doing so much work when they can't lock him down. That is the Klinks' job. He has a lot of damage, but he cannot jump on the Oracle. You want him to blow False Promise on himself, and if he doesn't, he's going to die in 2 hits, like we saw on that fight top, especially if there's a lucky crit, which is going to happen a little bit more often now that the data list is complete.
They need to bring the gem back. Is he in range? Can he not attack the ward? X marks the spot. Okay, yeah, now we go. Gem is in over, and pop him. Observer ward will drop. DC does still have another big advantage. I say this is an advantage. They have no out of towns that Wings can easily just move over and take.
Yeah, despite the kill lead being 31-14 for Wings, they're only up 6,000 gold and spending a lot of time just running around. And also, most of the DC's kills are on, or Wings' kills rather, are on supports.
A lot of the kills for DC belong to Resolution. He's taken 9 out of the 14 of DC, and it reflects in his items. I'm interested to see where he goes from here. Like, is it worthwhile getting that Diffuser Blade to get through the Ghost Scepters?
Yeah, I think eventually they're going to get more. I don't know. They only actually have 1 on Death Prophet. Why isn't Sabium gold? So maybe not. That's a normal build though.
The dewarding happened, so DC definitely know that Wings are around Roshan. They're going to group up, smoke up. Remember, without the Exorcism, there's not a lot of quick damage arriving from Wings. So Roshan at now 2k life. They're a little bit too far away here, DC. So Roshan will go down to Wings. The question is, they want to keep fighting. Sentries are down. Leap up, looking for the Chrono. Leaps away, however. Timbersaw has the Yule Sash. He gets the Yule Scepter up. He's trying to avoid the time dilation. The Chrono! It got Resolution! That's a big one! They need to find the kill! Ships on the way in, and Resolution crushed on the hull! Zuxka also has to Cold Embrace, but there's too much damage there to still find that kill. X-Mark him back. Weeha thought he might get out this one. The epicenter arrives from Misery. Minimal damage. Wings can just tank through it. Misery, silence, nukes. He's got enough life. He's moving north, and will it be enough? While the battle happens in the pit, Misery will die. DC lose 4 and Wings
Wow, that Chronosphere, that's one of those super high risk ones. It looked like two of them were right about to be on the edge, but he knows the range of that perfectly and catches one of the most highest priority targets, Clinks, without a BKB. Lock him down with a Tor on both to follow. No BKB, no Clinks, no damage.
That's the problem for DC.
It's a big problem because Wee's not farmed enough at this point. He needs to be able to carry his own weight in terms of doing magical damage to their back line, pressuring the Oracle, but right now he's just unable to contribute because he's died so many times. He's died 8 times this game.
Tide is
Yeah, it's not a happy game for Weeha this time around.
And I don't know, you mentioned the Link is here maybe not being the greatest this game, but look at Shadow, 11-0 and 12.
He does what's needed.
I don't know how it
He gets the
works out for him every
perfect
time.
chrono. You're the perfect chrono, and you've still got the beautiful thing that is Oracle. Like, DC commits so much to finding one hero, and then all of a sudden, Oracle, he's giving the extra life over. We saw that from Shadow in the bottom lane fight. Oracle always had his back.
I also like the Lincoln Spear build because it gives you a lot of HP. If you go Vlad's, which is equally good for farming and sustain, you can just easily get bursted down by a double Starfall or Timber Burst or whatever it may be. But if you have that extra layer of 15 strength, then you can time walk off. Your Oracle has more time to throw that false promise on you. You have more time for the Coco's ship to come out, Coco's rum.
DC's ready to go. You're so Warcraft, man.
You really want to fight into this if you're DC, though, with the Aegis, with Chrono up, with
Not when
gems.
Wings are basically reaching around it. It's going to come right behind DC. The scan comes out from Radiant side. They don't find anyone in Viz. They know the Clinks isn't there, and here they go. Blink triggers the Exorcism up to the tier 3 tower.
They wanted to be able to spam this with the Timber Salt and the Winter Wyvern, but they're nowhere close. This T3 is going to fall before they really get any damage.
Yep, now the jump comes in. Quick chain away after he blinks forward. Burrow Strike. It connects on the Death Prophet. The Chrono. Weeha remove. Shadow catches 2 again. The Torrent combo. They move down towards Moon with a double stomp from Faith. They ensure the kill. No buyback available for the Timbersaw. And Clinks is still waiting for an opportunity. Resolution sitting outside the base. He doesn't know where to go. Blink burrow forward. Blink takes some wears off, however, so all the life kicks back into her misery. Caught out. Another double stomp from Faith Bian. Jump forward from Shadow. Looking for the damage and a time block first in on Weeha. This could be it. A triple kill for Shadow. The cast is good, however. Nixus hasn't been brought down. The arrow flies forward. Misses target. Resolution needs to pump in more damage. The gem stolen by Shadow as he'll run back out through the front lines. The Starfall dodged by the first Manta. Still getting hit by the secondary one as Clinks. Where is this control? Where is this damage? It just isn't there. The silence on Murata means he can't arrow. They see Innocence TPing out. It's going to be too late. The TP was more than well completed before the arrow reaches his point.
Man, Betty wish she had Diffusal now. The Ghost Scepter on the Oracle. Just popped out of nowhere at the perfect time. A clean sweep of the melee racks for Wings. These Chronospheres from Shadow, he's really quick with those. They had no Zebra Ward in the base, but it just lined them up for a perfect impale after Nyx Assassin, and Winter Wyvern had to blow so many of his spells to try and keep his cores alive.
I like how much Shadow doesn't want to go back to base, actually bringing salves out to himself instead of holding on to the gem, which is on the courier. I'll trigger the second one in a second.
I mean, he has Oracle on his side. He doesn't even need the salves, but
hey, when
gotta get your farm up.
When you have a 15,000 net worth advantage, you can splurge a little bit.
DC trying to spring a trap, but the Manta Illusions looks like it's going to scout out any shenanigans that DC can throw on this bottom lane. They can't go into the area. They know those wards are there, but Ice Ice might run into it.
Yeah, he walks straight over. Misery, does he want to? Does he want to? He doesn't know. Oh, no! Misery misses the target. The arrow will also miss. DC, the tilts again, and Misery's just like, screw it. Commit the ulti with the Ul Scepter up. Ice running circles around DC's missed stuns. They're going to lose more. Moo actually chronoed a little bit further up. Shadow's able to find him. Support will arrive with a stun in from the next assassin. It gives Shadow the time to get the hit. Weeha, as well as Misery. Misery doesn't actually have a TP scroll. He'll Burrow Strike forward. Weeha, no arrow available, so they're looking to kill off Innocence. But now the arrow will fly forward, but it's well off target again. Innocence, with so much confidence, stands his ground, and Weeha trying to predict he'll move back now as Shadow again on another run under the tier 4 towers of DC. They do not have a creep wave with them, but they can start a pincer.
Innocence might get picked up by Resolution.
Oh, can they do it? There's a Ghost Scepter. You can't pick off Jack. Yes, he can now. Diffuser Blade is up. Turns it off. The curse. It holds Death properly positioned. Shadow jumps over, but now he's in range of it. Weehaw with the Starfall. Not enough damage. That's a 4-star back to Winter Wyvern. Away from Blink. Coco's run well off the mark. And Misery is the stun there. 1 second, 2 seconds. Shadow double hit. Nice and quick. Finds the pick up on Misery. All he want to do is retreat.
Still alive and healthy on the side of Wings, and with no BKB on Cleeks, they're going to have to hope for a miracle here.
Exorcism is down, however, a miracle's been eliminated. Move. There goes your Chakram forward. Arrow flies in off target. Nice hit from Weehaw, but the better hit from Faith Beyond. He has been godlike this game. Another big stun. Resolution. He'll finally bring down Blink. There is a Spy Carapace available. Resolution, no BKB charge, so he'll stun up himself. Chakram, or you can just Timber Chain into Whirling Death. Gem can be recovered as Moo, hot on the tails of Ice. Does he have the damage? Whirling Death, one punch, there it is. Moo gets a double kill, but the damage has been done. A full Raxing on mid and bottom lane done by Wings.
I think it's rapier time for Clinks.
I think he
so
needs
too.
it. Moo, this will be godlike if he can get it, but the Chrono, how much life has he got? Nowhere near enough. Shadow ripping him apart. Woo. There is no white flag on the door from DC. They continue to fight.
Wings thought they got in the game with a refresher up on the Death Prophet, but he didn't Yules himself in time. That's actually what killed him. The Clinks was just beating on him. It was very close to the Exorcism being returned, but didn't Yules, and then once she dies, everyone else dies around her. Luckily, they have a backup gem, I think, on the chicken.
Yeah, it's on the chicken along with the rest of almost the entire Shivas for the Death Prophet.
Invisibility.
Resolution, I want to see that 6,200 gold.
He needs something. Yeah. The Relic is picked up on Resolution. He needs any kind of damage he can get at the moment.
Yeah, you want to be able to like 1 or 2 shot the Oracle, because the Oracle, he usually doesn't actually have the camera on himself. It's usually on his cores, and he doesn't have a blink dagger, so he's especially vulnerable to the Clinks.
With Resolution, he'll still have multiple problems, aka he's down to 4 diffusal charges, so by the time he can buy up the Rapier, he may not actually have any diffusal charges left.
Yeah, I don't think you can sell an item at this point too to get the Rapier. You just have to farm out your 2,000.
Yeah, he needs to
Screw
hold on to
buyback.
Everything you can get. As an Orchid build out from the Void, it's actually, well, one of the most expensive items in the game. The Bloodthorn is arriving for the Faceless Void.
Yeah, you can Yules off the time dilation, but then you're just going to get silenced up. And then the Mirana has no solution really to the Bloodthorn.
And even that, like, you get an Aghanim Scepter on the Nyx Assassin bottom lane. They initiate Ice Ice. They want the kill. The stun is there on Misery as Yulset protects Ice Ice again. Misery forced up now. The double ones. DC, they just need to bail out here, but Misery pulled back. Cold Embrace will keep him alive a little bit longer. Burrow strikes up for him as the Chrono on the back lines. They found Resolution. It's a big kill. Mooney to turn the damage around. Innocence, he'll be ripped apart by the Chakram, and he will go down. The curse is too late to take the attention away from Wings, and now Epicenter. Misery will also jump in. Mirana dies on the left. Misery forced up down. Shadow hot on the tails. Remember, this is DC trying to defend when they got 2 lanes of Megas up. Moo has to buy back, but there's no buyback for Wii or Resolution. So a hard fight now in front of DC. Exorcism will wear off. That's one upside for them. And Wings will back out. Even with the 2 cores, they're not going to push the envelope too far. They have the refresher orb on Blink, so you have a second Exorcism if you want to push, but without all 5 heroes, it's just not worth it.
There's a gem just sitting on the ground. I wonder if they're going to try and pick it up with the chicken, but very close to DC's side.
And Clinks cannot get caught out like that. Like, if they can recover the gem,
I think it's more so like Shadow always finding the right targets with the Chronosphere. He knows that the Clinks is the only one that can really do damage to them. Mirana's countered by the Fate's Edict.
That courier has traveled the whole earth. What is he waiting? Drop the TP scroll. Now the courier, the silence, Yules will dispel. Support's coming over. It's there from the Winter Wyvern, but with the blood, it'll be enough. The Bloodborne Timber Saw, he's not going to pop. They force up him out. Mr. Timber Chainer. They pop him. The gems on the ground, and there's no buyback. 80 seconds without the Timber Saw. DC, they're scrambling away. Zuxa needs some help. Misery's there, but again with the silence, forced off up. Nice arrow from Wii, hitting Blink on the backlines. They burrow strike forward. Blink is low with a splinter. It's not enough damage. Shadow the Chronosphere. Resolution! He walked into it. The damage is there from Shadow. Resolution is gone. And with him, maybe the rest of the game. GG! Wings will take game number 2.
What a god on this Faceless Void. 20 kills, 0 deaths, perfect Chrono Spears. Resolution tried to all in with the Rapier at the end, but
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back inside Key Arena. We're getting ready to hop into the grand final games here. It's game number 4 of Digital Chaos versus Wings Gaming. Back with Winter, Black, and Draskell. Gentlemen, let's do this thing. Wings Gaming open up with their first pick, Elder Titan. And if you haven't noticed, we've had some adjustments in the bans, Winter.
Well, they choose to ban the Void this time, but giving away the Elder Titan, not so sure. Like, we talked about this before. They are amazing with the hero. They're
But first game, Wings banned it themselves, even though they had first pick. And now they didn't.
It's a little bit weird, but I mean, Ice, I mean, in my opinion, he probably played the best Elder Titan here so far. So
Definitely, easily.
If you're a Wings fan, you got to be happy to see them pick that up. And the trend continues of banning the Beastmaster very early on. He's trying to limit Moose hero pool a little bit. Feels like he's only been able to play a couple of heroes so far.
I think they really want to force him to like play that Timber.
Yeah.
They always want to like force the Timber pick down their throats. And we'll see what DC will pick up here.
I mean, they've been really flexible with the Naga. Why can't they be flexible with Timber? Pick Timber, make the enemy think that they're gonna do it on Mu on off lane, and then put it on Wii.
No, I don't know whether he practices or not, but like at Manila, they tried to do that once, and he couldn't play the hero like pretty much at all. And I don't know if he practiced since then, but it would definitely be a good curveball for the team.
They do have the Mirana for him though this time.
Yeah.
Again.
Once again, yeah. No Shadow Demon to couple it up with though.
Yeah, but maybe they're thinking about snagging the Oracle right away, because Oracle has been so effective against the Mirana when Wings picked it up.
Well,
Also got to remember, they do have flexibility. I just get that irky feeling that maybe this time, though it is their elimination match, DC could pull out some options.
they go back to the Timber
They
Storm.
go back for the
Forcing it in there again. They're probably just going to respond with an Oracle again. Although Oracle, Titan, they can work together. Not the worst.
It's okay. I mean, Stomp and Purifying Flames, Fortune's End combo is still a pretty good amount of damage.
But I guess you might not want to open up with 2 supports right away. Then it limits a lot of stuff that you want to adjust later.
Yeah, you usually don't really
But
want
if
to
they
do that.
already have a good idea of what the Timbersaw is going to do, what's wrong with opening double support?
It just limits you. Like, what if you wanted to pick something else later? Like,
Yeah.
It is not Wings style. Wings always want to be open until the very end with their heroes. And they're probably going to pick up a core next. Whatever that might be for Wings.
a solid staple core, maybe a solid off-lane grab. I mean, I don't want to speak too soon. And
I mean, Wings is up 2-1, right? They might do something crazy again. We never know with Wings. I just hope there's no patch.
I mean, DC have actually played against Wings probably more than any other team in this tournament. They've been grinding against each other, boot camping, and finding each other in various tournaments. So I'm sure they've had a lot of experience developing their own meta within itself. So
I think, like, no other team played as much against Wings as DC did, right? At Manila, they also played 2 best-of-3s against each other. And they should have a good idea what they want to do. Or, like, if you can even have a good idea of what they want to do.
yeah, the Bat Rider though comes out
For the back rider, yeah.
First
It's a good
we've
time.
seen today. I almost feel like.
I mean, it's still a flexible pick for Wings. They play it on their mid player and their off lane player. Like, this is the thing when Wings open their draft. Like, you have no idea who's going to play what and the hero is going to what lane. It's very, very difficult to draft against them.
Yeah. The other nice part is, too, now if Wings want to, they can just take out the Oracle themselves during the second phase and even ban Nyx if they feel like Digital Chaos have the opportunity to pick it up.
And Bad Rider, obviously, like a natural gem carrier, very good against Mirana. And against Timbersaw and Mirana, very good too, because you can push him out of the leap and out of the Timber Chain with the Flame Break.
It's not that reliable. Like,
It's not very reliable, but it's like something flashy you can do, I guess. It's definitely something Wings players are capable of.
I mean, Ice got a freaking Echo Stomp on a charging Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
Wouldn't put it past him to be able to Flame Break a Timber Chain.
Very true.
Well, banning out the Juggernaut. Wings banned out Oracle themselves.
yeah, because they have the bat.
They bet.
So you want to be able to limit the options that the enemy has to dealing with the Lasso. I mean, there's still the Venge, there's still Dazzle, but they aren't as good as the Oracle.
Do you take it another step further and just also X-nay something like the Venge? Or do you think just getting rid of the Oracle is more than enough for you?
I think Oracle's more than enough. Like, the only team that prioritizes Venge a lot is TNC. I don't see any other team prioritize picking Venge as a Bat Rider counter as much. And DC are on the Radiant side, so they can't really use the Roche power that Venge provides you as well.
I'm trying to think of what Wings coupled up with Elder Titan the last time they played this, because they've picked Elder Titan first a couple of times, and they had like 1 or 2 support heroes they really like to couple it up with, but I can't really remember. Well, Bad Rider, Elder Titan offlane usually. They like to apply a lot of pressure.
Skyroth, possible.
Skyroth is pretty good with natural disorder, but they don't have a setup yet, really. Only like Bad Rider.
Yeah, Bad Rider is their only setup right now. They might have to go for a support that has disabled setup.
What about like Disruptor then? It's pretty good to be able to lock down the
pretty,
pull back.
Disruptor is really good against the 2 cores they have right now. And it's definitely a possibility. Elder Titan Disruptor sets up for really huge combos as well. It's really good with Bad Rider. Wouldn't put it past them.
But we got to go to DC's side first here, gentlemen. So we have to see. Maybe it's time to pick up a trusty support. If they want to keep it defensive, a Dazzle is still there and available. If they want to have the scare tactic of a Huskar, let's say, and it was not acknowledged at all in the second phase.
I think Wings is so far the only team that picked up Huskar without it, like the saving ability.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I wouldn't put it past Wings to just like pick it up last pick again. Vengeful Spirit. Very good against Bad Rider. Obviously, we spoke about banning it, but they didn't ban it. And of course, it's like a very natural pickup. Pretty good with Timberstorm. Mirana too. It can be okay at roaming.
I mean, there is also the possibility they decided to just make it a core again. I mean, it's not like as powerful, I think, in this kind of setup, but it is always a possibility. So now Wings have to... I think it's more, actually, DC want to do the aggro lane more than it is about just wanting to pick Venge to be a core.
Don't you think it's just more of the Bad Rider counter? Like, it's actually just a support here right now for DC.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously could be. But I think it's one of those picks where DC take it because it might make Wings think that there's a possibility for something else that could possibly switch.
Yeah, but that game, the reason why they switched was because they were totally changing the pace of the game. They had a Naga on their team, so enemy thought that they're going to play a slow-paced game, and right now they have a Venge core and they have an Exalt Invoker, so they could play a lot faster.
Yeah, there was like a last pick response to an anti-mage, who's like really slow.
Yeah.
So I don't think it will happen this game, but it definitely could happen. Oh no, well, not anymore.
No,
Going back to
was,
Slark.
yeah.
Yeah. Slark, Venge, very, very good against Bad Rider. Bad Rider's going to have a really hard lane unless they have support there. But we have seen Wings do a lot of aggressive dual lanes. They work out really nicely. And we'll see how it works out for them this game.
Yeah, you want to be able to pressure Slug. Slug is extremely weak for the first few levels. Not very good stats, low armor, not much damage. Venge as well doesn't provide too much in the early game. So Bad Rider plus Elder Titan might be able to put a lot of pressure on the Slug.
Wings have played AM, right?
They do play AM, yes. Like occasionally, only if it's like a hard counter. Like when OG picked Storm, for example, they would just pick AM. But like Wings also picked Coddle, which we didn't mention yet.
I mean, they also play Naga core.
Yeah.
That was also one of the heroes that Shadow plays, and right now they have a lot of D-push. Coddle and Elder Titan, I would say, are two of the best supports to pair with Naga Siren, because you keep the lanes always constantly push out. You have the recall, the chakra, extremely good tools for the Naga.
I mean, Coddle is just amazing here, right? It counters Timbersaw and Mirana.
The best hero, for sure.
I mean, surely...
I just want to mention that if Wings win this game, he'll be forever engraved in the 5-man flag.
Oh, yeah, there we go, there we go.
Two of the best heroes ever.
Oh, yeah.
Picked by Wings.
But it's so good, you know, you mana leak a Timbersaw, you know what happens? He's like... Timber chains away, and you just mana void him, and the whole team just goes boom.
I also think he's naturally a good matchup against Slark, because they both kind of do the same thing, except Anti-Mage does it better. And then in fights, in the fights, the Slark, if he's ever out of mana, the same thing as Timbersaw, you just get destroyed by Mana Void.
Yeah, and Slark wants to build like a Skadi, and if you ever fight an Anti-Mage with Skadi, you're below health mana, you just like get exploded.
But could you pressure lane with Elder Titan, Koto, and Bad and leave AM alone against Timber? Do you do well? How well do you do against
No, it's very, very bad. Like even if you dual lane as AM against the Timber, if he gets level 3, he will just like triple wave you because he just right clicks you all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if he has no mana from the mana.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. He will just tank it up.
Mama Moo's here. Does not want to see her son go home. Not yet.
Banning the Storm Spirit.
Good catch for the Koto.
Like DC actually banned the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, DC banned.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty good against both Mirana and Timbersaw, and I guess if you're really far ahead, really good against Slark too.
I think it's actually just because they keep the lanes pushed out so well with their other heroes that I think Storm would have a lot of space to be able to find picks.
Yeah, basically with the AM, they want to be able to have two cores that make space. So AM could actually farm the whole map.
DC needs a last pick with Disable for sure. They have nothing against it.
Nyx Assassin's pretty good against Coddle and
Yeah,
Bat Rider.
that's good.
As support is really greedy though, but if they survive the landing stage, it will definitely be very good.
Last
Oh,
pick
Wings go for the
Wings.
Axe. This is also solo mid bad, right?
This is
actually.
aggro lane for sure.
And solo mid bad, right?
Solo mid
Yeah.
bad and aggro X possibly for them.
Oh
Duel
boy.
Links.
I just hope they secure the AM farm because he can really take over this game.
You need only one support on the lane, and you can dedicate the Elder Titan with the Axe to pressure the Slug. Slug's gonna have
Yeah.
a lot of trouble against Axe in the lane.
I actually feel-
Cuttle AM is really good against Timber. Like really, really good. He's
mean,
out
if-
of mana level 1.
If they pick the Nyx here, the Nyx is great versus their heroes, but
Very
they might,
greedy.
they might struggle too much in the laning phase. But it's a great hero here.
Yeah, and we'll see which route they go. Like the safer route of like a more lane-ish support or the Nyx assassin we spoke about.
Could be DC's last pick of the tournament.
Night
and it's going to
Stalker.
be a Night Stalker.
Oh, double vision counter against the bat at the quarter.
Totally shutting down all the vision advantage right there. We'll have to see if it's going to be good enough for DC to stay alive or if Wings Gaming just need one more win to be your TI6 champions. Let's head it over to the casters right now. It's Toby, Juan, and Merlini.
Never before in the history of Dota have we had a prize pool of this magnitude, 20,700,000 plus extra change. One of these teams gets to take home the lion's share of that. Wings are so close. One victory will do it. Digital Chaos, can they pull it back? We have a different draft, a different game. Do they have what it takes?
I like that Digital Chaos have their signature heroes, but the panel really likes the Keeper and the Anti-Mage. Haven't seen too much Anti-Mage from Wings. Seems to be pretty decent here. And I really like the Axe pick.
Yeah, that's how's that actually going to work with the laning phase as well? We were looking to see like if Digital Chaos can get off to a good start in this game. The talk about the mid lane is Weeha going to have success. Does this draft give you that opening for DC?
I think so. They just need the lanes to go decently. They need Timbersaw to get some sort of level so he can get up those levels of reactive. They need Axe to not pressure the Slark. The Slark is very vulnerable in this line. It's actually going to be a re-Slark and a Resolution Mirana.
They're switching it around. Resolution going back to its roots as the Mirana. The war is about to begin inside the game, but there's a war right behind us as the DC fans battle up against the Wings fans. It's a problem when you have English casters right next to Chinese casters, but this type of grand final, the fans will clash.
So let's see what lanes DC are trying to get right now. And they just placed an Observer Ward on the bottom. Will be scouted out by Wings' own Observer Ward. Looks like they're going to do safe lane move. Off-lane Resolution, and
The off-lane Mirana. Are they going to really leave it at that?
it's usually Mirana +1, but she's not going to get anything, and you can't leap out because of mana leak. And Wings, let's see how they're going to deal with this lane. Now they see Moo going to the bottom lane. They can put, I guess,
I know you got a lot of confidence, man, but yeah, he at least forces out the early storm from Ice.
So now they know that Timber's solo on bottom, and let's see how they do the lanes. It'll be Shadow plus Keeper, the matchup that they want to make this Timbersaw very underfarmed. Top lane will be the Vengeful Spirit and the Mirana, paired versus Blink.
Yeah, this Axe on Slark mid lane, so Weeha. See how much you enjoy this when you get that early spin up on Axe and the Stout Shield.
That is such a tough matchup for Wee. And we should know, he loves that Axe.
Yeah.
Remember him back on Balkan Bears. He played that hero all the time.
And you're giving us a history lesson, Merlini. Welcome to the also. Moo hates it. Moon hates it just as much. It's the Mana Leak level 1 from Innocence.
Oh my god, look at Wee's HP.
I don't know how you fight against this. All you could do is try and taunt the Axe away from your lane, drag the creep wave back, and just stay on top of CS. At least gonna have a good time once he hits level 6. In the meantime, DC need good rotation. So Ice, they already sentry ward to unblock the camp.
We already see a Mana Leak coming out on Moo, and he's going to get his levels down here because it's in a safe lane, but they are actually able to use the pull already, denying almost a full wave from the Timbersaw top lane.
Ice being cancelled. That's 4 sticky napalm charges on the Vengeful Spirit. She can't get away from this. There's no extra help. Zux is going to drop right now. Blink burns him, but Misery looking for some revenge. Ice dropping low. Misery Void in 3 seconds, 2 seconds. He just slow him down, stopping the turn rate to Blink. Continuously going with the sticky napalm charges. While on bottom lane, Moo is trying to 1v2. He's still got Mango available, so if he wants to try and turn and fight this one, the potential is there. While Ice, the arrow connects on top. Resolution combining with Misery. They find the stun, they find the damage, and they find the return kill. But Weeha is having a nightmare in the mid lane up against Faith Beyond.
And he's a long way away from this bottle. I wonder if he's going to bring out more regen. Might need it versus Axe.
Well, they do what they did before. Bring Misery into the mid lane, try and help zone out this Axe. Weeha's doing some early damage. The call's already gone off.
But it's a melee hero.
Rotate for the Void. Yeah, what are you going to do? Orb of Venom early on.
No, you don't want him to spin on you. Night Stalker has a lot of regen, a lot of armor, but not going to help too much versus the counter Helix Innocence. Trying to deal with Moo. Moo still has a lot of HP. He's not quite level 3, but Shadow, top of the CS charts right now with a healthy 12.
Definitely going to be happy with that. Like I said, if you can get image farm, Weeha trouble in mid lane. Dropping low, he's got Dark Pact available. He's burning out at the moment into the tree line. Faith actually getting caught in by the creep wave. The attack from the tower. It may not be enough damage. It won't be. He'll get away. The TP's on the way from Resolution. He'll have to go for a blind arrow. Leaps over. Faith turns around. Saw it coming from a mile away. Meanwhile, Timbersaw. He actually got a kill on the Keeper of the Light on the bottom lane with the help of Misery.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that it's not the Iron Talon for Misery. They really need him to fulfill that ogre-ish role.
Just to roam around.
Yeah.
How do you build it from there? Like, are you looking for phase boosts? You look to use your spells as the damage with Arcanes?
As
Night Stalker?
I think you want to play him as a vision counter. The draft panel mentioned it. You want to limit the Batrider initiation abilities. You want to keep the Keeper of Light during Ags. Don't want him to be able to see anything, especially that flying vision. So eventually they might need an Iron Talon on him, also because it's really good with the gem. But they need to secure the lanes first. And I think Timbersaw had like 2 CS not that long ago. Now he's up to 6, but nothing compared to Shadows. You don't want this AM to be free farming like this.
Well, Moo's got to rely on basic attacks to get the kills. Can't use Whirling Death. Already burnt the Mango. And Shadow keeps burning him dry. Even with only 1 point up in the mana break, it was still enough to drag him down in combination with the mana leak.
And they moved Resolution to the mid lane. The Slark versus Axmaster was just a disaster to begin with, and they have to get Wii some farm.
Yeah, this seems to be a lot better having Weeha up against the Batrider. It's kind of what you wanted to have, but now Ice actually takes up the lane because Blink's gone jungle. This actually isn't a bad time for Wings because this is when they wanted to send the Batrider into the jungle.
A little bit unlucky with the golem spawns. I wonder what build he's going to go for this game. Typically versus the Avenge, we see Trumps.
Moo's in a lot of trouble. Mana Leak gives you an instant stun. Shadow can keep attacking him. There's no Mana Void available to kill off Moo, so no advantage for that on Shadow. But it does keep Moo out of the lane. Like, you know, it's a sad day when also like Moo has to go for the early Sage's Mask on the Timber. Just to have some level of regen.
So now Night Stalker can start doing his thing. It's nighttime. The Observer Ward in mid just fell, and Misery's just looking for any easy junglers. Luckily for Wings, Blink's already back in base. Misery will not find an easy kill. Also just scouting for stacks. Timbersaw can take that very easily once he hits level 6.
Blink will show himself in top lane a bit, but it's the mid lane where Misery is running in. The arrow well off target from Resolution. Too early, didn't use the Void, so the call will arrive from Faith, giving him a lot of armor. And Misery, the spins are hurting. The Culling Blade comes down onto the head of the Night Stalker.
Looks like they have a solution to the Misery roam in the mid lane, at least if it's with a melee hero. No chance of killing that Axe. Saksa perhaps trying to get a kill. He does have the infused raindrop, though. Very difficult to burst down.
Just seemed a little overconfident to think he can go with 2 melees to kill off that mid-axe after the amount of farm that he's got.
Yeah. You'd have to leap in, but I don't think you want to leap in versus that.
Yeah.
And he's over-leveled right now, level 7 on that axe.
Well, Sux is moving over. Ice in a vulnerable position. Can get actually sandwiched 3 ways, but he'll take the 4th way. Okay, the arrow flies just out of range of the regeneration rune, which Resolution will take. Ice killed by the Starfall. Resolution wasting no mana with that, had the regen rune going the whole time. So DC finally catch a break, killing off the roaming ET, but they still have that problem. Faith Beyond's going to get really big on this axe.
And Anti-Mage, they're keeping the supports busy, which is really important for them. Night Stalker, not enough levels in Crippling Spear, but he will try and pick up some as he go for Blink.
Top lane.
Firefly just used.
Yep, and they know it. They're waiting for it to wear off. They also know that Weeha can shadow dance himself into this fight. Now the smoke's going to break Blink. He's still got another 2 seconds left on that Firefly. He'll hit the ground now, but he gets back in range of his tier 1 tower.
So much wasted time for DC. That's a better part of nighttime already down.
Moo's going to get stunned up. He's yeah, it's a level 1 mana void.
and against raindrops. But Faith is in from behind. They have a Soul Ring in case he wants to Soul Ring TP out.
They revealed themselves. They came in too close to the creep wave. So the surprise is blown. Misery is chasing down Blink up in the Dire jungle. Just trying to keep him out of the lane. He's still got that extra nighttime movement speed for the moment. It's only 1 hour left of nighttime. Sorry, 3 hours left of Dota 2 nighttime. Depending on how you want to clock it.
What's the conversion here, Toby?
In that case, they have 40 seconds-ish. And then it's over. And that's when Wings is prepping for mid lane. Faith's already started up with a call. Innocence moves over. Mana leak, that's a level 2 mana leak as well on Innocence. Resolution will just hold his ground.
Now they're finally getting some farm on Wii and Resolution both, so that's decent. However, Misery's reign is going to end as nighttime comes to a halt.
That's a really nice observer ward. That might let Resolution have enough information that he can just throw this up, connects perfectly onto Blink, and Weeha, the damage output's there, even though he's under the Firefly. Will walk out of range of Dire Vision, and he'll regen up pretty quickly. So good kill for Digital Chaos.
Nice, that was with the tail end of nighttime. Blink not really being too careful, but he is building a drums for him, so no loss in gold as he purchases the remainder of his bracer.
It's the rotations which came after that from Wings. Like Shadow is still having a fantastic time as the Anti-Mage on bottom lane, almost at the same net worth as Resolution is at the moment. But it's the fact that Moo can farm underneath the bottom tier 1 tower.
Yeah, they need to get the Blink up on Axe, and then they can start involving the Bat Rider along.
Actually rotate the Anti-Mage to the top lane. Magic Miss Mile, and Wave of Terror gets away.
Looks like they're smoked up. They do have vision of the Bat Rider, so they probably won't expect this. Wii is really low, but without the Blink Dagger on the Axe, this is going to be an extremely tough. Actually, he has no pounce.
Yeah, he's got Shadow Dance, however, but the Stomp, the Stun, the Magic Missile from Saxco will be able to help out enough. Slark, Pound still on cooldown for 4 more seconds, but Moonlight Shadow from Resolution will allow DC to make a break to the tree line. Weeha. Okay, it looked like he was thinking of turning around and going for another opening. Shadow is fairly low, but his bottom lane, Innocence, Silent Stomp, the Moo whirling, deaths him down. Faith looking for a revenge, but his top lane where they're about to initiate onto Shadow with a Dark Pact and Magic Missile. The Stomp will force them to split, but back on bottom lane, Faith moving back to his own tier 1 tower. Moo body blocking it up. The silence is there. Whirling Death. I'll just use Shark from Timber Chain. No! Moo goes too far to the side. The Anti-Mage got a revenge kill in the top lane in the meantime. He'll lose his life to the Slark. One charges galore going off to make this work, but it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade called for support.
He had to blink in to finish off the Vengeful Spirit, and that left him vulnerable to the Slark and his pounce. Whew, Moo almost getting a kill right there.
I think they want to go again. This will be so much easier for Moo if it was nighttime because their Misery's Voids would be so much more effective. Same with the Crippling Fear. Instead, Moo having to do a lot of the work himself and missing one of those abilities cost them an easy kill.
And another kill ring going Resolution's way. Much more farm than we was in the last game.
This is around the same time as Moo normally likes to creep, skip it out. But that's why Resolution with an Invis Room smokes him behind the tower. So it won't be that obvious to Wings if Moo does get him behind the tower. He's got 4 points up in reactive armor, so he's very happy sitting back here. 36 HP a second coming back into him.
They're expecting the Keeper to be here, but he is nowhere to be found. They really need the Blink Dagger on Axe. Still working on it, 200 gold away. And just, they need so much time in the jungle because of the Bat Rider and the Axe. Slark getting close to his mobility item. Let's see, Blink and Shadowblade, both pretty good this game. I like Shadowblade a little bit more so he can scout out the Keeper Light, but maybe he doesn't need it because he has Night Stalker to give him vision.
Might also be a little bit scared once Blink picks up 1, the Blink, and 2, the Gem. With the Flying Vision, Shadowblade may not be the greatest item for him. Moves away.
Wings probably expecting that they have that Obzord that was just pointing it out right there. How did he see me?
A little too deep.
Just taking it easy until nighttime. They can even park Darkness right now if they want to. So
It's kind of funny, like you're taking it easy on DC, but there's still, like, they repaired all the damage that Wings did early on. It was a 2k deficit in golden experience, and now that's changed around.
Is that enough though?
Faith, the Blink gets the call on Resolution. Culling Blaze of Barbel with the lasso. Resolution will die here. No way survival. No! Leaps! Can he TP out? No, he's locked to the tree line. They can see him. He will take a fall. He had a little bit more time to buy an item. But that Culling Blade fraction of a second too early thanks to the stick charges. Or too late.
Those creeps helping out. Mirana there not getting sent, but she did buy her blade, so halfway to her axe. Not a big deal. And that was the blink reveal for Faith.
Oh, bottom lane, Ice. They were looking for a small opening. Suxo as well as Moo together, but they couldn't find one on Ice. He was back far enough behind the tower.
Oh wow, we already has a Shadow Blade. That's very good timing considering how poor the early game was. Misery.
Yeah, they found him out. They push him back. And Misery will burn, or will he? He can't get to the other side of the tree line, but maybe with Batrider caught out. The ET split is coming in. DC need to split. Arrow is not available for the moment. Chakram doesn't actually reach up to Wings, but Weeha is in, and he's looking for the Batrider. The perfect leash. Batrider comes down to the ground. The Firefly will wear off. And so with all of his life faith, a little bit too deep himself, the Chakra flies out, and now it's just fight after fight. Maybe going the way here for DC. Moo goes in deep. Reactive armor charges don't exist for him. And his mana pool is also quite low.
Yeah, they have to be careful for the AM rotation. If Moo, he's actually really low, man. He's 700 deficit right now.
Radiant's top tower is under
But some
attack.
good pick-offs from DC. Originally, like, you thought, well, Misery goes down, there's going to be no trade-off, but DC brought everybody so quickly to that tier 1.
And Wings also, they didn't have a reliable way to keep people asleep during an Echo Stomp. The Firefly woke them up. One really nice play that I liked from Wings yesterday is they turned off Split Shot during the Echo Stomp so that no one woke up. Winter mentioned that to me yesterday, but this time you can't stop a Firefly.
Resolution trying to play for some kind of execution on the mid lane, but he's right underneath an Observer Ward, and then Coddle does his thing. A Coddle who bypasses his ultimate in order to get 3 points up in Mana Leak. But it does such a good job against both Mirana and Timber. Even Night Stalker. Very low mana pool. Always like to have high movement speed. Weeha staring down the Anti-Mage. He moves out.
Really wants this creep. One level of Crippling Fear should be more than enough to kill him. He's so close to his battle, yeah. Oh, now they see Soxa. They know something's up. And Soxa wanted to place an Observer Ward right there, but maybe a little bit too obvious with that movement.
Looks like Wee's rotating. Nope, he's actually just going to pick up the rune and head back to mid lane, so DC.
We looking for a weak support like the Keeper of Light. He is scouted out.
Yeah, where is that target? Instead he finds, well, not the targets he wants. He found ET. Cole pulls him back out of it, but the Chakra flies forward. ET, not enough damage to kill him until the Timber Chain from Root connects. ET Splitter well off the mark. And they look for more. The Courier into the tree lines. Blink kept out by Resolution as he's finally rotated up from the mid, but Wings fighting back behind their T1 tower.
Dire's middle tower is
Still
under
another 15 seconds till he's up. That arrow flies 5 seconds on the axe. Pounces over the trees and in comes Moo! They have the damage! Wings into their own tier 1 tower will be slaughtered. Shadow has his blink available. They need more stuns and the damage. Shadow blinks out with the iron killing him off. Shadow will die here. Nothing will stop this. Even the flame break can't buy the space. Huge fight for DC.
We is dissecting them with the Shadow Blade. They cannot feel safe anywhere. Keeper of Light just like to stand there, defend towers, but when you wrap around behind like that with no vision, it is impossible to defend that. And this is when you still have the super fragile Anti-Mage. He was so close to his Battle Fury. Arrow connects on Faith Beyond. That's the word go for Timbersaw.
And not only will this set the Anti-Mage back with his Battle Fury, it also makes his jungle a little bit riskier to be in. They've already been committing mass amounts of Observers and Sentries, Wings, to protect their jungle, but it's just not the dream for him, and now Wee's going to find another target down to Ice. He's still got Nolan. Okay, the Stolen Essence needs a little bit more. Dark Pact into the Shadow Dance. Ice puts the Spirit down, but now Misery comes over and also Moo! From left field he arrives. The bigger they are, the harder they chop. As Blink making a break for his tier 2 tower. Supports the neighborhood in form of Innocence. But yet again, another kill going the way of DC. They now hold 3 out of the top 4 net worths in the field.
The Axe's momentum has slowed down significantly too after dying so many times. Timbersaw is one of the dream heroes that you want to fight against, especially before the Blade Mail from him. And it just always feels like Wings needs one more item first. The Battle Fury on Anti-Mage. Now they need like the Blink on the Batrider and then the Blade Mail on the Axe. And this is just not the way that they typically fight. Usually they're the aggressors, pressuring DC as they try and get their key items. But That is almost a Scepter on Mirana.
Yeah, there's a Scepter on Mirana coming. The Bloodstone finishes over on Mu. Key item now arriving for Wings, but they would have liked that during the last fight. The Bat Rider with a Blink Dagger. Also, not a great thing, the fact that Blink was not even involved in that engagement on the Tier 1 tower. Because of the late timing of Resolution rotating up, he kept the Bat Rider out.
And they also don't really want to fight during nighttime. But with Darkness, you only have like 3 minutes out of 8 that you can really take a fight. Until Anti-Mage is ready, but that's still quite some time.
Wings doing what they always do. You pick up a Blink Dagger, you smoke and gank. The Slark's already back behind the tower. Axos have the blink if he blinks into the trees.
Ven just also sitting right behind Wee, just in case there's a swap.
That'll be an easy save. That actually would cause a couple of problems if Axe wants to chase it down further, but it's Resolution.
They're expecting
on the end
a
of that
trap.
double damage, and Resolution's got to get the hell out of here right now. If he leaps, however, the Blink Lasso already catched him. The ET Splitter, Resolution needs more life. 15 one charges, he can't get them off in time.
Wow, what an excellent use by Scan.
Trouble. He got mana leak, so Mu trying to stand his ground. Now the swap. Well, Blinding Light will push him back. Mu almost out of mana. You still have swap up for the Vengeful Spirit, pulling the axe back in close at range of the tower as Misery runs in. But the Storm from ET will split the spine up, and in comes Weeha. Where's the damage? Too much on him. Faith misses the call, but Weeha should have danced himself away to safety. The Dire Sentry was down from Wings, so they knew exactly what they're fighting up against, but DC hold their Tier 1 tower. They love doing this. Mass committal to ensure not a single building drops.
Worth, but maybe too much committal on the mid lane. They used a scan behind the tower to see if it was a trap going on Wii, and then it scanned red. They read it perfectly. Okay, there's probably no one behind Mirana, and DC probably should have called for him to get closer to that T1 because he was the only vulnerable hero in Wings. Taking another smoke. Still Darkness up though, only for about a few more seconds.
They don't have mana for Lasso. Bat Rider is very dry coming into this fight. Still 10 seconds till the Lasso comes off cooldown. If they can get him that bottom rune, life will be
Resolution, he just TP'd down bottom. Faith is going to find him, it looks like.
Yeah, they really want him. He's hiding in the trees. They may know the smoke will break. There's your blink call. This time DC, one of as many TPs available. Resolution tries to leap against Culling Blade at mid-flight. The TP did complete, so Mu is back behind the tower. This is not a great position for him. That mana leak lasts forever, allowing Faith to blink and call again. Mu, highest reactive armor charge to kicking up, but his ult's coming too late. So he has to commit suicide underneath the Tier 1 tower.
Wow, so much for Resolution getting his axe at a timely clip. 2 consecutive deaths with the swift movement from Wings. That's just not what you expect. It's like, oh, it's nighttime darkness. They're not going to smoke. They're not going to fight into us. And now they will lose control of their jungle, and Shadow is free up to farm up some more.
Yeah, this actually opens up the Radiant jungle if he wants to go into that. He also has a couple of Ancient stacks prepared with Love is Vlad's before he does it, and that's what's coming on the courier.
They need to do Roche, I think, before Night Stalker gets his axe. He's only 1,100 gold away, but
it's a really nice stack for Shadow. And with this movement out, it's a Black Dragon. It actually moves out far enough. Faith
they're
also had to
smoking
stop this move.
They pinged out. They want to go over there.
Well, the Observer Ward, it doesn't fully see this. It just knows that they're there. The line being drawn out by Misery is a one to go straight down mid lane. So unless they want to flank around, this isn't really going to work for them. And the axe, now Slark runs in. There is a sentry ward. The attack comes on the axe and the call. Maybe with the lasso, Mu gets control. The Faith BN already down. Weeha able to jump away of the splitter, not finding a kill. Not to mention Blink. Very, very low on life. He might try and go in again as Misery. They move forward to Ice, stomps the Belval. Mana leak with the Blinding Light, forcing back DC a little bit. Elder Titan can't get the stomp off. Mu is there for the double kill. The arrows fly forward as well. Who's it going to connect on? Nobody. Innocence and Shadow. Back to their Tier 3 tower.
And they lose that Obs Ward around it. At least they didn't lose their gem. Bat Rider was so close to dying.
He doesn't have Shadow Dance, but he has an Echo Saber and 5 still essence shifted. So he'd love a target. The best one he's got is the Anti-Mage on the Tier 2. But it was Innocence who could have walked down the stairs to die.
Yeah, he can't solo go Anti-Mage. Maybe like a really nice swap or an arrow can connect onto him.
Anti-Mage reads it perfectly anyway. Shadow blinks into the tree line and then TP's home. Getting closer to finishing up his Yasha. With Mana Style, getting that magic missile is going to be a lot more difficult to connect on. Also breaks free of the silence of the Night Stalker and potentially dodge arrow.
Anti-Mage getting pretty close to fighting shape as he works on his Yasha. Really need that Manta so he doesn't die to Night Stalker, Crippling Fear.
Nightstalker in the middle of the fight. Axe gonna miss out on the call. And now in comes Moo. He's looking for an Innocence in the back line. This Dom from Ice will slow down this fight. Not the greatest thing when you want Misery running. And Innocence dying in the tree lines. Moo finding yet another kill. Ever since he got that Bloodstone, he's triggered his suicide. Back up to 11 charges. I'm not quite certain what Resolution's waiting for. He's just sitting in the middle lane for the creep wave to arrive. The call from Fate, the Axe. Oh, Batrider gets hit by the arrow. The splitter is good, but then the leap into double starfall. The magical damage is too much for Wings. Moo will survive. He was the one they wanted, and it's Weeha who gets the double kill.
And Gem now goes the way of Nightstalker. He almost has his Axe and a Gem complete. This is disastrous for
Weed's hunting
Wings.
the kill. Weed's actually hunting the kill. He walks up the high ground under the tier 3 towers. He wants Ice. The call, the silence is there from Misery. The army soaked up by the creep wave, but it doesn't matter. Ice is already down. They jump forward aggressively. But this will definitely open up and make sure this tier 2 tower goes the way of DC. No denial attempt. Slark not again.
They just did not have enough vision around that area. They needed more ops, needed more sentries. They got caught off guard by the Slark last time.
You did this once before. Now he wants Innocence to pounce forward. Doesn't get the leash, so this won't work. He'll Shadow Dance away. That TP aggressively coming outside the base. Faith behind, very quick on the blink. The arrow actually passing him before the TP was completed.
And another gold lead. Goes the way of DC, just 5,000. But with his Axe coming out, I don't think Wings are going to have that much opportunity to make use of their Blink Dagger to get clean initiations on DC.
It's kind of a nightmare as well for the Keep of the Light.
Yeah.
Like, I know Innocence is a very long way away from having an Aghanim Scepter, but even if he does get one, he'll never have the buff ups just because it's always going to be nighttime.
They need a big mana void in one of these fights, and they have to play carefully. Only 20 seconds left of nighttime. Scan hits red. They know that DC's around. They've been really good with their scans this game.
And they're actually looking for the Obs Ward, D Ward. But because that gem's on the Nightstalker, nothing's going to stay up for Wings. Those clever little wards we saw Wings planting in the earlier games, it doesn't work now. With unobstructed vision from the Nightstalker and the gem, like, the only upside is the fact that the gem True Sight vision isn't the same as the Aghanims, but they just still see so much. And Wings, they hide next to the Secret Shop right on top of a Radiant Observer Ward. DC know it, but then again, the Sentry Ward just got planted by Wings. They're not even sticking around to do the D Ward. They understand that if they hang around too long, they're going to lose too much. So the chicken flies in, it's got the Mansar recipe, Ice taken out, Wings. They just didn't know where to go. They'll actually die. 2 heroes down. They may find more. The Courier will survive back over to the tier 3 tower, but it's Moo who's on the charge. The Yule's on the Batrider. He'll force staff down, start his TP. The Yule's already been committed, so there's no extra stun from Moo. Now Shadow, he has to start doing the creep skip. We saw Fear attempt something similar. Just keep that pressure up. Okay, he's not even doing that. He's too fearful.
They want Roche. They want a DC to push top and then take Roche.
Well, the arrow misses, but Weeha tracks. He finds Blink, the pounce forward. Faith gets the call off. You still got a decent amount of essence shifted in Faith. The Blade Mail will protect him. Now Lazu. They pull Wee in, but he already triggered the Dark Pact, breaking free the Mana Void. Shadow won't be enough. The swap out for Weeha. Pull back in range of Innocence Mana Leak. A 1-for-1 trade-off for now. The Culling Blade ensures the kill. The Moo, Timber chains forward. There was only 1 tree there for him to work with. He's underneath the range of 2 sentries, but the arrow from Resolution connects on Anti-Mage. Will there be enough damage? He'll blink himself out to safety. DC, not that healthy. Again, this Mana Leak being a pain in the butt. And that's why Yule Scepter up. Timber Chain cancels, a very short one anyway, but Misery moves over. No nighttime available. He's also got the gem. Wings, they'll follow this one to the ends of the earth. The Spirit's on top. The Split of Misery's got nowhere to go. Stunned up by the Mana Leak. He'll give the gem over to actually no Resolution. I thought they might have done a handoff. Doesn't happen. Moo dying to Wings. The blink. Oh, he gets interrupted. Yule Scepter, he had to take off the burn effect of that flame break up to the trees, but he knows he's dead. Great chase by Wings.
What a flame break right there. Winter was skeptical that they could pull it off.
Well, this still hasn't happened yet. DC is still leading. Even though that graph is going to start to dip down, they were over 8,000 advantage in golden experience.
Oh, I was just talking about the flame break on the Timber Chain. It's a pretty hard one to pull off.
All right, Manda is finally in for Shadow.
It's only during daytime. With daytime and without darkness, they can take pretty good fights, but they just lack so much vision. Finally, they get the gem returned to them, though. The rightful owner on the Bat Rider.
So he has that good flying vision. Wings, they're attempting this, but it's a little obvious when that Observer Ward from DC.
They have to use Darkness, though, to see Roche, and as soon as Darkness pops, they're going to back out. But is Whis strong enough to take down Roche? I don't think so, not without a Scotty.
He needs that extra life, but he also used Mill as a punching bag last time they did Roshan. That reactive armor.
They need Lotus ASAP for the mana leak, especially because he's maxed it over Illuminate.
Well, they keep using Yule Set just to dispel it.
Yeah. It just, you're stuck there, right?
Yeah, you can't go anywhere. You
can
just have to
easily
stay.
get like a Stomp or Charge Up Illuminate, an Axe Call, like any of those spells can catch you out after. With Lotus Orb, you're still free to run around and dodge these AoE spells from Wings.
It's a shame you don't have like what Animage has, take one step, then blink max, and you can avoid the mana leak out. Instead, it's like Timber Chain and Leap.
So they saw Mirana TP over to the left side, and she was really low on mana, and they might look for this small window to take down Roche.
Well, Resolution has gone all the way back to base because he was low on that mana. But still, does Wings have enough damage? The Animage?
Oh, he has boosted travel. Oh, okay. Still a long ways for his cooldown.
Well, he can jump down to the bottom creep wave and push that in. Roshan's not really down that far, only at 9k at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they can do this right now. They have no damage aside from Anti-Mage, but it's only at half HP.
Here comes Misery, and that True Sight. It goes inside the pit. They understand what's happening.
They have the Observer Ward.
He's looking to jump out, but he actually gets the blink call over on the Misery. So the jump out, the ET splitter, they really want to get that kill, and they got it. The Vengeful Spirit trying to swap him out. The Moonlight Shadow won't do enough. The Axe finds the kill. Moves some really good damage though with the Shark Drum, but it's just the last two gone for Wings. They catch out the slot. They get 3 down. No, they can finish what they started. The death of Roshan.
This Observer Ward saw that Night Stalker. That swap just crushed them as 2 heroes got hit by the Earth Splitter. And even Slark got caught by the Echo Stomp, and no chance for him Dark Pacting. He got lasted right out of it, and that's going to be a free Roche for Wings. Faith Beyond continues to deliver on his initiations.
As the dream for Wings, if they can keep it going, the Aegis Immortal will give them extra incentive to take more aggressive fights. Instead of Faith just having a fantastic time with 2.4k gold in the bank. His next item choice is just around the corner.
Dire's top tower
Even BKBs won't really save them from the Wings lineup. Minus armor from Elder Titan, a lot of physical damage even from Earth Splitter, pure damage from Axe. I'm not really sure how they itemize here. They need to be able to kill the Anti-Mage at some point, though. Right now, like Night Stalker, Crippling Fear, going to be dispelled by the Mantis style. Mirana is unreliable, so maybe I would like to see Basher Echo Save or Basher Abyssal, something like that, so they can keep him in check.
Well, you got the Basher on Shadow. He just bought it, so looking for his control item next. Zuxa, really big trouble for him. Mana leaks, Lasso, they just keep draining him dry, and he will die in the river.
It's a really big problem when Wings can get aggressive during nighttime. They aren't scared anymore.
Yeah, but DC definitely are. They just try and keep the split push going. We are down the bottom lane, but Wings, they understand the objectives.
They split
one
push.
tower.
They split push earlier with an Ursa and Slark. This game should be a lot easier with a Mirana into Slark in case they want to go that route, but then you have the ticking time bomb and the Anti-Mage, who with Abyssal can easily crush any of DC's cores.
He's so far ahead as well, like sitting at 18,000 net worth. The nearest to him is 12.5k over on the Mirana.
Yeah, they went for the break on the Slark. He has a Silver Edge, and that combined with like a double Starfall from Mirana can maybe burst him down, but now that he has Aegis, he has no fear.
The advantage for DC is the fact the Axe hasn't spent his money, still holding on to 3.7k on the Axe.
I think probably BKB. They don't really have any BKB at this point. Slark, kinda, but he doesn't do any physical damage at the moment. I think just go mass BKB so you can team fight them at will.
Wings systematically taking out towers. They'll see Fate thanks to Misery's vision. They do have a new gem purchased by Moo, so putting the Timbersaw back a little bit. There's Shadow. He's getting caught in the Chakram, but they're perfectly all right.
A bold build coming up from Elder Titan as he swings home to try to pick up the rest of his Dagon.
Okay, hello. He's going to actually be a courier as well. Recalled back in. He brings the BKB of Faith Beyond.
Oh, they're not going to see this coming.
Oh, they are not. DC, like at least they might be able to see something coming in. One, if this arrow can connect, which you won't be able to.
Oh,
Or two, if you can get the Night Stalker close enough, but that's also been a problem. Move, but hey! Chains forward, blinks away.
Shadow's Abyssal Blade is also coming on the chicken. Is that the secret shot right now? Vanguard and Recipe. Wings feeling really good with his Aegis.
This next defense from DC, it has to work. The arrow, 5 seconds over on the axe. Resolution jumps in. The double starfall damage, they'll bring down the axe. So finally they get a small break, but Wings have rotated over the swap, instantly canceling out the lasso. Move! Huge damage! Connell is gone! Hindsight's might join him in a moment as Murata blinks forward. They've got the damage. This could be the fight. We leaping forward. The BKBs break Batrider free. Move still in the neighborhood shadow. There's your Abyssal Blade. The Mana Void on the Resolution. Doing heavy work, but the Shark Drum doing more of it. Shadow is burning inside of it. The Aegis Immortal will trigger. Blinkers away on low life. Do they have enough to kill the anti-Marga once again? He'll blink out. Moose sticks with him. Yule Scepter up. Blink off cooldown in 1 second time. Now in comes Blink himself. Flame Break pushing DC away. This will give Shadow just enough space to escape.
Wow, that could have been so much worse for them. Looks like Batrider was also able to take down Mirana in the backline. She was so low after that Mana Void. I don't know if she was a prime target for that. It looked like Moo was pretty low, but in the heat of the moment, it looked like Mirana almost killed her entire team.
I think you should still be scared of that Mirana at all times, having that passive, like big damage, chasing everything.
I'll take that.
Weeha's got a lot of money too. Where does he go next with 4.1k gold? Is this the time where, like, does BKB even help the Slark, or does he look for a more controlling and damage dealing item?
I don't know. It's hard to say with the
he answered
BKB
anyway. You got the Basher.
Basher's better versus the AM, who's causing the most problems, but BKB is like a free kill on Batrider and or Keeper.
Wings is coming down. They're looking for a kill on Moo. Almost everyone's here apart from the Mirana. She does have BTs, but it can only TP the tier 2 tower. Now Connell, 2-3. Can't get the fourth hit. The Shark will do the work. Bash forward with the Abyssal. The arrow, it connects on Shadow. 5 seconds stun. The ET splitter. There's not enough damage yet. Misery still tanking through all of this. The Mana Void. He wants Misery dead with the Moonlight Shadow. They don't have the vision at the moment. Moo will go back into the Moonlight Shadow too. Timber Chain, 1 second. This will bring him back in range of the tower. Unless they want to fight. Arrows off cooldown. Blink forward. The arrow will miss. Weeha waiting. The ninja out from the trees. Faith triggers the blade meld as well as his BKB. The pounds forward. Faith getting closer back. That Weeha explodes the Mana Void. Luckily for the rest of DC, they weren't in range for it, but the Stomp forward from my side can go for the Stomp. No real way to get away from this one, especially when he gets the blade down by the Animate. Moo can't chain away. He'll Yule Scepter up. The Blink Dagger won't be off cooldown in time, so he just has a suicide when he hits the ground. The Blink goes for more. Burning up the Vengeful Spirit with the Firefly.
Okay, it is confirmed. Shadow can bash on command. What was that? Right on the Timber Chain, right as when Slark was about to escape. And I talked about it, the Basher versus BKB. BKB, you would really love to have it for that fight.
But it was the Abyssal as well. That's the thing that does the work for him. That's how you make RNG, actual command. Digital chaos. Well, they had a good defense last time. Wings tried to go high ground. Now they're down a couple of men. The difference about 3k swinging both ways. Arrow hoping to create a little bit of time, but it goes between all of Wings as they attack into the tier 3 tower. Trying to get that one step closer to the Aegis as now Timber locked down the double starfall, but Moo is too low. He has buyback available. They're culling bladed out. Slarker, 4 seconds until he's alive. No fortification, arrow, it doesn't connect. Innocence, the Horsetail doesn't catch it, the swap out. Saxo again, sacrificing himself just to make sure they can get that double damage out from the Starfall of Resolution. Good stomp, Moo, Yule's up in towards the air. He has a way to get out thanks to Moonlight Shadow. They can play the invis game. Shadow going in very, very deep. Gets the stun over on Misery, but Weeha returns it with a bash of his own. And now with a jump out, Resolution leaves the tree line. He is out of mana. He can't get out of this one. He can blink back into the fight in just a moment. Face BN, so low. Where's the damage from DC? Moo, it's a dive back for him. Shadow's looking for the kill. They found Weeha. The Bash controller dead! Buyback is available for him though, and he'll need to use it. The rest of DC are dying out in front of their own tier 3 tower. Resolution back into the fight, but the Culling Blade kills off the Night Stalker, giving Wings the pump up they need to go inside. They look for the last two and they've got it. It's the slug. Arrow flies in. It'll be a 5-second stun over on Blink. But Wings, they brought down the melee racks. Shadow, Nana Styles out. Weeha has to bounce himself out of this one. Got bashed up, but DC, they will lose their range as well as Wings have done the damage.
Oh my goodness. Anti-Mage is so stacked at this point. Wings' team fight is just incredible at that point. That wasn't even like the biggest mana void that I saw. I thought he was going to cast it on Resolution there, but Slark can't man fight at this point. How does he go toe-to-toe with this Anti-Mage?
I like this from Wee. He needs to create space, and he's looking over towards Faith Bian. He moves up to the side shop. Shadow's here. Weeha initiates. He needs to kill and get the hell out. One more attack, but he has to bail. 23 HP. Now Weeha, he forced the issue too hard. Will he go down? Yes, he will. 90 seconds. The door has been opened by Weeha's aggressiveness. And Wings, it is a landslide as the graphs drop. Can DC hold?
This is their darkest hour, and not in a good way, as they have the Night Stalker, but this is becoming so grim for them. We just desperate to do something to save his team. But now he has no buyback. Wings all assembling down the mid line.
Here they come, Wings. 52 seconds is the window. And they're going to try and break DC's glass. The blink and the lasso. Misery instantly swapped back out again. Shadow's in pretty deep, but he'll come over. Sucks are already on the sidelines. Misery, now he's being controlled. The Pistol Blade is still up. Misery's gone. The Culling Blade, that could be it right now. DC on the ropes as Wings. They look towards the mid-racks. Bring down the tier 3 tower. Moo trying to slow it up with a Chakram. Resolution out of arrows and also out of teammates. DC, they have Slark up in 20. They'll have one more opportunity, and that's to defend their tier 3 racks on top. There it is. The melee is down. Range racks will follow. Wings, do they play safe? Do they back it up? No! In they go! Resolution! Welcome back and goodbye! You have buyback available, and here comes the push. This is the defense now. DC, you either hold or you die. As Wings, they rip down the tier 3 tower. Weeha wants to go out through the back lines and attack. Now the lasso. They found Oscar. Weeha ripped apart. The buyback. It won't be enough. Go game of play. Wings are your international 2016 champions. Terrific display of Dota. You didn't know if it could be perfect in the group stages, but only losing games to DC, 2 in total throughout the entire playoff. 1 to Techies, 1 with the punch. And now they topple DC in a 3-1 victory here in Key Arena.
Black have to be happy that Anti-Mage is going to be plastered there for a full year.
And we can be as happy as that as Slack's not being on the Aegis. Terrific battle. Big props to Digital Chaos. They overcame so much to get to this point. They played terrific Dota. They made the meta, but Wings broke it to take the championship, to take the biggest trophy in the Dota 2 calendar year.
And finally, they found their consistency in the finest of times. It only matters during this month, Toby.
That's right. The International is the big one. You can win as many majors as you want to, but if you take TI, you become immortal. As Digital Chaos, well deserving of it. Very, very well deserving of their second position.
And now
but it
Wings.
is Wings. They can greet their fans. And they claim what every Dota 2 player wants in their life. The Aegis of the Immortal. It belongs to Wings.
Ladies and gentlemen, the champions of the International, Wings Gaming.
Ladies and gentlemen, the International 2016 champions are Wings Gaming. Innocence, I just want to have a very quick word from you. Explain to us what it means to lift the ages for you.
跟我们简单说一下，举起这个冠军对你来说有什么意义？
意义着我们 Wings 这个队这1年来的辛苦，包括我跟跳到 Face 边从出道开始在一起，这2年多的成长没有白费吧。
It means that this year's hard work for all my time that I spent with Blink and Fabian for all these 2 years didn't go to waste.
Okay. You've had a lot of support here over the last 2 weeks and a lot of support back in China. Explain what it means to have all of these fans cheering your name.
在过去这2个星期，那么多人都在这里，你的粉丝在支持你，他们对你来说有什么特别的意义？需不需要感谢他们一下的？
很感谢吧，他们每一次在背后的呐喊，然后对我们一直的支持，包括我们吃的方面，感觉就是我们这个队的第2个父母吧。
I thank my fans a lot. It means a lot for us to have people cheer for us, and they're kind of like our second parents.
Just one last question. DC played a great game against you. Any words for your opponents?
最后一个问题 ，DC 他们对你来说也是一个非常值得尊重的对手，你跟他们有什么想说的吗？
他们可能在最后，在我们第2把扳回的时候，可能心态没有第一时间的调回他们最好的状态吧。
After we beat them in our second game, I feel that they didn't adjust to their best forms.
Okay. Okay. Any good words for your teammates now? It's been a fantastic year for you. What does it mean to be up here with them?
有没有什么想对你的队友说的？现在赢了这个冠军之后，
跳刀一直是我在打职业里这所有经历，我一直是我的最好的长辈，他对我感觉到很安全，然后 Face 边嘛，就感觉他很蠢，然后小哲算是在经历过程中，我是慢慢看着他成长的。我是觉得他也是目前最屌的开瑞，没有别的了。然后阿斌就是很完美的一个人，但是他很需要人照顾他，然后他能变得越来越成熟，越完美。
So for Blink, for all the time I spent with him, he's like my respectable elders and watching over me. Faith Bien is just stupid. Shadow, I watched him grow. He's the best carry, no one else right now. And Ice, he's perfect, but he needs someone to take care of him so he can be more perfect.
Okay, I think that's enough. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the International 2016 champions are Wings Gaming.